Go. All right, and we are live. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I am here with Spencer Cornelia. As you guys know, I've been very critical of him. I made several videos. Then I started to go a little bit too hard. And then, as he knows, and I know, I apologize because I went a little too hard. However, I do still have some criticisms and critiques. And so Spencer is now here to. Oh, so sorry. Well, yeah, you just had an echo. I'm sorry. I did have my criticisms and critiques, and so now we have Spencer Cornelia on to answer some questions and just kind of talk about everything that's transpired these last few months. So, yeah, what's up, Spencer?
You can ask whatever you want. Same thing with the chat, you guys. The juicier the question, the better.
Okay. Well, we'll get right into the juicy questions then. One of my main criticisms of you, and it led to me making the first video about you. Well, it was the FTX thing, but first of all, can you hear me? Make sure everything's good. You can hear me? Okay, sorry. I thought my mic just cut out. Okay. My first question will be about your so-called friends, the people that you defended during the FTX thing. Before we even get into the FTX thing, I think the biggest thing a lot of people are critical of you about is the fact that you're like kind of like a similar to CoffeeZilla. You expose bad people in the finance space, fake gurus, people who are on that borderline of promoting scams, but you're friends with people who many people believe are scammers. And just to be frank, for sure, in my opinion, at least, are grifters. And a lot of us think it's a complete contradiction to everything that at least you're supposed to stand for. And I just want to hear kind of your response to that and like how you would defend that, even being cool with those types of people.
Maybe they aren't grifters. Has anyone thought of that? So let's define it. Let's define grifter. Why do you think someone is a grifter?
You're asking me? So for me, right?
Just so we're on the same page here.
Sure. Yeah. So a grifter is basically like a con man, right? So when I look at Jeremy, me, Kevin, Andre, I think all of these guys are straight frauds, complete con artists. And I think it actually got exposed because you had people like myself, Strongman, and a few others saying this for months, even years. And then when the FTX thing finally happened, they got exposed for being basically what we already thought they were. They pretend to be fake stock gurus when in reality they are not. And so that is why we're so critical of them. So yeah, a grifter is basically a con man. And that is what we all
think. What would make them a con man? Is it a skill that they don't possess? Is it, I'm just trying to make sure we have the same definition here.
Sure. No problem. Let's go. So me, Kevin, right? We can start with me, Kevin. I mean, we can literally go down the road. Me, Kevin, right? Comes on the internet with this persona of being a good investor, selling courses, telling people basically that he'll be able to help them make money, get rich, different things like that. But majority of his stocks are down 90%, right? That's a con man to me. Your course is saying long-term investing, make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. He sells all the stocks in January 2022. Jeremy and Andre Jick, same boat. Andre Jick is supposed to be a legit guru. That's at least how these guys portray themselves. But then you promoted all these different scams on your channel, BlockFi and FTX and different things like that. And then Jeremy is very, very similar. So that's what I look at it as.
Is it when someone has a skill or a quote unquote guru to them, they have like an expertise and people lose money? Are you saying that is the definition of a grifter?
I'm saying when someone lies about who they are in order to make money, when they're not really that, is a grifter. People who are coming on the internet pretending to be stock gurus and don't know what they're talking about and have called a bunch of stocks that are down 90%. That is a grifter. Don't even take accountability for it either. Just continue doing their thing like nothing happened.
And so everyone who follows their advice has lost money. Is that correct?
Of course not everyone, but enough people where it's a problem, right? There's been plenty of
people made money following their advice.
Well, I don't see how you could make money following any of me, Kevin's stock picks when just about all of them are down 90%. And same thing with Jeremy. So I don't see how you could make money.
Because if people have made money and people have lost money, well, then how do we differentiate good advice from bad advice? And how do we differentiate, how much of it was good versus how much of it is bad?
Yeah.
Right? So this is like a very nuanced conversation, by the way.
I get it. The way we differentiate it is all these guys' stocks are down tremendously. So by default, a lot of people have lost money because I can't think of any me, Kevin stock pick that's up. I can't think of any Jeremy Lefebvre stock that's up. Same thing with Andre Jick and Bitcoin.
The thing with the stock market, I think we would have to track over a long term, right? And with the challenge of YouTube is I get it. Like you can make the daily videos and like, someone's pick is down today, but how do they do long term? And this is like in fairness of them, I don't know if you can really track, right? Because let's say hypothetically over the next year, we won't know this, but over the next year, let's say they outpace the market 10-1. Let's just go to the extreme to prove a point, right? Would you still be making the same videos?
But they won't. And I can explain to you why that won't happen. Because if your stocks are down 70, 80, 90% and all your stocks are down, it's like impossible for all those stocks to go back up. There's no way. Maybe one of those stocks, one, might go back to where it was. But the rest of those stocks, it's not going to happen. That's the problem. So that's the game, right? That's the game that Jeremy did. Jeremy does this a lot. Oh, don't judge me by one. It's the same thing as Kathy Wood. Judge me in the next 5, 10 years. Well, that's the trick. You're already down 90%. And a lot of these speculative, unprofitable stocks are never coming back. So that's the issue.
Yeah. I mean, my interpretation, by the full disclosure, I don't watch them. So I don't know what videos they make. But my interpretation is that when you share the news and share the economy and share your thoughts, like I don't know at what point is it your fault? At what point is it are you a guru versus a fake guru versus a grifter? Like I truly don't know. That's why I never go after the stock market guys, because I see the world a lot differently than the people who are criticizing them, and it's just there's no point in ever discussing it because you'll just be butt heads.
But I think that's even worse though, Spencer, because you defended these people. So you don't watch their videos very often or even understand what they're doing, but you still defended them. I really don't understand that.
In what way? In what way did I defend them?
You made a video about them. You made a video. Yeah. Hold on, I got the picture. Hold on, I'll find it. Hold on.
The FTX video?
Yeah, you said these influencers were scamming their fans, and you made a video defending them. But now you're telling me that you don't really watch their content. It's just kind of weird. It's like, okay, well, how do you make a video defending them then? For all you know, since you don't really watch their content, they could be absolute scum of the earth.
Yeah, they could be. I still haven't received one message about any of these guys, people losing money from them. So the thing with YouTube is like you can play the speculation game all you want, or you can make stories on whatever the fuck you want. By the way, can I curse? You could curse on live stream.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't.
Okay, yeah, whatever the fuck you want. I mean, there's literally 10,000 topics, and so when I don't receive any communication about someone, it would be pure speculation to be making a video targeting someone with no data, no facts. Does that make sense?
Not to me, no, to be honest. I think that's kind of crazy because you got to think about it, right? I don't have to get emails from somebody to know that somebody's bad. All you have to do is just do a little bit of research. If you just do a little bit of research into Meet Kevin, or just look at some of the videos that are very critical of him to have a lot of views, you'll easily see that this guy is one of the worst on YouTube finance.
So then why do people still make money following his advice? Like what's separating the people who make money from the people who don't make money?
Okay, I want to make it very clear. I'm talking about stocks. So people that make it real estate, I can't comment on that. I'll give you that. Gotcha. But in terms of stocks, I don't know who could possibly be making money. A firm's down 90%, Matterport down 85%. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't follow the stock world at all. Like I don't watch a single video on the stock market.
But even though you don't, Spencer, a lot of people are still getting hurt. That's the point. Even if you're not talking about no, they are. What do you? No, there is no maybe. Matterport is down huge.
Well, sure. I mean, everyone loses money. I've lost I've lost. I don't know, 200,000. No, not quite that much. Maybe 150,000 in real estate. I mean, that's just a part of life. This is my point: is that if they come back and beat the stock market next year, do they have a skill set, or did they just have a bad year, or did they just have a good year next year? Like you can't really evaluate people in the short term. Same thing with real estate. Like if I crush it over the next 5 years, up to this point, I have had a couple experiences of losing money. So therefore, it's easy to look at me and go, "Oh, he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing." But if I outpace the market over the next 3 or 4 years, which I think I will, right? I always had the same skill set. It's just it needs to play out over the long haul. This is the same thing with poker. This is what's called like expectation of value.
Yeah, right. But that's the problem. They're not going to outpace the market over the long term because of how down their stocks are. And also a lot of these guys' stocks, like Jeremy holds the world record of picking the most bankrupt stocks. He holds the world, like some of his stocks are about to go bankrupt right now. Like he literally holds the record. So when you account for things like that, like Voyager Digital, right? Voyager Digital is never coming back. It went bankrupt. It's over with. Jeremy lost $250,000. There are tons of people who bought that stock because of him and lost money too. Those are the types of things that I'm talking about that you can't really defend.
For sure. Well, I never defended their stock picks, by the way. What you're referring to, do you want to talk about that? I think it'd be a more productive conversation. The defending them from FTX. You used the word defending them, correct?
Yeah, we can move
So
to
what's your interpretation of me defending them? What did you think I was defending them from?
It's exactly what you did in the video. You basically, instead of holding them accountable, which makes more sense because we're all in the finance YouTube community, right? And those are your friends, which means you really should be getting on them if those are your friends. And a lot of people lost money because of it. But instead, you started bringing up like Tom Brady and Steph Curry and all this other stuff. And you tried to say, well, why are you guys going after these people when you could have went after, Steph Curry and Tom Brady and all this stuff? It just didn't really make sense to me. I think you would have, I really think you would have been better off just not saying anything about that situation. That's
sure.
Really what I think.
How much in losses did FTX incur? Do you know?
How much?
Yeah.
Like how much did people actually lose collectively?
Yeah, people collectively. Hasn't the number come out?
What's it like, 2 billion?
The exact number doesn't matter. Let's say 2 billion.
Okay.
How much do you think the finance influencers influenced? If you had to guess. How much in losses?
I'd say quite a lot.
And what would you value quite a lot at? Are you saying 500,000, 5 million, 10 million, 100 million?
I mean, honestly, I don't think that argument really matters because the bottom line is this is the finance community we're talking about and people still lost money. I think that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter if Steph Curry lost people more money because he has a bigger platform. We don't watch Steph Curry for advice. People watch Meet Kevin and Graham Stephan. That's the problem. So even if it's $1,000, you still have these fake finance gurus who are supposed to be teaching people how to be safe with their money, yet they lost a lot of money. That's the problem.
Number one point I'm going to make is they influence significantly less than people realize. So that's one. I don't know. No one knows the exact number, but I can tell you just based on how this game works, they influence significantly less than most people realize. So let's just put a number at it. Let's just say they influence $1 million in losses, which I think it was less than that. But let's just hypothetically, I'll give you the sake of the argument, 1 million. The point I was making is any logical person who wants to get mad at this situation, there are let's just call it 2 billion. That's the number we settled on. $2 billion in losses. If finance influencers influence 1 million, where do you believe the other 1.99 billion was influenced by? Where do you believe? This is not a gotcha question, by the way.
No,
where do you believe?
Probably the bigger celebrities with bigger platforms. I get what you're saying.
So my point, the point I was trying to say is that if you want to get mad, because here's the situation. Let's make sure we're on the same boat here. You have people influenced, people use their influence to promote something. People invested in this platform, right? And then people lost money when the platform went to zero, right? Just so we're on the same page, right? Influencers influence people to lose money, right? So how is that any different than someone like Tom Brady or Miami Heat Arena? If they're influencing 100x the losses, my point that I was trying to make is you can be mad at whoever you want. You could be mad at me. You could be mad at the sky. You could be mad at your neighbor. It doesn't matter. But a logical person, if you want to be mad at people who incurred losses, you should point your anger more at the people who influenced 100x the losses that my friends did. So you can still blame my friends, whoever you want to do, wherever you want to place the blame. If you signed up because of Graham Stephan, you're going to be mad at him. I've never argued that. My point is that there are people that influence 100x, possibly even 1,000x, right? So if you want to play this like, the victim game, all these poor victims, then there were more victims with other people. That's why I bring up Tom Brady, is because my theory is that the reason why they get paid 30 million and influencers were paid roughly around 50 grand a month on 20 videos. So we're talking like 2 or 3 grand a video, right? There's a reason why Miami Heat Arena gets 30 or 40 million because they influence significantly more. That's why I brought up Tom Brady. Of course, you watch finance influencers and trust them more on financial advice than Tom Brady, but the numbers don't lie. And Tom Brady's and all these big celebrities influence more. And so if you want to play the game of like, let's start pointing the finger at the bad guy, let's point the finger at the people who cause more influence. That's my point.
And see, I think this is where the mistake was made on your part when you made the video defending them. Because nobody in this community cares about people who dribble a dang basketball or throw a football. The problem is we all watch these people who hurt people, even though the dollar amount is smaller than the basketball players or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I said, this is the finance community. These are the people that we watch. So even though Tom Brady and whoever deserves more blame, I get what you're saying, but I think you're missing the point of the fact that nobody in this finance committee cares about that. We don't even watch them. We watch them for entertainment to freaking throw a football and play sports. We don't watch them for advice. Sure, they promoted it, but I highly doubt anybody who has been critical of you about this entire situation invested in FTX because of those people, or even heard about it because of those people.
By the way, you're right. You are 100% correct. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm telling the story on a large scale that you could be mad at whoever you want, but I felt like when I logged into YouTube, people were these opportunists. I include you in them. This group of opportunists were like targeting the same people. And you can target them all you want. I get it. You're in the finance space. They're relevant finance.
We don't care about Tom Brady, Spencer.
Right,
we don't care about.
But if you want to be journalist, if you want to tell the story in the right way without being a target, basically what you guys did is you were selectively targeting to try to say it's all these guys' fault. When the point by the way, we're not even arguing the same point here, because I totally get it. Like in the finance space, you go after the finance YouTubers. Of course, that makes total sense. But it doesn't negate the fact that I'm arguing that this is a huge story and there is a laundry list of people who are at fault. I'm arguing that the fault list, if we're going to play I'm trying to get the camera. If we're trying to play the point the finger blame game, let's go off of who influenced the most amount of losses. That was all the point I was trying to make.
Right, and that's the problem. Your followers, my followers, nobody in finance YouTube cares. We care about the finance people who we watch. And again, you're comparing athletes to finance guys who give financial advice on YouTube. These athletes don't have cameras on YouTube telling people where to put their money. That's the biggest issue. They share way more accountability. Even though the amount of losses is way less than the celebrities, fine. They share a lot more accountability because they built the brand on transparency, trust, being safe when it comes to where to put your money. And they broke that because they got greedy. They saw a bunch of money, they took it, and they got greedy, which leads me to the other point. They didn't even give the money back.
Okay, well, that's actually a good point. Do you know why that is? This is not a gotcha, by the way. We'll do a little learning lesson. Do you know why?
No, I don't.
Okay, are you familiar with what's called a clawback provision?
Nope.
Okay, so the concern is during a bankruptcy in a matter like this, when it all gets settled. Unfortunately, with YouTube, you can't have it like all settled within a day, so you can't come out and play the "I gave my money back" card. So what happens is you have to wait until it plays out, because what could happen is during this proceeding, all the people who benefited will have to give the money back. Are you familiar with the Bernie Madoff situation? Have you seen stuff on Bernie Madoff? A little
bit, yeah.
Yeah, so you know, after the fact, where at the end of the documentary, it literally shows that people had to give back money. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so that's essentially a clawback provision. It's like, you guys over there profited. You need to send the money back. And so the concern is that, and by the way, all lawyers would recommend this. And so, yeah, all my friends, kind of putting words in their mouth and whatever, but they would all give the money back. The problem is you have to wait until it's all settled, until you're seeing how much you have to give back. If it's all the amount you were rewarded, then you would give it back. So you wouldn't give it back and then have to give it back again. Does that make sense? So this isn't a matter of like, do they want to? Of course, they all want to, but it doesn't make any sense to give it back. And plus, by now, like, no one cares. This is also the problem with YouTube, and this is not aimed at you. This is aimed at most of the audience. But people don't care. Like, even if these guys came out and said, literally, do a poll and we'll donate it to the charity of choice. Like, all these people who got upset, none of them would change their minds. It wouldn't change anything. I mean, maybe a portion of the audience. It realistically would not change everyone's mind.
So my issue is, why haven't any of these creators said what you just said? Are they like not allowed to say this?
Very touchy subject. Again, I don't want this to turn into like me defending them in any way, because this is not them speaking. Mm-hmm. However, yeah, they obviously all talk to attorneys, and it's a very touchy subject where there's really no benefit to come out with a video. And then when you come out with a video, then it's like you're admitting guilt. This is another issue too with the donating money back, is it's essentially admitting guilt, that you are guilty of something. And so that's another element. Once you understand law, dude, and how shitty lawsuits are and how shitty the legal system works, you'll understand that like they were truly in a like massive triple loss situation. There was no winning, and there was no amount of like good deeds that they could do that would solve the problem. It was a really unfortunate circumstance. I know people don't want to freaking look at them like victims, whatever. But that's the case. And I can guarantee if you were in their shoes, you would understand why it is not as simple as just give the money back, bro.
I really don't think I would, man. I think somebody with integrity, if you can't give the money back and there's all these complications, I think they owe it to their audience to at least be transparent about it and tell the truth about what's going on and why they can't do
that's the thing
things.
that lawyers advise not to. That's the real challenge. And it really sucks, man, because like with YouTube, you do want to have that. And I'm speaking more on myself here, but like it's the same thing. If I was in their shoes, you can't just come out with a video because you're essentially admitting guilt.
But they did come out with videos though. You know,
no, but saying what you want to say, like here's how much I made. Like lawyers advise not to. That's all I'll say. So you can interpret that however you want.
Okay, I'll speak on Kevin then, because Kevin came out and talked about how much he made, and Kevin said he was going to give the money back and never did.
I don't know if he did or didn't.
I didn't see any video about it, but I know he made a video saying that he was going to give the money back, and he also made a video saying how much he would give. So why is Kevin able to do it but nobody else can?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't talk to Kevin, by the way, so I don't know.
Okay.
But let me. Oh, that's an interesting point. So I watched your video. You made a video about Meet Kevin, and you were. It was interesting. You like looked into the creditors list, and you found that creators agency, and it wasn't Meet Kevin. You remember what video I'm talking about? Where you're like he lied. Yeah. Okay. So
I said he might have because I did not see his name, but he could be in there. I just didn't see it. But
yeah. So this is not a gotcha moment. This is not me like shitting on you. This is just a good example of like how the YouTube game works. And like when you're in the exposed niche, like I thought that was a pretty good video. It was, you well presented your information. You showed proof like, hey, I looked it up. I didn't find Meet Kevin. I didn't find creators agency. So Meet Kevin got the deals through a different agency, not creators agency. So my point is that the video, you kind of presented him as this liar and he's this awful person. He probably didn't give the money back, like all these allegations, but it was just as simple as he took the money from a different agency. So you just didn't see that. And there was no way of you knowing that. My point is that like a lot of these exposed videos, sometimes it's just, there's like a very simple answer, even though you can dress it up and make it scandalous.
I don't think it's just not making it scandalous. He's with creators agency. So it makes sense that I would expect his name to be down there like everybody else's is.
No, that's my point is, you would expect that. My point is that there was no way you would have access to that information, but it was like a very simple reason for why you couldn't find his information.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. While we're on the subject, we definitely need to talk about this weird, spooky alien mafia agency you work with.
The mafia. I ate lunch with them yesterday. We find it so funny. Like it's a running joke with all of us how there's some like spooky agency. It's so funny.
You guys are a spooky agency.
Yeah, it's so shady. What questions do you have?
A lot. Well, first off,
start with the first one.
Yeah, first off, when you made that video, did you get paid by creators agency to make that video?
$10 million. Dude, here, let me tell you a little insight, dude. When stuff like this happens, one thing that I found so fascinating, are you on Reddit at all?
Yeah, sometimes.
So there's a Reddit called Confidently Incorrect. Have you heard of that one? Okay, so yeah, it's a subreddit confidently. It's like where people are confidently incorrect. What was so fascinating is reading all of the comments and just how confidently incorrect they were about everything. And yeah, the fact that it's, by the way, that is a running joke. Like I tell them, like they paid for lunch yesterday. It's like, hey man, you're paying me, you're paying me to make videos. No, I didn't get paid $1. There were so many conspiracy theories about that agency. I would love to go through all of them. So whatever questions you have.
So you didn't get paid at all to make that video?
No.
So why did you make that video then, if you didn't get paid at all? Because it just came out of left field for you. It didn't really make sense to me.
Well, whether you agree or disagree, I will back my position with empirical evidence if you want to combat me. But I've always been after the truth. I've always been objective. I've always been the guy who shares. I'm usually middle of the line on most topics. But what's funny is for years I've been the objective guy. A lot of people go, man, Spencer, I prefer you over CoffeeZilla because you're way more objective. You seem to be after the truth. I've always been after the truth for a story. The truth of this story is what I shared, right? The elements I shared about the story. I felt like they were getting unfairly targeted. I felt like there were a lot of people who didn't understand what actually happened. And I felt like I was the only one who was willing to stand up and actually share all the details. And so I felt like that was the right thing to do. What's actually interesting, I'll defend myself here for a second, is you asked a great question, like, why did you make the video? What's funny is I was the only one who didn't have incentives to make that video. I was actually de-incentivized. You would argue it was actually a really dumb video to make. And I would agree. I think it was. The right thing to do would actually have been to not make the video. However, what's funny is everyone who made videos on the topic was incentivized to stand by their narrative. I was the only one who was damaged by making a video about the topic, which is funny because I would argue that generally is the person you should trust, is the person who actually stood up and said, no, this is the actual truth. I'm willing to take heat for this because I know this is the right story to tell.
Okay. I guess my question was going to be, if that's the case, then why did you delete that video? Because that video is now deleted.
Yeah, so I took that down recently. The biggest reason is there was no benefit. Like it's already been seen by whoever wants to see it. Like there's truly no benefit to having it up, and so I didn't want to leave it up anymore.
But if you stand by what you said, it looks bad when you delete that video.
A real problem is it was just so toxic. All the people that were still here, you can hate on me for taking. I took that video down, and then the one that was like established titles that I did a response to that one. I saw no benefit to leaving it up. Like the damage was already done. I honestly I'm pivoting away from the content I was making, and I'm trying to watch my words carefully, but I very much want that toxic, angry crowd to leave for good. And so by leaving those videos down, I can officially move on, and that negativity will not exist on my channel anymore, if you want the real answer.
So basically you took that video down to get rid of all the negativity. That's really it.
Yeah. I think anyone would. I mean, imagine, here, I'll give you a corollary. Imagine if every day you walked outside for a morning walk with your family and your neighbor came out and said, hey, dude, you're so ugly, man. You're a piece of shit. And you're like, okay. By the fifth day, it's annoying. Then by the 10th day, you're just like, all right, we're just going to walk at a different time because it's just annoying. Like it just gets annoying. That's the best way to put it. That's all.
I have a hard time accepting that answer because you were so adamant in defending your friends, and now to take that video down, it almost seems like you might be backtracking a little bit.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. It just looks bad when you delete it, but let's go back to creators.
It only looks bad if you delete and then you like dance around the issue. I told you I deleted it because I'm just tired of the negative comments. I blocked most of them. It's just a waste of energy.
I just feel like you got to stand on it, though. I feel like you made that video.
But what's the benefit? What's the benefit for keeping it up? What, to stand on? Oh, guys, look, I fucking.
It's integrity. You're right here defending these back. You got to understand, man. There are people who really hate these people because of what they've done. Yeah. And you made a video defending them, and now you're taking it down. It's like you're running away. You can't run away. You made a video defending these people. You got to stand on it.
Yeah,
deleting the video. To me, Spencer, deleting that video is the coward way out.
No, it's not. I already made the video. I took all the heat. You're deleting
it because you can't handle the comments. You can't handle people talking bad about you.
No, yes, I can. It's because it got fucking annoying. That's why. Like, there's no. What's the benefit? What's the benefit for leaving it up?
The benefit is
I am pivoting away from this crowd. Understand? Like, I have no interest. Like, this is hopefully the last time I'll ever discuss the FTX stuff because we're now like months later. But I have no interest in this like negativity. Like I've handled it. It's already happened.
But you can't sell out and then say, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore." You're the
what do you mean by sell out? What do you mean by sell out?
You're a scam exposer and you're defending grifters. It's a complete sellout. In my opinion, I think you sold out for money.
How did I benefit?
You get money from being with Creators Agency. You're defending the same people who are in the same agency as you, who are bad people who promote scams. Creators Agency promoted scams, didn't care.
Creators Agency didn't promote anything, by the way. They're just a middleman.
So they did not get paid by FTX.
They did, yeah.
Exactly. They get paid by FTX. They take a cut and they dish the money out to the creators. So they share blame in this. Okay, so they promoted a scam.
Well, okay. I was being semantical here. Yeah, they don't technically promote it. They just get the brand deals.
And they give it to creators, but the creators wouldn't have had it if it wasn't for Creators Agency. Creators Agency is even worse.
No. Okay, so let's actually go back a few steps. What due diligence? Let's say I had FTX sent to my inbox to promote. What due diligence should I have done? And by the way, I have full disclosure. I never promoted FTX. Never even considered it. Never wanted to. But let's say I come to you and I say you are the master of due diligence. What due diligence should I have done
on FTX?
Correct. On FTX specifically.
It's hard to say for you because
for me, for Creators Agency, whoever you want.
Okay, so for like Graham, me, Kevin, Creators Agency,
sure, all those guys.
Sure. You're giving you an 8% return on your money. Where's that 8% coming from?
Well, the 8%. Who promoted the 8%?
FTX did.
No. Which creator?
It doesn't matter. That's what FTX promotes on their website. It doesn't matter. You're asking me what we would do to determine the risk of what we're promoting. You look on the website, it immediately says you get an 8% return on your money. So if you're doing your due diligence before you're promoting this crap, you're going to figure out where the heck is this 8% coming from.
Well,
That's
by the
already
way, they never promoted the 8%. By the way, that's an interesting story if they ever did, because then you get into securities law, and then they would have been in real trouble. So
no, they didn't promote the 8%, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
People click on the link for FTX, and the first thing on the website is 8% on your money. That's automatically going to draw people right there.
Sure, but let's go back. What due diligence should someone do?
We just explained it.
So if
we're making two different arguments. I'm not talking about the script or whatever they specifically said about FTX. We're talking about FTX, the company itself. When you have a big platform and you're promoting these things, there's a reason these guys are getting paid this kind of money. You have to do your due diligence on this type of company. And what's even worse is people like Graham was still promoting FTX while all the other competitors were going bankrupt. Voyager Digital and BlockFi and everybody else, and they were still promoting this stuff. It's the same thing.
By the way, FTX was not the biggest paid. So like there's this idea that FTX was paying so much money, therefore, that should have been the biggest red flag. They were paying very well, but I think there were many sponsors that were actually paying more.
Okay, that's fine. That's irrelevant. But the main point.
No. My point is like there's like so many people brought up so many red flags, and one of the key ones is just you guys were getting paid so much. That's an obvious red flag. It should have been. You should have known from the start. So what about FTX was a scam though? The part they promoted the platform to trade crypto.
That's all I keep saying. We got to stop saying this argument. It doesn't matter what they specifically promoted or them tiptoeing behind it. They still promoted a bad product that ended up being the scam. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what they said about it or anything. They said FTX is great. I trust it. Turned out to be a scam. That's it. That's all there is to it.
So in your eyes, if someone promotes something that turns out to be a scam, does that make you a scammer?
It's part of it. It can. It depends on what else you've done. If that's your one violation, it's not the end of the world. But it's deeper than that. It goes to how they handled it. It goes to the fact that they completely lack any due diligence. Like they saw money. We know what happened. They saw money and they took it.
Hold on. What due diligence did they do?
None.
You sure?
At least
You're confident. You've asked them.
Okay, I'd love to hear it. You're with creators. You tell me.
Yeah, you've
they
asked them.
They don't talk to me. I try to ask them. They don't talk to me. They hate me, and I get it.
So this is the fun. And so actually, let me go back and let me tell you how YouTube works. So let me give you a little insight. So the problem with what happened with FTX is you have two different sides. I'm try to give you. So you have the optics, and you have the truth. Okay, I can never win the optics game. None of us can, right? You have influencers promoted something, turned out to be a scam. People lost money. In all scenarios, it looks horrible. We can agree. It sounds like we both agree it looks horrible. It's a horrible look. You promote something, you get paid, people lose money, right? Fair? We're on the same note there? Right. Yep. So yes, this whole FTX thing is a horrendous disaster, right? For everyone involved. People influenced, used their influence, got paid, people lose money, right? However, on the other side is at what point is someone responsible? So I'm putting it on you. You have not done any sponsorships, correct?
Nope.
Okay, so let's say down the road you're able to get a sponsor, and it doesn't even matter the product. And the product, you sell it, you promote the product, you like the product or service, and it turns out that it's a scam. That it's not the business model that's a scam. It's that someone acted in their own self-interest that you could not have predicted, and it turned out to be a scam. Would it be fair to call you a scammer?
Well, first of all, the business model itself was a scam.
The business model was a decentralized exchange. So hold on, let's go back. Would Binance or Coinbase, if someone promoted Binance or Coinbase today, would you call them a scammer?
I wouldn't necessarily say a scammer. I'd say I can't call it a scam yet, but I think all these crypto brokerages are scams. So I'm not going to completely the way they run their businesses. Basically, if you look at Voyager Digital, BlockFi, FTX, all these brokerages kind of run their business the same way. The only one I'll give a pass to is Coinbase because they're highly regulated. But Binance is in the same boat. As a matter of fact, apparently the SEC is about to go after them pretty soon. Binance is in the same boat.
You know that even Bernie Madoff got past the SEC. So my point is that what's so tough about these situations like FTX is you have the business model itself is not a scam, which is I think where a lot of people butt heads in this whole matter is that the idea of a centralized exchange is not a scam. It's not an inherent scam. So if you promote the business model of a decentralized exchange, that's not a scam. The problem here is that you have one person acting in their own self-interest that screwed everyone. To the extent we think it's one person, it could be two or three in regards to FTX. Like hard to tell how many people.
But that's not true. Kevin had Voyager CEO on the platform scam, BlockFi CEO on the platform scam. Most of these crypto brokerages are scam. The only one that I would say is not a scam is Coinbase. I don't think Coinbase is a scam.
So
But the rest of
how
these
does
are all
someone lose
scams.
money though with the decentralized exchanges, right? By leaving their crypto on the platform. Yes.
I mean, I can't really speak to that. I can only speak on what these exchanges do. And
Yeah.
what they
So
do is go ahead.
to my knowledge, and I'm certainly no expert in the crypto space, but it took about 5 minutes on crypto Twitter to find out there's a prevailing thought that you immediately get your crypto off the exchanges. And so what's interesting too is you could promote FTX and you could have a bunch of people sign up. But if everyone actually followed the guidelines of getting your crypto off the exchanges, to my knowledge, you wouldn't lose any money.
Yeah, I can't speak to that.
So that's my point, is that the business model itself is not a scam. Like there's probably a lot of people.
No, it is. Okay, I'm not letting you get away with that.
But
Half
you just
these
said
exchanges.
Coinbase and Binance are not scams. So what's
No,
the
no, no, no,
difference?
no, 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 no. Binance is. I said Coinbase is not because Coinbase is heavily regulated.
So
Binance.
what's the proof with Binance? What am I missing with them? I don't know much about them.
Exactly. So if you look it up, all these crypto brokerages essentially work the exact same way, literally. And the whole thing about them getting an 8% return, there's a reason why they're able to provide that. And it's all based on some of the sketchy things that they're doing behind the scenes with people's money. And so when the crypto market's up, everything's going good. But when the crypto market's down, all of a sudden all the money dries up. And whatever amount of people's money they took and gambled with is all gone. That's literally what's happening here.
Oh, by
And
the way, I was the one saying stay away from crypto. Let's be very clear here. So because people seem to get it wrong. Like I was the one guy saying stay away from crypto from everyone. So
but you were
I'm
just
with you.
defending it.
No, listen.
Go ahead.
I'm with you. I'm with you in that crypto is like hella risky and it was ripe for bad situations. But my point is that all of these exchanges, they're inherently not scams, like the business model itself. So let's say Coinbase, for instance, you said heavily regulated. I brought up Bernie Madoff on purpose because Brian Armstrong, I think is his name. If he took all the money and ran off with it tonight, would that make Coinbase a scam? In your opinion?
Yeah. Yes.
So how would you predict that?
What, the Coinbase thing?
Yeah, theoretically, if Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong ran off with the money tonight, how would you predict that?
I mean, you can't predict this, Spencer, but I think with everything going on in crypto, there's no way any of these YouTube finance guys, at least the responsible ones, should be promoting crypto after everything that's happened.
So that's my point.
That's the main argument.
You can't predict someone acting fraudulently. So here let me defend them for a second. One of the
a lot of people predicted that FTX was a scam. Just FYI, there's a lot of people out there who said that crypto and FTX was a scam.
Sure,
so it's out there.
Yeah, sure. There's gurus about they're committing fraud for 10 years and no one ever gets them for fraud because they never were. My point is that there's videos on everyone. But anyway, besides the point. There's someone one of my finance YouTuber friends, who has a connection that is very high up within the industry. This person is incredibly trusted, incredibly trustworthy. He is well respected within the industry. He said FTX was the gold standard within the industry. Right. So when you say like no one did due diligence, if you actually, and I'm not going to speak on their behalf, I'll let them tell their story. But if you knew the due diligence done, I would hope, not saying you will, I would hope that you would change your mind about the idea that no due diligence was done. And so my question for you is, what due diligence should YouTubers do on products and services that they promote? Right? For FTX, what due diligence could YouTubers have done that BlackRock, who invested 100 million, did not do? What do you think they could have done separately? In
terms of finances, I mean, we kind of already explained it. You go on the website, look around. I think the main point and what I was saying here is they were promoting FTX while the exact same people in the business were going bankrupt and crashing and being exposed to scams. By the way, I'm pretty sure CoffeeZilla actually kind of said that all this stuff was a scam first. There's a guy named Chris Norlund who said that FTX was a scam way before it happened. Strawman Personal Finance said that FTX was a scam way before it happened.
Well, everything's a scam in their eyes. But...
No, not everything's a scam. That's not true, though.
Come on. Everything's a scam in their eyes.
True.
Look, when you call everything a scam, when one becomes a scam, you look like a genius.
But that's not the case, though. Well, I can see what you're saying in terms of
them
thinking that all the crypto is a scam, but technically they were right.
Let's
the way it's looking.
Let's go off to the side. We'll probably be in agreement on this. So, do you think BlackRock contributed to the scam? Do you think they're partly guilty?
BlackRock is a multi-billion, almost $1 trillion
So
They
they
always
funded
put
it.
1% of their money into speculative investments.
Understood. Yeah, but they funded it. What?
Yeah,
what
1%. 1% of their money, Spencer.
Sure. No. The amount, the percentage amount doesn't matter. They funded it with $100 million. They clearly have a team that looks through all the books. So what do you think they have any responsibility with funding the obvious scam?
Not really. Okay, just listen to me. If I'm putting 1% of my money into crypto, it's not that big of a deal. And it's not like they were really promoting it, at least not from what I saw. Maybe they invested in it, but they weren't on
Well,
YouTube
it's not about
saying,
promoting it. So
by the way, guys, this is sponsored by FTX.
Remember, this was an obvious scam, right? That's what I keep hearing. This was an obvious scam that YouTubers can pick up. So what did they miss? Someone putting $100 million who has a team of financial experts that look into the books, that know the entire business model. Where is their responsibility? Since this is such an obvious scam, and they put $100 million into such an obvious scam, what am I missing here? Why would they invest into such an obvious scam?
What you're missing is, was there some buffoonery? Yes, but spending 1% of your money is not that big of a deal to them. BlackRock will be fine.
Yeah, of course.
Graham's fans are not fine, or Andre's. That's the difference.
Well, Andre never really promoted it.
What?
He never promoted it. FTX?
Oh, okay, BlockFi, Big Wolf. And yes, he did. He was on Millennial Money and they promoted FTX.
Well, sure. Yeah, he promoted a little bit on a.
No, I know a little bit. No. I know a little bit. He's on the platform with them.
If you actually just, I'm not going to tell you how much. If you had to guess, how much money do you think Andre made? I'm actually just curious of what people perceptions are. What do you think? How much money do you think he made from the FTX fiasco?
I don't know. I don't care, Spencer.
Just take a guess. Take a guess.
No, why does it matter?
I'm just curious.
Deflecting. No, you're deflecting. No, I'm not letting you deflect. We're not deflecting.
I'm not deflecting anything. I was actually seriously. Okay, I was seriously interested in what people perceived.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But we're talking about important stuff here. This is serious.
Sure.
Andre Jick promoted a scam on Millennial Money. We have to make sure we make that clear. This is not a game. I don't care if he didn't promote on his own channel. He's on Millennial Money. He got some money for it. They promoted FTX. None of that bull crap everybody's doing here. That's that creator's agency. That's that spooky stuff. I don't know if you had lunch with them and they told you to say this crazy stuff. Yeah. But that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, the mafia,
you're being spooky right now. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So all the people who are experts in crypto who promoted FTX to their Twitter followings, why do you think they were? Why do you think they weren't able to see this obvious scam?
Who?
The experts, all the crypto experts who know crypto really well that got into FTX. Since this was such an obvious scam, why do you think they got involved?
There's a lot of fake experts and clowns on Twitter too. But again, you're discounting the fact that there were many people on Twitter. I can find them if you want. I have to go back and find them. I know Dylan LeClaire was one. I can't remember the other. There's so many people on Twitter who said it from the beginning that FTX was a scam. There were a lot of people who said it. They just didn't have the loudest voices. The people who saw crypto going up into the moon outshined the people who tried to warn people. But there were people on YouTube and on Twitter who warned about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, just so we don't go in circles, I'm going to make my final point, and that is,
sure,
BlackRock putting 100, and look, you could argue this all you want, but like, if it's such an obvious scam, why couldn't BlackRock? Why did they put $100 million into such an obvious scam? The point is that this business model was not a scam. You unfortunately have the human element that you can't predict, and that's really the final statement. If you don't want to agree with that, it's totally fine. But if it was such an obvious scam, they wouldn't be investing $100 million into it.
I strongly disagree, but all right, we can move on.
Fair. Well, then all the responsibility should be put on their plate. Then, if they
why are you defending your friends so hard? Who cares about BlackRock? We're talking about your friends.
Yes,
we don't care.
Well, they promoted a scam.
Some people don't even know what BlackRock is. Nobody cares.
That doesn't matter.
Talking about me, Kevin, and Graham Stephan.
Yes,
these
the point
are
is that
the bad people.
The point is that all the blame right now is put on a group of people on YouTube. Because it was an obvious scam, right? Like, that's the problem.
Because that's what we watch. Because that's what we watch.
Of course. You don't watch
Nobody
BlackRock.
Watches BlackRock.
Right. But what due diligence can you do above BlackRock? That you still have not answered this question? Is it, do they need to go to the office? Like, do they need to see the books on top of what BlackRock did?
I'd argue that the amount of due diligence that BlackRock is doing, and I could be wrong, but I think the amount of due diligence that BlackRock is doing for a speculative investment is different than somebody that's getting paid to sponsor a product to their fans. I think it's different. I think Graham and Kevin and Andre should have did a much better job. And again, we're deflecting from the main point. These guys, I at least think, probably had some speculation about it. There's no way you could get a sponsorship from these crypto brokerages after everything that's taken place in crypto these last few years, because they were still sponsoring this stuff when all the foolishness was going on with all the scams in crypto, and they promoted it anyway. And the reason why I think is because they saw $20,000, $50,000, whatever the heck they were getting paid. And they said, God dang it, I'm taking the money. That's what happened. And that's what needs to be talked about, is how these people, your friends, are selling out their fans for money. It's despicable. It's absolutely despicable. And it's even worse that you're defending them. You expose scams on your channel. What is going on here? The same people that the same fake gurus that you call on your channel, your friends are no different. It's the same thing.
No.
It's just a different industry. It is. No. It's the same thing.
We won't see eye to eye on this, but the reason why I spoke up is because like I said earlier, believe it or not, I'm after the truth. And when I want to share the story, I share the details of the story. Your perception of that is up to you. I cannot change your perception. I can simply lay out everything that happened, and I'll let you determine how you want to react.
All right. Well, can we go back to Creators Agency? Because I wasn't done.
Yeah, please do.
I wasn't done with that weird agency.
All right. Ask me anything.
So what is going on with this whole website thing? I'm hearing different things about some people have left the agency. I'm almost certain me, Kevin, has left the agency. But what's going on with these weird changes to the website? They're taking creators off. I'm hearing that a lot of creators have left them because of the FTX thing. Is Graham still a part of Creators Agency? Let's go ahead and talk about that.
It's so funny how big of a deal this has become. Like, I'm just curious why this is a big deal. This seems so irrelevant to spend your life looking at a website.
No, because all the biggest creators in finance are all a part of one agency and all promoted a scam. What do you mean?
Right.
That's a huge deal.
Because they help finance YouTubers, so of course they all go to the same agency because they have all the connections to the brands that want to promote on finance YouTube.
No,
by the way, so here, to answer your question, here's what happens. So we all have multiple agents that we could work with or work for, and so they will include people they work with, of course, but those same people might no longer get deals with them, or they might go to a different agency or work with different agents. And so that's my guess. I don't know. These types of questions don't come up between us because I couldn't think of something more irrelevant.
That's fine, but you got to see that's the problem, Spencer. You were hitting it perfectly. This is the disconnect and why you don't understand why people are so upset with you because of this right there.
I know why people are upset.
Creators Agency is hiding their affiliations with certain creators. They're messing with the website. I don't know. They take one day they take Erica off. Next day, me, Kevin's off. Graham is off. And we still didn't even answer the question. Is Graham, Stephen, and me, Kevin still in Creators Agency?
I believe I know the answer, but that's their story to tell. But I don't know if they're getting deals anymore with them. I don't know. My guess is no.
Okay.
But again, this is like so irrelevant that like I don't know. Are they getting deals with them? I don't know. Maybe not. If they're not,
it would be honestly, it would be great to not see a gigantic agency mafia that has all the biggest finance creators on it. Who, agency by the way, mafia. Yes, that's what you guys got.
That's like a very. It's so funny. My buddy Apple, who I ate lunch with yesterday, he was like, "You called him like the mastermind." He was like, he like loved it. It's so funny. Like you're playing this thing to be so much bigger than it is. It's so funny that it's like. It's become a topic of conversation in the comment section. That,
he
like,
is the
Creators
mastermind.
Agency is just like something important. This is like literally like someone digging into your mom's name. And you're just kind of like, at some point, you're just like, why does it matter?
Okay, well, we already explained why it mattered. The website thing is problematic.
No, it's not.
Obviously, it is. It is.
What does it matter?
Everybody, look at the comment. Everybody in the comments agrees. Look at the comments. Everybody.
Okay, yeah. So that means what? You're correct that they changed the website. I don't know what like what point you're trying to get to here.
The point is they're hiding their affiliations. That's the point. Why
are they taking? Who do you want to know? Like, are they with them or not? I can email them and ask, or you can email them and ask them. Like, who they're working with? Is that like what you really want to know?
Just everything about them. Why did they promote FTX? Why haven't they released a statement? Everybody's been very critical and they haven't said anything.
What would they say? Why would they?
They'd say, I apologize for promoting a scam.
To
several. Who? To the different creators who promoted it to their audience. They're the ones who gave them the money from the thing sponsorship.
Correct.
Okay. So there should be a statement. They want to be fake spooky alien mafia agency. Get to apologizing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, they're sorry. There you go. Are you guys happy now?
No, we're not. No,
here's the problem. I'm going to watch my words carefully. The audience doesn't care. That's the sad part. The audience doesn't care. They don't want an apology. Nothing will happen. Like really, what do you want? Do you want someone to come out and say, sorry? Like, will that make you go to sleep at night and stop making videos?
Well, not sorry, Spencer, but hey, we promoted a scam to a lot of people. We recognize that it hurt a lot of people. We are deeply sorry and we apologize. And here are the steps we're going to do better going forward so that our creators are not promoting scams to their followers. That's what we expect.
There you go. You should be their marketing manager.
No, they should be their own marketing. I don't want to work for that weird agency. No thanks.
Yeah. Any more questions? You can ask any question you want about Creators Agency. I can't thank them enough. They saved my life. They helped me get a lot of brand deals, which was an income source that has become incredibly important for me. And all Creators Agency does is they just have relationships with brands, and then they just bring the brands to the creator. They say, do you want to work with X, Y, and Z for this amount? That's it. It's about the extent of what they do.
They also bring scams to the like FTX. That's the other problem.
Sure. The biggest scam in the world that was so obvious that, everyone saw and BlackRock invested in.
Spencer, I really don't think you're understanding, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're really exposing yourself right now. The fact that you are so loyal to this agency and you're saying
I'm not loyal to anyone, by the way.
You just said you're acting like it.
What do you want me to say wrong about them? What have they done wrong to me?
I mean, obviously, you're not going to say anything wrong about them because they're giving you money. But the fact that you're making it so clear that they saved my life or whatever you said, and they're helping me with the money and all that, it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look for what you do. Again, if this was me, Kevin or Graham, fine. But in the work that you do, it's really bad.
What have they done wrong?
Your credibility.
They brought FTX to creators. And and you still haven't answered what due diligence should they have done that BlackRock didn't do, or Kevin O'Leary didn't do, or any of these people who invested real money into the company? And the answer, we're going to go in circles. So you still haven't provided an answer.
No, I did. You're just not satisfied with the answer, but I provided an answer.
Right. Something on a website and
more than something on a website. You can look at their financials if that exists. I mean,
so did you look
there's
at the
a bunch of different things that you
did you look at the books? Did you have access to FTX's books?
I didn't promote it on my channel.
Right. So do you think BlackRock or any of these investors had access to their books?
BlackRock might have not, probably. I don't know. But the bottom line is,
so if it was an obvious scam, why did they not catch it?
I don't know, but what I do know is
hold on. Why did they not catch it?
I got you. If you're a creators agency and you have direct contact with representatives from FTX, you're gonna have to ask certain questions to make sure.
Sure. And what employees knew that this was remember, it's an obvious.
There's
scam.
Definitely employees that knew.
Well, they're screwed. If they
some
lied,
of the employees,
they're screwed.
Some of the employees did interviews about how they knew what was going on.
Then they're screwed.
Okay.
If they didn't speak, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people who come out. There's interviews all over YouTube of former employees of FTX who talked about the fact that they knew it was a scam. A bunch of random kids living in the Bahamas. I'm just saying. Like that's the biggest problem. And it really is bothersome to me that you're defending this stuff like this, again, given what you do. But again, we can move on. It's really something to think about, man. It really is. So I'll move on. Can we talk about the decrease in views?
Sure.
Because I really think that your views decreased after the FTX thing. I think the FTX thing hurt your reputation so bad.
It did.
That your views took a hit. And just to expound on that, I think your channel, this is the irony of it, your channel took a harder hit than the people who actually promoted it. Than Graham
I think so too.
And Andre Jick and everybody else. Your channel took the hardest hit.
I think so too.
So I just kind of wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah. Anything specific?
Do you regret the fact that you put out that video? How do you feel? Do you agree with me when I say that that's the number one reason why your views are down? Like, had you not done that, you'd probably still be getting 400K views or whatever you were getting. You'd probably still be killing it.
No, I think it's much bigger than that, actually. I think the FTX thing certainly hit. I won't dance around that. That was a big hit. I think what the niche has changed a lot, like the fake guru. I could have told you this probably about summer of 2022. I was telling all my friends that the niche was dying out, and I really needed to pivot. And so the niche itself, it was slowly dying out. You can actually see the trend line on my channel from October, November, December 2021. You can see the trend line going down. And the audience has changed, right? So this happens on YouTube. I'll give you a quick little deep dive into YouTube. So the audience sentiment will change over time. Each niche has about 2, maybe 3 years, if you're lucky, to stay relevant. And so the FTX was like the firecracker at the end, but the niche was changing altogether. And so there's multiple factors here where the FTX thing certainly hurt, and it was like the final straw. But I think the niche itself, meaning the fake gurus, exposed, the documentary, the journalism stuff, all of that has changed. The audience has changed their viewing patterns. And so that's one element. Another element is the fact that I've changed up the topics. Like I just have no interest I haven't had an interest in the fake guru stuff for probably since definitely April of 2022. So it was a long time coming. So I had been losing interest for a long time. And then the FTX thing was the final moment where I was just like, all right, this is finally the moment where I need to pivot. And so there's a few factors. I think just as big of a factor is just the different topic selection, right? You can look in January, I had a video like exposing the world's youngest billionaire or something. And that video got, I don't know, it's 100 and something thousand views. So that was like kind of quote unquote more normal, and kind of proving my point that like if I stayed with certain topics, I could still pull those view levels. You also have another factor, which I think there's fewer viewers in this space. Like you can look at just finance in general, even the people who didn't promote FTX, you see a decrease in views, right? So this is what happens to niches over time, is that the interest levels decrease. And the FTX thing certainly hurt a lot of people in the finance space specifically for obvious reasons. But you can see this over time. And so by the way, I love YouTube. I love looking at like YouTube data from a more macro level. And so I think to really answer your question, I think it's a combination of the FTX thing finally like ended the niche, but it certainly hurt. I mean, if I didn't release that video, would I have more views today? Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's the extent it did, though. I think it was probably 20 to 30% of the reason.
Okay. All right. I guess we can move on from that one. So I guess well, we can stay on a little bit. I guess so. Going forward, you plan to pivot your content.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do it, dude. I've been wanting to do it since I think Christmas of 2021. I talked with CoffeeZilla and I was like, dude, we got to get out of this fake guru space. And he's like, yeah, he was pivoting to crypto, which turned out pretty well for him. And
so CoffeeZilla felt the same way too. He wanted to get out of the space too.
The funny thing is CoffeeZilla's been out of the fake guru space for forever. It's just people still see him as like the fake guru guy. I was the only like big guy in fake guru space for a while. So then fast forward to like April, May, I was so burnt out of this shit. But the problem with the lawsuit, and the reason why the lawsuit's been so damaging, is because I wasn't able to pivot. I had this huge black cloud over my head. I had to stick to what works. And so I could get views in the fake guru and expose niche. So I had to stick to that until my lawsuit was over, hopefully soon. But that's why I stayed in the niche for as long as I did. I would have pivoted a long time ago.
I guess the best question I would ask then on that is, why did you get into the space in the first place? Was it out of passion, or you really felt strongly about certain?
Well, because I'm greedy, dude. Read the comments. I mean, I make so much fucking money, you know? That's my favorite part. Oh man, I had a field day at that one. So I started because I saw that a lot of the internet marketers at the time. So you have the couple years where like the Ty Lopez, Alex Becker, all these guys blew up. And I just felt like there was something about them that just didn't strike me as being, they were missing something, right? And so I started doing a series called Authentic or Charlatan, where I looked at all the big names and gurus, and I just wanted to do a breakdown of if they were real or fake, hence Authentic or Charlatan. And so I did those videos for a while, and then I kind of pivoted. I saw what was working. And so I pivoted in February 2021. Excuse me, February 2021 is when I then pivoted into kind of more of like being a better YouTuber as opposed to sticking to this style of like who's real or who's fake. And it was certainly influenced by CoffeeZilla, very influenced. Mm-hmm. And then, it kind of devolved in there. I always wanted to do more videos. I wanted to do an even approach to highlighting the good gurus, the guys who are like good mentors, and then exposing the bad. And unfortunately, you just go down the rabbit hole of like all the exposed videos get way more views. The audience wants it. And it just, you kind of get locked into what's the phrase? You like get locked into a box or get locked into a square or whatever.
Yeah.
And so if you ever try to get out of that, it doesn't work. And so, I started doing all fake guru videos.
Okay. All right. The next thing, we can finally move on from this, an hour later, we can finally move on from it. I wanted to talk about, you've had several controversies. I didn't realize this till I started digging a little bit. Let's talk about the Mickey Mace guy.
Yes, please do.
He's the gambler guy.
Yes.
And I'm pretty critical of that too, man. I'm just like, Jesus, man. I guess first you made a video about him. You were very skeptical.
Yep.
I guess he's not a sports bettor. He plays like
Correct.
Baccarat, poker, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So you made a video critical about him. And then next thing you know, out of nowhere, you met up with him and you like did a vlog and you went gambling with him. And you'll destroy me in this one because I don't really know much about him, but I got to ask that question because I know people want to know.
Yeah, for sure. I am more than happy to talk about this. So what's really challenging about YouTube is you aren't incentivized to be a good journalist, right? I mean, look, I'll argue my position till I die. Like FTX is just a perfect example. Like the thing with the FTX video is just me coming out and sharing just the story. And the funny thing about that video is I literally say, you can blame my friends in the video, which is, I think, what people wanted to hear, but that maybe they didn't hear it or I didn't do a good job wording it. And so also with the same thing with the Mickey video is good journalism is not speculating or coming out with stuff where you haven't seen evidence. And so with the Mickey video, I did the first video. It seems like you've watched it. And then he reached out and said, hey, you were wrong. And so because I'm always out about the truth and I'm always totally comfortable talking to people or confronting them in person. And one thing I appreciate about you having me on is that it actually is very rare, the ability for you to criticize someone and then allow them to speak like you have for me today. This is very rare. I am totally cool with that as well. And I'm totally cool having a guy allow him to speak. I think it is really, really, really ugly, like this part of YouTube where you like expose people and then you don't allow them to even speak. I'm not into the cancel culture or any of the shit where you like expose people and then you don't even at least give them a chance to defend themselves. And so with Mickey, he reached out and just said, hey, you had a few things wrong with the video. Let's talk about it. I think that would be really, really low ethics to kind of quote unquote expose someone and then not at least give them a chance to defend themselves. So I simply interviewed him in the second video and people didn't like it, but I can only share what I've seen. I can't share what I haven't seen. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sort of, but I think the way you went about it was the problem. I think people would have liked more of a confronting kind of energy.
Look, dude,
maybe,
I can't
not
please
be done
everyone,
with
man.
him in person.
Look, that video was a 97% like ratio. You can't please everyone. The second you start pandering to the bottom 3%, kill yourself. I don't live life like that.
I don't think it's pandering. Well, for me, based on what I saw from Mickey, and I haven't done full DD, so I could be wrong, but he seems like a just straight up liar. I mean, I watched the Adam 22 interview, and I could see why people were upset with you for that. And also, you also got to think about it like this: for you as somebody who talks about sports gamblers and people in that whole betting industry, it does look really bad for you to have another gambler on there and you're buddy with them. That really goes against like everything that you do. Even if you might, I mean, maybe you think he's legit, I don't know, but I think he's pretty shady, and I know a lot of other people think he's pretty shady. I think the way you went about it was the main problem. It really seemed like, to me, it seemed like it was more of a buddy be friends thing than an actual journalistic confrontation thing. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. By the way, you make really good points, and I appreciate that. A big reason why I'm trying to leave this space is I'm so done with this culture, right? And you're part of the culture. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. No, I'm just saying this culture of like, I thought you should have done it this way, or I would have done the video differently. By the way, who confronts people in person? Like, confronting people in person is way harder than people realize. Like, did you want me to show up and punch him? Did you want me to literally say to his face, like, you're a piece of shit? What do you have to say, buddy? I was in his hotel room, about Mickey. So I'll give you something that I haven't told anyone publicly. So I did the second video, which was just allowing him to speak. That's it. I think that's fair. By the way, that's how our legal system works. You are allowed, even if you are obviously the murderer, you allow them to speak and defend themselves, right? Would you agree that that's fair? That you at least can speak and defend yourself?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. So at least we're on the same page there. So after that video, I met up with him at In-N-Out, and I looked him in the eye and I said, look, dude, I did the second video. It was pretty positive of you. A lot of people see, I don't believe people win at Baccarat. And are you a fraud? Like, you can tell me now because the fucking video's already done. Just fucking tell me. And he goes, look, I'll show you all the statements. I said, look, you only showed me one statement in the video. People seemed really upset by that. He showed me every single app in his phone, every single year on his tax statements within the app. Now, if there's a way to fool me there, I don't know. I'm not an expert in tax statements on the MGM app. But I went through all years, and a couple years he did lose money, and in a couple years he had 8 figures in winnings. And so if there's a way to gamify those apps, like I don't know. I'm not an expert. I can only share with what I've seen. I've seen losses on his tax statements. I've seen wins. I also know a casino executive here who showed me he was down a certain amount at a casino that this executive worked at. And so I might have brought that up in the video, but I brought that up to him and I said, hey, I talked to so-and-so. They said you're down X at the casino. And he said, yep, I am. He proved it. And then that same casino executive called the Venetian and verified that he was up. He was a winner at the Venetian. I was not told the amount. However, he was a winner at the Venetian. And I believe it was more than he was a loser at the other casino. So to this day, I still have not had one person DM me say that he scammed them or lost 2 million views, I think, combined on the three videos. So I haven't been told he scams. I haven't seen any proof that he's scams or something. I haven't had any casino executives reach out and say he's down massively at our casino. And so what am I supposed to report on? Right. And I hope you see the world the way I do. Like if you were in my shoes, I would hope that you wouldn't make a video calling the guy a fraudster when there's been no proof presented to me.
I wouldn't call him a fraudster, but I definitely wouldn't make a video looking buddy with him. It just, like I said,
looking buddy, but what does that mean?
Bad. It looks bad for your channel. You guys look like friends.
Yeah, we are. I'm his friend. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Who's he scammed? And this is a tough question.
Yeah, I
for you.
don't know.
This is not a fair question for you, but I'm saying, like, who has he scammed? Like, if you want to share with me, what business was he running that he scammed people? He didn't take anyone's money.
Yeah, I haven't looked into him, so I don't know. But
that's my point. That's my point.
But he does look very shady. He
really
really does.
That sounds like you are.
No, I'm not.
What do you call it? You're speaking about his appearance, like looking.
No. Okay, my bad. I didn't mean like he looks shady.
Is it because he has tattoos? What are you trying to say, buddy?
Hold on. That's not what I'm saying.
All right, just watch yourself.
I'm saying he looks shady in the way that when I saw that Adam 22 interview, the things that he was saying about his life, it has nothing to do with his appearance. I don't care.
I'm just fucking with you. Yeah,
I know. It has everything to do, but people in the comments gonna take that seriously.
Yeah, of course.
I have to say it.
So this is a huge reason why I've been so done with this niche for a year. And I think you present really good points, by the way. I'm not trying to discredit you at all. And you look, buddy, he's a scammer. Well, what has he scammed? Like he doesn't take on any money. He doesn't do any courses, or he doesn't promote his gambling to people. He actually promotes not to gamble. So my point is that with journalistic integrity, I can only share what he shared with me, or what I've seen, or what casino executives have shared with me. Now, what you believe to be true is up to you. Even in the third video, I told him face to face on video, I said, I still don't believe that someone could beat Baccarat long term. So I don't know what people want me to say more than that. Like, to his face, I said, I still don't believe anyone has an edge on Baccarat until I can be proven that you have an edge.
Yeah, I watched that video.
I mean, at what point do you want me to, like, do you want me to punch him in the face? Do you want me to, like, come out to his face and say, you're a fraudster with no proof? What? Like,
no,
you tell me.
You were too nice to a gambler. A lot of people are going to lose.
But too
money
nice. Do you want me to be mean to him?
Responsible.
Responsible. But what was I doing wrong? What was I doing wrong? Like, responsible in what manner?
You're being buddy with a gambler. With a gambler that you called.
But what has he done wrong? What has he done wrong, though?
Who, Mickey?
Yeah, and I know these are unfair questions to you because you don't know him. But my point is, like, you were buddy. I'm going to criticize it. Like, what? I don't know. Yeah, he's my friend. To my knowledge, he hasn't wronged anyone. So yeah, of course I'm going to be friends with him.
I guess the way that I could say it is, if he's honestly your friend and you honestly think he did nothing wrong, then I really can't argue with that, because you know more about the subject than me. So that's really...
So this is the difficulty, though, in speaking about, where you have like audience members like you, and you're totally well within your right to criticize me or have any belief system, but at some point, like, and I would hope that after today, your perception of Mickey has changed, and you won't look at that video as like, oh, he's buddy with a scam or something. I can only hope. But this is what's so ugly about this industry and this niche. And the reason why I've just been so desperately trying to get away from it is there's just so much fucking negativity, that there's just so much like criticism and gotcha. And you're buddy. And I'm going to decide who you're going to be friends with. Like, who the fuck wants to live within that world? I made videos sharing everything that I know about him. I confronted him to his face. Even the third video, he lost me money. And so, like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me, like, I proved he lost me money in the third video, put it on video, and I confronted him saying, I don't believe you win at Baccarat. Like, what more do people want?
Okay.
This is the problem, is people want blood. I'm not yelling at you, by the way. People want blood. People want me to literally show up and like just make it a completely disrespectful battle of two people. And it's very, very annoying, to put it frankly.
I think the last thing I'll say about it is Mickey, I forgot what I was going to say. Crap.
All good.
That's the end of that.
Well, I hope I answered your questions on that one. I have no time limit, by the way, so ask whatever questions you want.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, I remember now. The issue is you went about it in a way, and this is the last thing I'll say. You went about it in a way where it just felt a little irresponsible. So I get what you're saying. Mickey, you feel isn't so bad based on what you saw, and now you're friends with. I completely understand. But because of the channel that you have and what you do on that channel, it still looks bad, and that's why your followers were upset. I think I completely understand what you're saying. I just think the way that you went about it and handle it is what rubbed people so wrong.
By the way,
That's really all I can say.
Yeah, I understand your position. Again, it's like a 97% like ratio on the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
well,
what you'll understand. And look,
Okay.
I hope you get big enough where you can one day I think you'll understand my position a lot, because your opinion on a lot of things change as you get bigger, and you'll realize that there's just like so much perception that's just wrong. And once you get in a position where you get to meet people and hear stories and get all sides of stories, you just realize that there's a lot more to everything than a headline.
Yeah.
And I hope you get that experience personally, because I think it is a major growth that you can have on a personal level.
Okay. I understand. My next question is, why haven't your so-called friends, and we're going to start to move on to the lawsuit now. Why haven't your so-called friends defended you or helped you with the lawsuit?
I don't know why they would.
Especially, well, you stuck up for them with the old FTX thing.
Well, it's not their niche to make a video. I mean, I would imagine if this thing gets dismissed, I'd imagine I'll go on Iced Coffee Hour again.
Yeah, you're right. Graham did have you on Iced Coffee Hour, but I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just how big YouTube works. I know for me personally, if I have friends on YouTube and they're going through something tough, I'm definitely going to do everything I can on my platform to help them.
Yeah, I mean, if I needed the money, I probably could ask, and I hope they would return the favor. But I sense that that's not a gotcha question, so I'm answering honestly. Like I don't know. I don't ask for money, and so I've never asked, nor would I want to take money.
Yeah, it just surprises me that they haven't said a word. I mean, a community.
I don't know why they would. I don't know why they would. By the way, like that's not their platform to make that video.
All right, fair enough, I guess.
Keep in mind, there's way different strategies. Like your strategy on YouTube is you make a video every day. You can discuss stuff. You've even put out like the video I think today was like, Spencer's not a bad guy. Like that's your strategy. It's a way different strategy than others. And so it just there'd be no benefit to putting out a video about me and my lawsuit. And plus it's not really smart to do either, because there'd be talking about something that generally you shouldn't talk about until it's over.
But not everything has to be about growing the channel or sticking to your niche. It's just
this is a game, man.
This is my friend. I know, but that's the problem. It should be, this is my friend and I'm going to help him. Forget the algorithm. Forget all that. They could get away with one video defending you. Come on,
it'd be nice.
Man.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Maybe I'll confront them about that.
Yeah, you should. They're your friends. Listen, man, if something happened to me, my close friends will have my back. They're going to do everything they're going to do. I'm just saying, maybe the friends you have don't work like that. I don't know. I think it's wrong, the fact that you put your credibility on the line for them, and you're the one who got all the flack for it and got the less views and stuff like that. They haven't said a word about your lawsuit. Just blows my mind, man.
Fair.
If I were them,
yeah,
I would.
I won't have anything to add. Yeah, I won't have anything to add there. So
I'm just saying, man. My friend is getting sued. Help him. Go fund me. Like that's what I'm on. You know, I'm just saying. All right. Next question. Were you there during Meet Kevin's DUI arrest?
Ooh, the people want to know. Yes, I was.
So was there like a second car that the body cam didn't pick up?
Yeah. So that night we were there was an event the night before of Creator Clash. There was like a little get together with all the people that were fighting and their close friends. And so we were all going to a bar. There were two cars. They were in one, we were in the other, obviously. And we went to one bar, and then they left, and then they're like, "Oh, we're going over here." And then they were like, weren't returning calls. And we're like, "What the hell happened to him?" And then we got a call. It's like, "Meet Kevin, yada yada yada." It's like, oh, great. Yeah. So we were over there. You can see Lucky, my friend. That's my friend. He went over to the. He's the guy at the end of the video who went. We needed to go ask what jail he was in so we could get him. You know, it was really funny, man. We all tried to keep that quiet, and then when you released the video, we were just like, "Oh fuck." Oh fuck, someone found it. We thought someone snitched. You're like, who the fuck snitched? We try to keep it all quiet.
Nah, pure luck, man. Pure luck. When stuff is on the internet, I mean, it's Florida's fault. Florida has that public thing. Like Florida, like, I mean,
full disclosure, I couldn't strongly disagree with much more in life than DUIs. I very much vehemently dislike. I don't like drinking alcohol. I don't like being around it. I stopped drinking a long time ago. I hate alcohol. And so, yeah, drinking and driving to me is a pretty reprehensible crime that, yeah, I don't appreciate.
I appreciate you saying that. I really do. What did you all think that day when the whole thing happened? What went through your heads when you were behind the car and you got pulled over and Just
It was
everything.
annoying. Yeah, well, of course you're always worried about people's safety. You know,
Yeah.
someone was out driving drunk that
Yep.
puts other people's lives in danger for sure. And so that's always my first thought. Yeah, it was just more annoying than anything because we were kind of excited to go to bars and and then we got to go pull off to the side of the street and deal with that. And we still went out that night, and it was just kind of like when the mood goes down, you're just like, oh, this sucks. And then we had to figure out who's going to get him tomorrow morning. And we ended up going to lunch the next day. Yeah, he was there. It's kind of funny talking to him the next day, but yeah, it happened.
I mean, was it awkward? Did any of you all like say like, what were you thinking or anything like that? Or everybody just kind of leave it alone? Just it happened, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That was the first time I met him, so I wasn't giving him shit. I wasn't giving him shit. But I think we made joke. Oh, you know what it was? We were trying to hide it from someone. Someone at lunch, we didn't want them to find out. Because I can't remember why, but we like didn't want some people to find out. So it was like real funny. We were like making really obvious jokes. Like, hey Kevin, are you gonna drive home after this? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, there's really not much of the story. I mean, look, the thing with YouTube is it's so juicy. Like I get like all you guys could turn this into juicy stories, but to us it wasn't this like whole ordeal. It happened. Your buddy got a DUI. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it was a big deal because when that got exposed, everybody was really on it.
I don't think he handled it that well either. Full disclosure, like trying to get videos taken down and all that. I don't think he handled it well at all.
Yep.
But there's like when you brought up my friends a lot. Like we've talked about this privately, but like Kevin doesn't follow me on IG. Like we don't talk. I've hung out with him 2 or 3 times. It's not like these guys are all like my best friends or anything. I've hung out with them a few times. Andre and Graham, I'm a lot closer with. Tom Nash, I'm really close with. Jeremy, I've hung out with a few times. Kevin, only a few times. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that you speak about.
Okay. Yeah, out of that group, those are really all the people that I speak about in that specific group. So Kevin more so an associate.
Yeah. Like I've hung out with him I think twice down in Tampa. We bowled and then the night of the incident. And then I hung out with him. I played poker. You probably saw that picture on Instagram. I played poker for like 5 hours with him and Jeremy and Erica Kohlberg and her husband. And
my God, Erica Kohlberg was there.
And then I drove Kevin back to his hotel that night.
Oh man.
And then that's it.
Okay, so what was it like playing cards with Erica Kohlberg and her husband? And
we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. You guys
are on some weird secret society stuff. Yeah. You guys are being so crazy.
No, you make it into like such a big deal. It's just friends hanging out. I don't know. It just seems so bizarre that you've turned it into this like huge ordeal.
I don't think I turned to a huge ordeal. I think that's how everybody feels.
Like, I don't know about everybody. I think a very small group of people who are loud in the comment section.
I'd say a large group of people.
How large? She has 18 million on TikTok. How large?
I'd say Chris Norlund and Scott Shafer's audience feel the same way about the creators agency.
Maybe. I mean, do you have any questions about it being any specifics that we didn't cover, like with Erica or anyone? Like the thing with Erica, it's really interesting. It was really cool to see her blow up. I was doing mastermind calls with her in summer of 2020, back before she was on TikTok. I would talk to her once a month about YouTube and growing on social. And then she went over to TikTok and we lost touch because she was so busy and blew up on TikTok. So it's been cool to see her grow. She's an amazing person. She's incredibly intelligent. She's incredible. She's one of these people that's just good at everything she does.
I think she got you on mind control.
Not at all. She's a lawyer, dude. She's a lawyer, intelligent. My relationship or my friendship with her has nothing to do with mind control or anything.
All right, well, yeah.
It's kind of a weird. It's a weird thing to say. Like, come on, mind control. Like, you guys do a good job of like turning everything into this like whole ordeal. It's really interesting to see. It's actually enjoyable to be honest, but.
I mean, I really think there's more to it, but that's fine. Because think about it. This is somebody that you have like a partnership with Creators Agency, and now you're playing cards with them and all that stuff, and it's just
Why would
weird.
I not? I'm a friend. I was friends with her way before I did Creators Agency.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so weird that this whole agency has all the biggest finance YouTubers under their wing. It's crazy. It's just
what's weird about it. I don't understand. Like you
guys have a lot of power. You guys said they have a lot of power. They have a lot of power to
dictate.
Of what? They pick certain sponsorships, and depending on the amount of money, you guys use them. And I don't even know. You might be able to answer that more than me. There's probably more power that they have behind the scenes that I don't even know.
Do you know what agencies do? Like, do you have a good? You did a video, so I think you have a good.
Yeah, I've had agencies contact me. I've had actual agencies contact me.
So you have a really good understanding of the business. Like, there's nothing more to. They get they have a relationship with someone with a brand. They say, we have X amount. We can put it towards these 3 creators. Do you guys want the deals or not? There's literally nothing more than that.
Yeah, but the agencies that reached out to me, I would never play cards with them.
Why?
Why would I? This is just, I don't know you. It's just business. Why would I want to?
But like I said, I was friends with Erica as a friend years before I did sponsorships.
But that's what makes it so weird. And now she's like the boss of everybody.
She's offering a service. What other agency would be good in this space? What other agency has the connections they do?
I don't know.
Right? They're just good.
There's a crap ton of agencies out there. I've had a few email me. There's a bunch.
Yeah, there's a few, but they do really good in the finance space, and hence why they have a lot of finance YouTubers go to them.
Yeah, because they're helping you guys make a lot of money, but it's still weird. But all right, we can move on. It's just weird, man. It's just weird. Okay. In terms of the DUI arresting of me, Kevin, is that why Graham is upset with me, Kevin? Like, do you know about that?
I don't even know if they're upset with each other. I don't know.
No, yeah, they are. Kevin threw shots at him like 2 months ago or 3 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, that's one thing I won't talk about. That's between them.
That's fine. I understand.
But they're still friends. Like, the thing is, we're still all friends. Like, I don't.
You sure about that?
That's my. I don't know. Maybe they're not. I don't know. That's news to me. So I don't know. You'd have to ask them. We don't talk. I don't bring up Kevin's name because I don't really know him that well.
Okay, that's fine. How do you feel about the fact that Graham deleted the Millennial Money YouTube channel?
I think it was the smart decision to make. I was really actually quite shocked that you saw that differently. Like, if you know that there's a thing like FTX, which was clearly once it went down, it was clearly a bankrupt business. I don't know why you would leave videos up that is promoting it.
I mean, did he delete the videos on his main channel and all his other channels too?
I think so.
I don't think he did. But even if he did, you're running away from the accountability. The damage is already done. Why would you delete it? Like, if somebody wants to sue, the court's going to be able to get that anyway. It's on the internet forever. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to get at. Though you're trying to like look for a gotcha moment, but there's none. It's just they were.
No, there's not a gotcha moment. No, there's not a gotcha moment. It's bad that he took the Millennial Money YouTube channel down.
I don't know why
he's refusing to. Because he's refusing to take accountability for what he did. He's basically deleting the evidence. It's shady. We all know you deleted you promoted FTX. Deleting the channel isn't going to help. It's just going to make people more upset.
Okay, well, you can't control people's emotions. I'm just kind of confused to why you would even leave it up. That's a terrible look to leave it up. Of course you would take the videos down.
How is it a terrible look? That doesn't make any sense, Spencer.
To leave videos up where you're promoting FTX?
Yes,
nobody's FTX on the screen.
Nobody's gonna click on it now. Everybody knows it's a scam. Nobody's gonna click on that link anymore. So that risk is gone. But now you're deleting the evidence. So now there might be new people who come into the picture and have no idea that you even did that because there's no proof online. You don't do stuff like that. It's just immoral.
What you're really good at is like presenting all these questions with like a very clear answer, but it's very easy to be antagonistic and just like, why do you do this? Why do you do this? He's obviously a scammer. It's like he just took down the videos because it's the right thing to do. That is the answer.
No, it was really serious. I don't agree with that at all. We got to stick on this because, like I said, he's taking down the videos and literally trying to hide the fact that he promoted it. And maybe it was out of emotion, fine, but it's a really bad look. A real man with real integrity will leave it up and say, you know what? I did this. I apologize. I'm not deleting videos. It's what happened. Because nobody's ever going to forget that it happened.
That's not the point. The point isn't like forgetting if it happened or not. I don't understand why.
Okay, what's the point of deleting the channel? What's the point of deleting the channel? I want to hear this.
To take the videos down. I would have done the same thing.
But what's the point? What does it do? Like, what's the point in taking the videos down?
Because it's a bad look. You leave the videos up with FTX all over it. It's a scam. Like, I don't understand.
How's it a bad look? They don't even post on that channel anymore. Deleting that channel made no sense.
Okay, we'll clearly disagree here. I don't see any logic for leaving the videos up.
Okay. And the fact that you're saying that you would delete the video, that explains why you deleted your FTX video. That's crazy.
Of course I would.
You got to stand on what you did. That's just like me, right? Here, I'll give you the perfect example. When I first started my YouTube channel, I talked about DraftKings and what's the other stock I talked about? Arrival. So the horrible stocks that did horribly. I never deleted the videos. It would be wrong of me to delete those videos because that's part of what I did on YouTube. I did it. It makes you look more guilty when you delete evidence of something controversial. Let it stay there. It's a mistake that you made in your past if you truly have integrity and feel bad about it. But when you delete it, it really makes you look like a coward. You're running away from the responsibility of what you did. People still talk about me in DraftKings to this day, and I have no problem with it because I deserve it, because I shouldn't have been talking about that garbage stock. It's the same thing with him and FTX. Deleting it makes you look worse. It makes you a coward. That's what I honestly think.
Okay.
All right.
I strongly disagree, but it's all good.
All right. All right, we'll just get on to the lawsuit. Can you tell me the story? I know it's very sensitive, so if there's anything you can't say, let me know. And just so everybody knows, I'm very sympathetic to Spencer being sued, because that could have been me. Not even joking. Like, that could have been any of us who do similar work. But what exactly are you being sued for, and like, what's the story behind that?
In December 2020, I interviewed someone who is also a YouTuber who knew a lot about
John Anthony, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
He goes by John Anthony Lifestyle on YouTube, and he knew a lot about the plaintiff in my case, the guy doing the suing, and he spoke some things on video, and I interviewed him. I didn't say anything. I simply interviewed him because he is a credible source on the topic of this plaintiff, and I was eventually sued in June of 2021. To answer your question, the 4 claims are the Lanham Act, which is a federal claim. It's essentially unfair advertising, unfair competition, defamation, business disparagement, and infliction of emotional distress, or IIED, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Those are the 4 claims.
Okay. And he's suing you for what, $2 million?
$2 million, yep.
And just kind of talk about, I know this is sensitive, but just like, what has it been like fighting this case for 2 years, since June of 2021?
The biggest challenge in my life, for sure. Yeah, there's many things that are really frustrating. And the reason why I've been comfortable coming on and talking on your channel is because I feel like I've reached kind of the finish line. And the only reason why the FTX thing actually bothered me, and the comments bothered me, is because for a moment in time, I had real fear that I wouldn't be able to reach the finish line with this lawsuit financially. When I saw, views going down, comments were pretty ugly, your first reaction is like, oh shit, is the tank going? Is the ship going down? Is the ship sinking? Yeah, those are some dark days, man. December was a really rough month. I had $16,000 in legal bills. I made $4,300 from AdSense, and I didn't have any sponsors. And so with just all the negativity and you log into YouTube and you got people like you rooting on my downfall, and people are making videos and rooting for you to lose, and you read the comments and people are rooting for your failure while you're fighting a battle that is, incredibly difficult. It was really challenging. And so it's looking like I'll reach the end, being able to get there financially, even though it's been damaging, to say the least. Yeah. $230,000 out of pocket. Yeah. Tough.
Is there any possible way you could get that money back?
Yeah. If the judge dismisses the case, then I will get a judgment for my attorney's fees. And that's the best path. I'm really hopeful. Be life-changing.
And in terms of how the case is looking, is it looking good? Do you think you'll probably end up winning it?
Yeah. Look, this case lawsuits are frustrating because it's not about who's right or wrong. It's all a strategy, and it comes down to the judge. And so I never said anything. It'd be like if you had, let's say if you had an old coworker who did some stuff wrong, and I interviewed you, and I'm like, hey, this coworker scammed people of yours. Like, what was your experience with this person, and how did you know them? And you said some things, right? That's like what a journalist would do. You went to a credible source and you interviewed them, and I get sued. It's like it was such a stomach punch. If I came out and said ugly things towards people, that's one thing, but simply interviewing someone, I think what's been so tough, metaphorically speaking, is just the fact that I've been fighting this. And then to have a moment in time where people look at me like the bad guy. You've even said I was the bad guy. Like it was very damaging and hurtful, because I'm like the guy standing up against the fake gurus. When CoffeeZilla moved away from the niche in December 2021 and really moved away from the niche.
I said you were the bad guy in terms of what? I want to make sure my words.
Well, you just said I'm the bad guy. One of your videos, I have it down. We can get on that later. But I was labeled as the bad guy by you, comment section, and so many comments are like looking at me like I'm some scammer and awful person. It's like, dude, I'm the one fighting this battle. I stayed in the fake guru niche well past when I wanted to, because I still felt like there were a lot of people to make videos on and topics to discuss in some degree. So yeah, it's been quite the challenge. It's a challenge that I've appreciated in a lot of ways. I think in the long term, I think it's going to be a 5 steps back and like 20 steps forward kind of situation. And unfortunately, I'm at the 5th step back at the moment. And so I'm excited for the next few months. I think I'm going to make a huge leap forward.
Okay. And then can we talk a little bit about like how the lawsuit process actually works?
Yeah.
Like
The reason why it took so
exactly
long
happened?
is just it's so dragged out. It's so annoying. In 2021, I really didn't have that many legal bills because the initial part is you're just answering some questions, and then I don't know how to best word this because it's been 18 months. So I'll try to condense it as quickly as I can. But you've got like depositions, you've got discovery, you've got this discovery and that discovery, and this guy deposed, that guy deposed, and your attorneys are always communicating through email and phone calls, and they just bill you up the wazoo. And so I hired arguably the best attorney for this matter, and his rate is a very high rate. We picked the wrong career. And so just over 18 months, as you can imagine, you just spend just so much money. And I also had to hire an expert. So in a defamation case, the plaintiff is trying to prove damages, $2 million in damages. And so therefore he hired an expert to prove $2 million in damages. Therefore you need to hire an expert to rebuttal those damages. That cost me 25 grand. Right. So that alone was 25 grand. I mean, that it hurts.
Yeah, that's bad. I have more questions, but if you want to get anything off your chest about the things that I've said about you, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
I take full responsibility, and I apologize. But again, if you want to grill, I completely understand because it's a serious topic. You said we'll get to it, so okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that. If you have any more questions, you're welcome to ask.
Okay. Why didn't you ever get media liability or lawsuit insurance?
Yep, this was a good question. So if you go back 2 years, I didn't even know this was a thing. You made a video calling me arrogant. I was actually really ignorant on the matter because I didn't think anyone would sue. It just doesn't happen on YouTube. Like, it's so rare. I didn't think anyone would actually go through with the lawsuit because I've done nothing to this point that would hold me liable for the damages. And so, I was a little ignorant. I didn't think anyone would sue. So at the time, I didn't even know media insurance was a thing. Also, one thing that I struggle with is at the time I had massive plumbing issues in my house that caused me. I mean, I went bankrupt flipping houses. Then I'm not bankrupt, but I mean, I lost all my money flipping houses. Then I lost all my money with this like major plumbing problem that was unforeseen underneath my house. And so I was in a moment in time where I was just really trying to get back to zero. And so I couldn't afford media insurance. I couldn't afford anything. And so, yeah, that was a big variable as well. Fortunately, would have saved me a lot of money. I wish I would have, but it's not as known as it is now. You guys are all getting media insurance. Yeah, I wish I would have.
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't know about it either until.
I mean, dude, this was from videos from December 2020. Like, this is so long ago. The videos in question. I mean, we're talking about. I was such a different creator back then. This is like a lifetime ago.
In terms of the lawyer that you hired to charge, did you ever do any searching to try and find a lawyer that will maybe give you a break, a deal, charge less, something like that?
Dude, I was so ignorant about all this. Like, we're talking, dude, I know more about the population in some African country than lawsuits at the time. I knew nothing. And so my friend, who's a lawyer, a high-end lawyer here, said, I recommend this guy. So that was it. I honestly thought this would be 6 months and like 50 grand max. I was so wrong.
Yeah. I talked to another YouTuber who's been sued before too, and they were telling me that most lawsuits don't actually get to trial. Normally there's a settlement that happens. My question would be, did you reach out to Moneyberg, or did Moneyberg ever reach out to you and try to get it settled so you all didn't have to go through all this crap?
Unfortunately, I can't speak on this, but I did offer him a settlement and he had no interest.
Right. That's what I figured.
Yeah, dude. He very much believes he's going to win millions in this case.
Yeah,
and,
he took it all the way.
I offered him what my attorney called a humiliating offer. I was so done with this stupid case. I was so ready for it to be over so I could move on with my life. And I didn't get the response I wanted.
Okay.
But yes, you are right. Most of the time it settles beforehand. I'm hoping this one doesn't even settle. I hope it gets dismissed.
Right, because you're at the point of trial now, right? We're like a jury or a judge or whatever.
No, not even. Not even.
Okay.
I have it's looking like the beginning of April, all the documents will be in the court system, and then you await a judge's ruling, whether it goes to trial or the case gets dismissed.
Okay.
very important fork in the road for my life,
Yeah,
to
for
say the
sure.
least. One person could dictate about $300,000 in my life right now.
Right, because if he doesn't dismiss, you're gonna have to keep fighting. It's just gonna keep going, right?
It's a black cloud that never leaves you alone. That's why, like, all this FTX stuff really isn't that big of a deal to me. Like, this is the fight that has been incredibly damaging. It's been it's been 100x more difficult than some internet comments.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Is there anything you wanted to say now? The floor
Yeah,
is yours to grill me. Do your
for
thing.
sure. So, I mean, my question for you and anyone in this space is like, you guys really go after the influencers in the YouTube space, right? For the finance space, excuse me. Like,
Yeah.
what credentials do you have that gives you the right to say they're bad investors or they're idiots?
I don't yeah, I don't think you need credentials to look at somebody who has called a bunch of stocks that are down 80, 90% and are not only down tremendously in their own portfolios, but a lot of their followers who bought because of them are down tremendously too. I think that's the main criticism here. So I don't claim to have credentials necessarily. What I claim is that the average person is better off just buying an index fund instead of listening to these guys online. And what really upsets me about these guys online is I really think that they play to the emotions of people who have this gambling mentality that want to get rich quick, and they use that to enrich themselves. That's what I honestly think.
Me and you don't differ that much on stock market, by the way. Like, I generally think the index funds are the best path forward for most people anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree mostly there.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing that I didn't appreciate. So you made a video that's like the deserved fall of Spencer Cornelia, which, by the way, like, I hope no one experiences this, but like logging into
Mhm.
YouTube and having videos rooting on your downfall is not exactly a pleasant experience. And so that video, you said, "I'm rich and I was greedy for taking on sponsors." So I want to hear. You also made the claim. I have this verbatim. Spencer is only in this for the money. So I want to hear your side of the coin with this.
Yeah. There's part of it that I still believe, but I definitely owe you an apology for that. And I can't say sorry enough. I think I've done a little bit more reflection these last few weeks, especially after talking with you personally. I do think that when it comes to some of these people, I've gone way too hard, and I think a lot of it is because instead of scripting, I just talk off the heart, and and that leads to a lot of mistakes. And so I definitely owe you an apology for a lot of the bad things that I said. I'm not rooting for your downfall. When I made the video, The Deserved Fall of Spencer, it was more so, it was never about the lawsuit. It was about the fact that your channel was dying. And that came from me being very upset with you. And it came out of emotion and it was wrong. And I really apologize for that. That's really all I can say. I'm really sorry
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
And I
appreciate
really
it.
do have
No,
sympathy for everything that you're going through. Cause like I said, that really could have been me, literally.
yeah, and just to finalize that thought, I think what's been so challenging too is when you have this black cloud above you and you have legal bills to the size that I have.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not saying I did anything wrong. I certainly haven't, but it does fuck with your mental state, and you probably make decisions that you wouldn't normally make. Now, again,
Mhm.
I don't regret anything. I wouldn't do anything differently. But I think what's a fascinating experiment is if you put everyone under the same pressure, and you could see how they behave. In my opinion, whether fair or unfair, my opinion is that CoffeeZilla, you, Scott Shafer, all of these guys, I think if you were in my position, I think people's morals and ethics would have been less than what I've done. And so what made it so damaging when I log into YouTube and watch videos about like rooting on my downfall is when, I get called rich and greedy and, greedy. And I'm using your words again. I know you've apologized, but I'm using these words
Mhm.
specifically because it's
Yeah, go ahead.
common in the comments that, a lot of people have called me greedy, and it's so crazy how Spencer has just done all this for money. I haven't
Mhm.
taken on a single dollar from the lawsuit. I'm down 230,000. I am 95,000 in debt right now, credit card debt. I have $15,000 to $20,000 in cash. I have a $30,000 investment, something that's under contract for the 28th of this month. So you do the math. Where's the money coming from?
Yeah.
Fun times, right? I'm owed a lot of money. Just from investments and some things that have gone wrong, or just money owed to me in life. I'm owed a lot of money. To take on sponsorships, like, well, we can kind of touch on the established titles. I made $4,000 from 4,250 from established titles. When people looked at me and they're just like, "You're scamming," I would love to see what people would do if they were in my position, where they're making $4,000 a month from AdSense with $16,000 in legal bills, and I had no interest in asking for money. I did not want to go on my channel and play the GoFundMe game. I have nothing wrong with that, by the way, nothing wrong. And at some point, I might need to do that. The last thing I wanted to do is take money from people. And so, what was so hurtful to me is when you log into YouTube and you see tens of, I don't know how many comments. I'm dramatizing, but let's say thousands of comments calling you greedy, scammer, the worst person ever. And then there's a YouTuber, you, making videos calling me the bad guy. You said, and I know your position, but you use the phrase, I'm the bad guy, and it riles up the people, and I'm the bad guy. Spencer's the bad guy. To take a $4,000 sponsorship for a charity, should I have taken it? Now that it's over, frankly, I don't care what people think, but maybe not. My initial reaction was not to take established titles, because that one hurt. It was the FTX and then the established titles little scandal that really hurt my channel, because now people are seeing me as a scammer. I would love to see what people would do. And this is like an evil experiment, because I would never want to see people in the stress I was under. But I was going to sleep at night, like not knowing how I'd pay my bills. Yeah. And when you get asked to do a sponsorship, that's a charity. It's like so lighthearted. It's like, okay, it's a gag gift. Okay, I get it. The marketing. I think your position's actually a little more on my side here. The marketing may be a little misleading, for sure. I won't deny that. Probably not the best sponsor for my channel, which, by the way, funny side note, a lot of people promoted established titles and their audience didn't give a shit. So it's just if we want to dive deep into like the culture you create on YouTube is more important than what you actually do.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There's some people who are still promoting it and nobody cares.
And knowing the audience doesn't care. So it's like,
care,
is it the act or is it your perception of me? So anyway, and I get it. It's look, I'm not an idiot here. But my point is that when I was under the pressure I was under and the stress I was under and the challenges I was under, I would love to see what people would do for money and what morals and ethics they have under pressure. And I'm not saying I'm a good guy, the bad guy. I don't care what you think of me. I just would find it fascinating if they would take sponsorships or if they wouldn't. So that's just a little insight into what I've, last couple months.
Yeah, I'll admit, like months ago, I was very critical of sponsorships. My position has changed. And I know when I take sponsorships, I am going to get destroyed. And I deserve it because I was critical of it. I completely understand. When you create a bed, you create a crappy bed, you got to lay in it or whatever that saying is, something like that. But I completely get it.
Well, this is what I was telling you like months ago when we first spoke. I was like, dude, this is literally the worst strategy on YouTube is, and I'm pointing the finger at myself, by the way, is to grow a platform off only criticism. And one of the biggest regrets I had is I didn't mix in more positive videos so people could see I've always been pro guru. I've always been pro mentor. I've always been pro course, just the good guys. And my biggest mistake that I made was not making that clear from the start. And people will treat you differently. Like the fascinating part about audiences is they will legit treat you differently based on their perception, just their perception of you. And if you build up the audiences, I'm anti-scammer, and that's all you do, or this sponsorship's bad, or this creator's agency is the evil guy, your audience will turn on you unfairly. With this, you could do a Ridge wallet, something that's just like a basic product, and people are going to turn on you for being a sellout. And I would hope you would understand from the influencer side a little more. I think it sounds like you've done a little reflecting, and that's good. I think this you have to sell. So
I try to be more reasonable. You never want to be irrational and just extreme. Like you got to be reasonable,
Like Scott Shafer has done. He's gotten a lot of views lately, but I think his strategy is so stupid. Like he's basically gone after any. Do you like him or? Is he your friend?
You know how I feel about Scott.
Okay, no. I thought so. Yeah, like his strategy is so stupid.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just think his strategy is so stupid. Like it's so short term. He might get some views in the moment. It's like the exposed niche is like hot right now, so you get some views in the moment. But every creator, I think, long term will realize you have to sell, you have to promote, and you have to do sponsorships to make this a long term thing.
You're absolutely right. There's no doubt about it, because besides like Mr. Beast, every single creator is going to have a period where your views go down. That's just how it goes for what I've seen. And the problem is YouTube ad revenue, even though it's nice that we get paid, it pays so little. If you really want to make your content better by making enough money to support yourself and support your content, you're going to have to look at revenue sources outside of YouTube. And I'm realizing this now with my little $5,000 I made last year on YouTube.
Yeah, dude. Now imagine if you lost your job, and I mean, it's tough, dude. You can't rely on AdSense, and that's why a big pivot I'm making is I just want to get out of this culture of like everything's a scam. I don't want to be in that culture anymore. I just don't want to hear it because I very much disagree. All right, on to the next thing. Let's see. I think. So one thing that I have, and I'm including you in this. I'm calling you like the next like grifter, little group of grifter slayers. in
Okay.
my opinion, in my eyes, I think a lot of you guys have intellectual dishonesty, which
Okay.
is, I think there are many moments, and this isn't just targeted at you. I think Chris Norlund is the biggest offender of this. But if you do no research into something and you come out and call something a scam, or you call something, it's obviously a scam, it riles up the audience and it makes you look good. You're the good guy calling out a scam, but it's intellectually dishonest because you never actually did research, right? Even though you can claim you did. And so that's like a
Or at
big,
least not good research. I agree with that.
yeah. So I mean, a
I
big
agree
one.
with that.
Well, I'll shift the blame because I don't really have like a targeted video at you in this example. But he did a video. I just happened to watch it. I watch him for pure humor. I don't think there's a dumber YouTuber than Chris Norland. I think he's hands down like he's either plain dumb because I think he's actually pretty intelligent. He's either plain dumb or trying to like, or he really is that dumb. Like I haven't figured it out. I think he's literally the dumbest YouTuber I've ever seen, and it's like almost comedic how bad he is because he made a video about like Meet Kevin and Graham Stephan, how obvious their course is a scam. Like Graham is obviously a scammer because he's selling a real estate agent course, but 5 minutes of research will tell you that he was a millionaire from being a real estate agent. And like he doesn't even address that. It's very clear he does 3 minutes of research, if that's even giving him credit. And then he comes out with a video making accusations that someone's a scammer. It's just it's so bad it's almost funny. Like it's a running joke with me and some of my friends. Like it's almost like comedy for us. We laugh. It's a way to like, oh my god, this is so bad it's funny.
Yeah. All right.
I
personally, yeah, go ahead. You
Oh,
can
okay.
keep doing your
Did
questions.
you
I
wanna
just want to throw this out there. I don't want people to go back and say, "Oh, Echoes is talking." Like, I don't have a problem with Chris.
Oh, yeah,
Him and I,
wait till he makes a video about you and just it's like literally the worst thing ever, and you're just like, oh, I get it. This is the dumbest YouTuber in the world.
he made a video about my crew. I wasn't in that video, but he made a video about my crew and basically said that they're all friends with me, Kevin, and all that, which wasn't true. So I did experience it a little bit, but I mean, yeah, I don't hate him.
Here's an interesting. So, do you think the promoters of FTX should be sued? More specifically, my friends.
Oh, that's a hard one. Oh. People aren't gonna like my answer, but I don't care. I don't like anybody being sued. I really don't. That's
So do you believe they
ball game.
do you believe they broke any laws?
No, not.
Yeah, so here's what I struggle with too. Is like my position on arguments is almost always from the legal perspective, and I think a big mistake I made, and this is I will absolutely take responsibility in my FTX video, is I said my friends deserve zero blame, and I didn't realize how it would misconstrued it would be, because what I meant is from a fraud perspective, my friends never committed fraud. It was all on Sam Bankman-Fried who deserves all the blame, and I think people took that and ran with it, and after someone told me like a week later, like, hey, I think that's why people are upset. And I went, oh my God, I'm so stupid. That was my biggest mistake. So I'm in agreement. I just find it interesting that they've never been sued yet. It was like, millions of dollars in damages, but I don't think they broke the law in any way. I don't think they did anything to deserve a lawsuit. I think if they were to get sued, I would understand it. Just like Tom Brady got sued. I understand why, but I think that case goes nowhere.
Well, class action lawsuits don't really like that much. I know they don't really like go anywhere from what I understand.
They're difficult. I would imagine they generally settle. That's not based on any evidence I have, but I would imagine they mostly settle when the person believes they're in the wrong. They go, oh shit, I got caught.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not going to go to the extreme and say these guys that are just the scums and deserve to be in jail or anything. Like, I'm not going to go that far with certain people. I like I said, I think the biggest thing is the multiple violations of ethics and stuff. I think that's the biggest thing. But in terms of just this specific FTX thing, I'm not going to go as far as to say that they broke the law. I just think it was very bad to be a finance YouTuber and promote a very bad scam financial product.
Dude, by the way, like the thing that got so misconstrued is just this like belief that I'm like this idiot who doesn't get it. Like I get it. If you're a doctor and you promote something and it causes cancer, like of course you're going to look awful and your credibility is going to get hit. And by the way, I think everyone reasonably deserves a reputational hit. I totally agree with CoffeeZilla on that, by the way. Like I get it. I totally get it. I never argued that point. And that's also unfortunate, dude. With YouTube, you come up. That should have been an hour-long video where I covered like literally every topic, but I rushed out a 10-minute video, and I think that was I could have fleshed out my thoughts a little more, and I think people would have saw my side, because I agreed with CoffeeZilla on most points. It's just I disagreed with him on two, so I bring those two in the video, because I'm not going to do one of these videos where it's like, I agree with him, plays 10 minutes. I agree with him, the terrible reaction videos. So I included the 2 clips that I disagreed with him. And then people ran with it like we were fighting and feuding and all this. Is so stupid.
Yeah.
The drama in the space is so retarded. Like, I fucking hate it. That's why I've been trying to leave for so long. It's just everyone turns everything into this big ordeal. But I get it. Everyone's trying to eat, man. I can't hate on it too much.
I think people turn into an ordeal. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about the comments, like just regular people comment on YouTube, right? Like the audience.
Yeah, and then you guys don't help by making
yeah,
video
sure.
after video about it.
I get it. And that's another thing I want to work on too. That's actually another thing I want to work on too, though. I definitely want to start doing this too. Because like I said, after this conversation, I'm definitely going to make some changes to the channel because I really want to make sure I'm fair in my criticisms. And I want to really make sure that I'm really going after bad people. And I'm definitely going to make it a habit to not make 50 videos about one person because I could definitely see how that could be unfair and very damaging to make 20 videos about somebody.
Yeah, you've brought up some good points to me. You're like, hey, man, you make videos on people, and now people are making videos on you, and you've responded or whatever. I get it. The difference is I felt like it's always been unwarranted, right? If I came out and I scammed or I hit a woman or I ran over a baby or something in my car while driving drunk, like I get it. All of it would be warranted. I felt it was unwarranted. Let me give you an idea of how YouTube works. And this is why the niche you're in, and the niche I've to some degree maybe been a little guilty years ago, is how you package the content will change people's perceptions. So you want to go like deep dive into human psychology here. When you're talking about like groupthink and large groups of people who watch this style of content, you can manipulate the way they think with how you package a video. And so Scott Shafer made a video where the thumbnail was like Sam Bankman-Fried, and I think I was in it. And the title was something like Spencer Cornelia. He used a pretty aggressive word, like he abused me or something. That was not the word, but it was something like an ugly word. In the whole video, it was just the stupidest video I've ever seen. It was like on the level of Chris Norlund that I figured Chris Norlund would make a video so dumb. Oh, attacked me. I know what it was. Spencer Cornelia attacked me. And it was literally like I left like a respectful comment. But you see how easy it is to manipulate people into thinking that you're the bad guy. When like I want you to picture if I came out with a video saying Echoes from Above attacked me, and the whole video was about how you're a piece of shit and like all these things. I don't have to say anything defamatory, but the entire audience will be on my side because it's my channel. And so then you change the thoughts of significant amount of people. I think that video got 100,000 views, right? Because and how you package it. And it's very, very, very dangerous. And once you understand the power of how you package content, I think you will be more responsible. I've been more responsible for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And cool. Going forward, that's literally going to be my thing.
Yep. So I think with Masterworks, this goes back to the intellectual dishonesty. Like I think the thing with Masterworks is this is another example. Like I watched you, come up with some theories. That's fine. And then the CMO, the live debate, where I think he crushed you. I think he made you look pretty bad in a lot of ways.
A lot of people think that. So
I think your intentions were to like, ooh, let's gotcha, highlight this guy, and he came out and basically answered all your questions. And even the 2 and 20 was like a pretty bad look for you to not understand that's how funds work. And so what I was trying to convey in that message is that when you have a chance to ask a CMO and confront him with some questions you may have, or, hey, let's dig deep into my belief that it's a scam. Do you believe, actually, let me back up. Do you believe that it's a scam or not, Masterworks?
I can't prove it.
This isn't a gotcha. So, okay. So you can't prove it. Okay. So
I can't prove it. So,
okay. So you can't prove it. So, simple. Yep. So then I heard in the video, you said Masterworks is an obvious scam and Spencer is promoting it. So look, this is like getting into the weeds. You would not get sued, and nor do I think they'd win a defamation case. But if this was a slightly different scenario where you're calling someone a scammer, and I'm telling you from a defamation perspective, because I'm going through it now, you would sit in depositions and their attorneys would ask you, what did he not answer when you asked him in the live interview? And then what research did you do following that to come to the belief that it was a scam? And you'd have to sit there and say, I believe it's a scam, but you don't have any proof, right? And then they'd say, can you please provide evidence that someone's lost money? And you wouldn't be able to.
Wait, you were talking about my interview with the CMO, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Masterworks.
Yeah, that video where I came out and said that came out before the interview. That was before me and him.
Oh, spoke. Okay. Apologies.
Yeah,
okay.
After him and I spoke, I left Master. I was like, I got my butt whooped. Everybody hates me. I'm done.
Okay.
I took
the
L.
Okay.
I took the L. Yeah, I made 2 videos on Masterworks where I talked about you and said that. And then afterwards, I got an interview with the dude. He absolutely destroyed me. I was like, all right, I'm done. I lost. Simple as that.
Okay, fair. My apologies. I thought you did that. So anyway, learning lesson. You got to be real careful, and this is where it gets to intellectual dishonesty. And since this is not something you've done, we'll turn this into an education lesson. You got to be really careful because a defamation case doesn't always mean that you're necessarily wrong in some sense. Like, it's all about what argument you can present to the judge. And when a judge sees YouTuber called something a scam, their audience said oh yeah, I didn't know this was a scam. They incurred damages. And the best argument you can make is, I went on their website. I'm not a customer. I didn't talk to any victims. To my knowledge, no one's lost money. Like, you'd have to answer all these questions in deposition under oath, and your argument would be incredibly weak. And I think, and that's where I was coming from. Just be very careful with those claims. It gets real serious, dude. Like, I'm telling you, my lawsuits, I had certain opinions of it, and then I went through depositions and discovery and all this stuff, and you realize it's not so simple as most people believe it to be.
Yeah, I should have went at it, and that's why I said some of my videos I was just way too aggressive. I should have went at it the way Plain Bagel did. He clearly said it wasn't a scam, but I have my concerns, and that's really the way that I should have handled it. So
there's nothing wrong with that video topic, by the way. Like doing that, like for instance, the Legal Eagle did a video called "Established Titles is a Scam" or "Is it a scam" or something.
No, he said it is a scam. Yeah, he did.
No, that's the title of the video. So that was a very fair breakdown. And what I've really become disgusted with, and the reason why I've been like so aggressively trying to leave this niche, is when you understand what people's intentions are. And I put you in this group, and the reason why, I've been kind of disgusted with a lot of the videos being made, is you understand like how damaging it is when someone's sole intention is to ruin your reputation as opposed to tell a story. So when someone makes a video, by the way, I haven't seen Scott's video on established titles. I never watched it, but I'm under the impression I was featured. I think people told me I was featured. Certainly people were coming after me after it. But when when you understand the difference between intention of telling a story or quote unquote helping consumers versus attack, when you understand this difference, it becomes really powerful. And you see the YouTube platform at large very differently. And when you become the target, when it's not about the story of like, let me figure out, is established titles a scam or is it not? Like, I'm going to tell this story from a journalistic perspective versus I'm going to put Graham Stephan's face on the cover. He has a good reputation. Spencer has a good reputation. Let me just attack them as being these dumb idiots who promoted a scam. And when you realize the influence a video like that has, it is really, really, really damaging, very much to the unfair side. And I won't expect you to fully understand this today because you haven't been through it, but I'll tell you, when you go through it, I wish you were in my shoes for a day. You would understand my position a lot better. And I would never wish that on you. But I think all the people in this exposed space, Coffeezilla, you, others, if you went through that, you'd understand like, oh shit, I need to change my content type. And the change I made after it is I've done a better job at trying to reach out to sources about videos and make it way less about exposing. This is like also, this was why this moment was so key in my life, this little hurricane, because I've moved away from like exposing and just try to be more of a storyteller, which I think is a better long-term play.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. Okay.
Another one. You said Andre is one of the dumbest financial guys you've seen in your life. On your video titled "Creator Agency Promoted a Scam for Free." So I'm curious why you believe that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to apologize for that one. I just think
I'm not looking for an apology. I'm actually just curious why you think that.
Yeah, for sure. No, for me, if I'm wrong, I apologize. That's just how I am. But with Andre, everything that he's done with crypto and jumping on the bandwagon, and now crypto's down and he doesn't even talk about it anymore. Just after looking at all his videos, I just don't think he's that smart of a guy, at least when it comes to investing. He might be smart at other areas of life. I don't know. But when it comes to investing, I think he's really dumb. And I've been very critical of him for that. And I think he's a grifter.
Let's make a separation here. So there's a difference between content creation and I think your interpretation of why someone would not talk about certain topics. So the game of YouTube is get the most views. We all play the same game. Let's be real here. But the reason why someone like him, and I'm not trying to speak on his behalf, but the reason why someone like him would want to change topics is when you figure out what is trending or what the audience wants to watch. That is essentially what the views represent, is what does the audience want to see. Why would you spend the same amount of time making video A versus video B? And video B gets twice the views. Right? From a very simple perspective, obviously any logical person would make videos on video B. That doesn't make you, to me, in my eyes, it doesn't make you some guy who like jumps around. And this is where I think you're wrong, where you came out, the criticism was like, he just jumps around topic. He's not an expert on anything. He talks about what's interesting to the audience.
Well, he spent the entire last year telling people that Bitcoin is going to go to 100K and promoting all these crypto scams and different things like that. And now the next year you just stop talking about it because it doesn't get any views. That sounds absolutely insane to me. There's got to be some type of integrity here. I get that we play this YouTube game and we want views, but you can't just promote crypto all this time and, oh, it doesn't get any views anymore, I'm done. No, you were telling people it's going to 100K. So at least make some videos on it, or at least make a video saying that I'm not going to make videos on it. And here's why. That's the problem with people like Andre and Graham. They're selling their souls for views. They just want their channels to grow. And it's like, what about the actual fans? What do you want here for? You know,
well, what have they done
prankster,
wrong? Right. So promoting, I think it sounds like the main issue is promoting these platforms that turned out to lose money, right?
We're also saying crazy things like Bitcoin's going to go to 100K, and it did the complete opposite. And now you just completely just ignore and don't talk about Bitcoin at all, like nothing happened.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, look, I've always been in the stay away from Bitcoin crowd, but you can still believe in Bitcoin. He's been in Bitcoin for a long time. I mean, the Bitcoin community, these are all just predictions, right? Does that immediately make you a grift? Like, I think real estate's going to be a million. I think my properties will be $1 million each in 5 years. If they aren't, does that make me an idiot, a grifter?
But is $1 million reasonable for those properties?
Yeah.
Okay, then 100K for Bitcoin wasn't reasonable. That was insane.
Well, it got to 69. I don't think
that's pretty far away. That's pretty far away.
I don't know. I didn't think it was unreasonable.
I think so. That's why I didn't get there.
Fair. Or just a difference of opinion then.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. And like I said, just watching his videos and hearing him talk, I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, I really think he's dumb. I'm sorry. I know it's
he's really intelligent. I actually really enjoy chatting with Andre.
There you go.
We have really I would consider him a really cerebral guy. I think he's very socially intelligent.
Okay.
I think he is a good investor. I would stand by it. I think him and Graham is a very savvy investor, someone I've enjoyed being around. I think what you're forgetting is, and this isn't an attack on you, but what is it, like half of America is living paycheck to paycheck or something? Like most people don't even understand how to invest in their health, let alone like you're criticizing the top percent. Like, could Graham or Andre be better investors? Probably. Could Andre have been wrong about 100K Bitcoin? Yeah, it sounds like he was. But you're kind of criticizing like the guys at the top, right? You're also forgetting that there's many ways of investing. Investing in content is a form of investing. There's risks. There's upside. That's a form of investing in your health. So there's many ways to invest. So I know your next comeback is they made a lot of money from content. Well, yeah, because they smartly invested their money there. To me, they are the tip of the iceberg, like the tip of the top of savvy investors. And I don't know what more of empirical evidence you need. I mean, Graham to have I think he's been public about it, like an $18 million net worth at 32 years old. And I know the guy's full story. I don't know like what more someone would need to see to question that he isn't a good investor. Andre has exploded his net worth and income and investing. He's even had huge losses.
YouTube. But that was only because of his YouTube. He didn't do that.
I find them both to be savvy investors, though.
Yeah, okay. Telling people that Bitcoin's going to go to 100K and putting did he put $1 million? Chat, didn't he put $1 million in the BlockFire Voyager or something and lost it all? He put
I think he lost money in Voyager.
No, but he put $1 million in and he lost it all.
I'm not too familiar with Voyager. Was it a decentralized exchange as well?
I don't know, but it was a scam.
I can't
remember. Scam, and they went bankrupt. It's one of those crypto brokerages that went bankrupt. I know that.
Yeah. Well, I think he even told me. I think his biggest mistake was just keeping his crypto on the platform. Like that was his mistake.
But how is that a savvy investor if you lost $1 million in crypto? That doesn't sound very savvy to me.
I've lost a shit ton of money too. Does that make me an idiot?
What did you lose it through?
Real estate.
Okay, then I don't know anything about real estate, but I know in stocks you're not supposed to lose $1 million because if you put money in I mean, obviously it's relative. It depends, right? So let me be careful. It's the percentage of that he lost, not necessarily the amount of money, because who knows how much money in total he put. But it's the fact that he lost like 80-90% of his money in there is the biggest problem. Out of that $1 million, that's the biggest problem.
Well, let's do a little challenge. Let's find let's go to the comment section. All the people who hate on all of us finance YouTubers. Let's see how they're doing investing. Let's audit their life, and we'll see. And if they're bottom, if finance YouTubers are bottom 20% of the overall population, then by all means, I think your criticism is not only warranted, but I think it's fair.
No, I don't think we need. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, like, at what point do you get them credit? Like, at what? When are you going to make a video saying, "Shit, they've actually done incredibly well too"?
When they do something good.
Well,
They haven't.
at what
They
point,
don't do anything
is
good.
it a $20 million net worth? Is it $5 million net worth?
They only got their net worth because of YouTube. They didn't get it because of investing. They don't do anything good.
No. Graham, no. Graham was a
Okay,
millionaire.
Graham's different.
YouTube.
Okay, no. Graham's different. You're right. Graham is different. But Jeremy, Andre, Kevin, YouTube.
Do they hide that? I don't think they do.
No, it's not about hiding it, but it's just the fact that they're not good when it comes to investing. It's pure luck. They blew up on YouTube. Congratulations. That's it. And also, I want to touch on this because you brought up the chat and you talked about like comparing it to the chat. But I think the better comparison is comparing their returns to the S&P 500, and they significantly underperform. They significantly underperform the market.
By the way, I think that's a fair challenge. Like for someone claiming to be able to beat the stock market specifically, I think that's a fair challenge. And I think it'd be fascinating to see anyone who claims to beat the market to actually make everything public over. You'd probably need at least a 10-year run just to see.
Yeah.
To put that way we have 100% empirical evidence. There's no more speculation. There's no more believe this, believe that, no more opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? That's all I got for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good comments in your community post where it's like the one you posted.
Which one? The apology or?
Oh no, you posted like asking questions or something. You haven't gone into the chat. Was there any good questions in the chat?
Your buddy Scott Shafer has been typing a lot. That's funny.
Oh, Scott.
He's not happy with a lot of what you said, but
nice. He's the smart one out of all you guys though, because he actually figured out how to stop making the same videos about the same 4 people. Yeah, that's why he grew.
He did figure out how to blow up his channel. I got to give him that.
He's gonna have to pivot again though. Like he's gonna stagnate here shortly, and he's gonna find that out. But he's gonna have to pivot again if he wants to grow.
I was gonna say his channel was already stagnating. I think the views are going back up, but it kind of already was. Oh, go ahead.
Well, so what happened too? What created a firecracker and made all you guys look good is you had FTX and then Logan Paul and established titles, like these 3 like huge moments. The challenge of the industry, and I say you're in because I'm so far past it, but I'm so gone. I fucking hate it. When the moments get stale, that's when you see who's like really good at pulling views. And I know you've commented and you made videos about my downfall or my views and whatever, but I also want to pat myself on the back a little bit here. It's incredibly hard to pull 100,000 views a video for years, by the way. It's incredibly hard. And I did it, and a lot of my videos were not using big social media names. I actually purposely did like, this influencer did this thing. I did a lot of videos against people who weren't even on social media. So I was pulling, like, that can't last forever. And so at some point it was going to be over, like just creatively. Like if my lawsuit was over months ago, I would have pivoted so hard. And like all these people in the comments who like hate me now, they would have left anyway. So that's why it's like a big reason why I'm coming here is like, I'm not out to like bring the people back in. Frankly, I don't care because they would have left anyway. I'm pivoting now. I'd love to make more like documentary style videos. And so I think they would have been gone anyway.
See, the thing about me though, is I don't really see myself. I don't know how I would pivot. I mean, the only way I could think of pivoting is talking about other people instead of like the same 5 people. But I really have a passion for these videos.
Yeah, I used the phrase earlier about square. What I meant is box yourself in. So you've boxed yourself in pretty badly. Like it'd be incredibly hard for your channel to grow. Okay. Because what happened is there was a number of people that got really pissed at me and Graham and Andre and all these people, me, Kevin, and all these people. You guys have attracted them, and you guys are the new heroes. Yeah, you stand up for the scammers and the grifters. That can only last so long. Like in this moment, that audience is really emotional. And it's like, you guys are the new heroes. And you attracted them, and you've got them. They're gone from my channel for good. That's cool. No problem. They're not going to last forever. They can only watch strongman expose one person, for the 60-second time. Right. So you're basically getting the same 1,000 people or 800 people to rile up and get the pitchforks. It's not a good strategy for YouTube. Sounds like you're finding that out. $5,000 a year from AdSense isn't fun, especially if you start putting in real effort. Maybe you already are.
Oh yeah, I put in a lot of effort.
Yeah, $5,000. That's a pretty poor return.
So what's the strategy then?
For me?
For me, I'm the one. I'm the one whose channel sucks and isn't growing or not going to grow.
I don't know, man. So this niche is dead. It's been dead for a while. So my intuition on YouTube is pretty damn solid. And the reason why I wanted to start pivoting, I can even look back. I can even prove you back in April of last year when I was like, dude, I want to get out of this niche. It's because I could sense that the niche was on a downward trend. And you saw coffee. The reason why coffee exploded is he pivoted just right crypto, all these big crypto stories, I mean, helped him blow up. He did the perfect pivot. And so I think now seeing what you guys have done, and it verified what my intuition was. I call you guys the bad actors, because I think the niche exploded. 2021, December 2021 was like the peak. And then 2022 was kind of on the come down. And then I knew that at some point, the next wave of exposers were not going to go after the bad apples. They were going to go after the guys with good reputations. And I was really concerned that my friends Ryan Pineda, I don't know Alex Hormozy, but I'm a little surprised he hasn't been a target yet. But I figured the next wave would be targeting those guys. And it's become a very much a gotcha culture, which is one person promotes established titles and it's like, gotcha, that's the bad guy. Everyone tar and feather that guy over there. That to me is a sign that the bad apples have showed up. And it's historically speaking on YouTube, that's a signifier that the niche is crashing very fast. And the end result is demonetization, which I think you're seeing. Our CPM rates are going to be dog shit. You guys are going to very much struggle to do sponsorships. And it's going to be a question on you. How much do you want to continue this at the rate of $400 a month?
Why do you think we're going to struggle to do sponsorships? I get a lot of sponsorship offers. I'm not even going to lie. For a channel my size, I'd say it's pretty decent.
For a flat fee or affiliate?
Both. I get both.
Okay. Well, if you're getting flat fees, fair enough.
I'm getting a decent. Yeah, I get a lot, man. I'm not going to lie. Especially when I made those Logan Paul videos, I started.
And they're legitimate products.
Yeah, they're real. And it's like agencies too that are reaching out, are really legit and all that. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if you can do that and make a living, then so be it. But my guess is that within probably by this summer, we're going to see you're going to see this niche like really die out. And a big part of that is the public sentiment, the market sentiment, the big group of people that watch this niche. You have a sample size of 100. So what's funny about the FTX videos, you don't see that video is still more people liked it than disliked it. And for a very polarizing video that was off brand for my channel, to have more likes than dislikes is actually pretty unique. And so that tells me that you don't see all the people who actually gained respect for me and actually came to my defense. You don't see any of those people. But anyway, if you look at the large sample size of the public sentiment, their viewing habits have changed. And this is what a lot of people in the comment section don't understand, is that when the viewing habits shift, the only way to pull views is to make videos that they will watch. Okay? Is this making sense?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. And so what I've sensed for a while is that the fake guru videos that I was doing, where it's like, let me do a deep dive into some sports better, I could sense that the videos weren't popping as much. So it was going to my subscriber base, but it wasn't going to new people. And so you can pull views from your subscribers, but naturally your channel will slowly die out. And so my channel was going to die out anyway. So you making videos about like the downfall in his views, like, yeah, okay, you're accurate in the sense that my views are down, but it would have died out anyway, whether I made the FTX video or not. You have to pivot. You have to add a different element to your channel. And that's what made me so stressful. I could not figure out what to pivot to for the past 6 months. And I didn't have the financial means to try new strategies. And so that's what you guys are going to have to figure out. And this is the challenge of YouTube. And we're talking like 4 levels deeper than, any type of content you'll see on YouTube. You have to pivot. And that's the challenge that you're going to have to face. And I don't know what it would be for you.
Okay. Hold on. I just want to respond to one thing because somebody's calling me a liar. Dang, I do not see that comment. I'm going to get to Scott because Scott is really pushing back on what you said. And I think this is a good debate because he does seem to be doing okay. Okay, I can't find that comment, but somebody in the comments said that I made way more than $5,000 last year.
I mean, dude, I'm down to 20. I'll probably make like 2,800 from February. And I'm still pulling like 900. No, less than that, but.
Yeah, I just don't know what reason I would have to lie. So you could clearly see up here. These are the years. I clicked 2022. I made $5,000 last year, like I said. How do I know? Because I got to file my taxes. So I got to know how much I made from the YouTube business when I'm literally about to file my taxes. So for whoever that was who said I'm lying, I do not lie. I made $5,000 in 2022, just like I said. Okay. Just wanted to touch on that. All right, we can continue. I'll get rid of that.
Jake Tran is an interesting topic. So Jake Tran, do you know anything about him?
Yeah, I like his content, actually. He's a huge grifter, but I like
Whoa. You like his content. Whoa, you're the biggest piece of shit in the world. So here's the interesting thing about Jake Tran. So here's what I hate about like certain comment styles. And whoever's watching who leaves this comment, please don't take this personally. But when people say you should make a video on Jake Tran, because and this goes into the creators agency thing that I think you missed. I felt like this was a question you wanted to ask, but maybe forgot. Mm-hmm. I have no relationship with Jake Tran. I don't watch his content. I don't know the guy. I talked to him once at Vid Summit. I thought it was a weird interaction. I thought he was odd, but I don't know the guy, so I'm not gonna speculate as to whether he knows who I am or likes me and dislikes. I don't know. There's nothing in my creators agency thing that I can't speak negatively about people. There's nothing, none of that. There's no like clause. All these people, all these lawyers in the comment section who know my contracts apparently. CoffeeZilla made a video about Jake Tran promoting some NFT or something, right? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I saw that video and it was like, this part, by the way, this is part of the gotcha culture, right? One thing, I think it's a fair video though. It sounds like he promoted a scam, like gotcha, right? When CoffeeZilla makes a video, one thing that I always made sure of is I never wanted to be the guy who was like copycat. CoffeeZilla makes a video, you just follow up and just make the same shit. I don't know Jake Tran. I don't know what videos he does in the sense of like the content, like within the content, what he promotes or anything. I guess he's with Creators Agency, but they like don't do all the deals together. Like they've worked together in the past. I don't know if they still do. And so like all these people seem to, they just go on and on with all these theories about like, you didn't make a video about Jake Tran because of Creators Agency. Like, dude, what video would I make? He makes documentaries about war. Like, well, I don't know. What do you want me to talk about? It's such a, like the interest level on that video is a 0 out of 10. Like that's a 10 out of 10 video because there's nothing to talk about. Am I making sense with this?
Yeah, but I think it's the stuff he's promoted.
I don't know. I don't watch him. So no one has sent me anything about Jake Tran. So this thing of like make a video on him, like CoffeeZilla did. So go watch that one.
Yeah. Let's move on to Scott's comment. We'll give Scott his time to shine here. This is what he has to say to you. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because Scott clearly understands YouTube. Like he's grown his channel, so I'll give him that. So just want to see what your response is to that.
Yeah. So Scott, and by the way, you make good content for your audience. That's why you blew up. I'm not taking anything away from getting 100,000 views and 200,000 views, and to get 2.7 million views on a channel with whatever 50 or 60,000 subs is very impressive. I'm not taking that away from you. But what Scott benefited from is the audience right now is very, very, very emotional. And the FTX thing was like throwing a freaking grenade in a into a pile of grenades. And so the content that you guys make benefited incredibly well for timing. And by the way, almost all YouTubers succeed based on timing. Like that is the variable that matters most. When you get into a niche and the content you make for the specific niche. And so what you saw is when the FTX thing blew, man, oh man, like the audience went fucking insane. And so if you wanted to talk about FTX and stick to the narrative of like, hey, let's point the finger at the bad guys. Graham Stephan's a bad dude. He's a scammer. That stuff works. Same with Logan Paul. I mean, Scott Shafer I looked, it was 7 out of 13 videos about Logan Paul. Like that's such a weird strategy to me. It works because Logan Paul's hot. So you jump on the trend. And if you work the trend, like you might have a chance, but I just don't see it happening. I also think here, you want to go another layer deeper. What generally happens is the first to market will generally get all the benefits, and the second. So I was the second to market, essentially. I would never be the size of CoffeeZilla unless I did something totally different. Likewise, all of you guys will never be my size. You will never catch me. This isn't like me trying to champion that I'm better. I'm just saying, just purely timing perspective, you cannot catch me because of the timing of the niche you're in. And I think this niche is dying. And I think I think you'll see this play out over the next year. And I think if we talked in a year, I think you'll see it play out. And maybe not, but I believe very strongly in that.
Yeah, for me personally, it's hard for me to imagine this niche dying when there's so many bad actors in the finance space.
No,
and there's gonna be new
on
ones.
The audience. You have to understand this. We're talking about audience of people. You can get the same 2,000 views 6 months from now. We're talking, how do you get to 100,000 subs? Your current strategy, you will not get there.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind that like Scott's going to have to get sources. And maybe he already does, but sources is what drive this niche, right? CoffeeZilla gets the best sources. That's like the secret to his success. I was incredibly beneficial to get amazing sources. Almost all my biggest videos, probably 50 or 70% of them, came from someone reaching out and providing the details. So if he's able to get like crazy awesome sources, then he's got a shot. My expectation would be no.
Okay. Well, I'm here for this you and Scott thing. So here you go, more Scott stuff.
Sure. Great. Sell my soul. Great. I'd rather make money. Cool. What's toxic about me?
I mean, are you fine with Scott coming on if he wants to jump on?
Do it.
Okay, there you go. Here's your opportunity, Scott. Spencer gave the okay. So there you go. You can ask more questions or whatever you want to do until he jumps on, if he does.
Nice.
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, there you go. Any other questions or anything?
I'll give you. What do you find toxic about me?
I don't think you're toxic. I wouldn't go that far. I just think you let money. I really think money corrupted you. And we've already went through this. I already said it.
What the money sources from sponsors?
Who the heck is this? That's not Scott.
You accidentally put it in the comment section.
What did I put?
The StreamYard. That's what I did.
Oh, that's why you let. Oh no, I always do that. I always do. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Unfortunately, weirdos are gonna join. I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Whenever I message Scott privately, he never responds. Me and Scott are like not cool or whatever. But he can jump on. I mean, it's not going to be a shouting match. I just, he's very critical. He has stuff to say, so jump on. Like, you want to come on? Come on. Everybody wants you on. We'll see if he does it. Might not, but there's a chance. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not going to let any of these weirdos joining jump on. All right. Yeah. Any other questions, or should we just do comments, or did you have anything else written down?
No. I'm actually super excited. One of the reasons why I'm so optimistic, I hope Scott doesn't cut this off, but I'm actually starting a second channel. I'm super excited, man. I haven't had this feeling of optimism in a while. The lawsuit has really wore me down over time. And so I'm really excited to, I think when it's over, I'm going to get a chance to see my full potential. And I have some interesting ideas in the real estate space on content I can make. So I'm really excited to kind of move away from this chapter of my life. And I'll give you some insight, dude. I'll give you some insight. If you want to expose me, I'm coming out with a course too. And I couldn't be happier.
What's the course about? I mean,
house hacking. The thing.
I don't have a problem with that, because you know your stuff with real estate. I saw your interviews. See, that's the thing. Selling a course isn't bad if you know what you're talking about.
Watch out, your audience isn't going to agree, man. They see course seller and they say scammer, fake guru.
No, you're not a scam for selling a course. No, that's ridiculous. If you're knowledgeable about something, you can sell a course. Like, I could literally sell a course on how to run a political campaign, and I'd be well within my right, because that's what I did before YouTube.
I thought your opinion was that it was a scam.
No, that was me. That was me like 5 months ago when I was out of my mind. But no, I've moved away from the irrationalness. Like, no.
Good. It's look, dude, life is about fucking learning and moving on. And I respect that in you. Yeah.
I appreciate that. But yeah, no, you're not a grifter for selling a course, because I know you do real estate. I know you know what you're talking about. So yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't look like Scott is going to join. So
he messaged in the private chat.
That's not Scott.
Oh,
that's some other. There's weirdos who try to pretend. I know that's not. If Scott came on, he would be right here and he'd have his face on camera. That's not Scott. That's somebody else. Scott would have his face on. But like I said, I've invited Scott on my channel so many times and he never comes on. So I mean,
I was curious what he had to say.
I know, me too. Come on, Scott. See, there's this guy right here that I can see, and it says Scott, but it's not him. Because I could tell. The guy has the camera on too, and it's not Scott. I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, if there's any critical comments or anything, I'm open.
I guess Scott takes the L. Anybody else? Yeah, he's holding the L. He won't come on. Anybody else want to have anything to say?
Let's take comments. We probably should have taken comments earlier. Oh well.
I think we had a really good conversation. Somebody says Scott is a coward. Yeah, Scott, if you came on, that would actually be pretty good. Because, like I said, you seem to have a lot. He said post link again. Uh-oh. He's coming. There you go. There's the link right there. There's your chance. Oh, my God, Cole. Go away. Cole is posing against Scott. Bro, you guys are hilarious. Stop. We're trying to get Scott on here. Hold on. He said post the link again. I did. That's the other thing about my audience. I have so many freaking trolls. Jeez. All right, post link again. There you go. There's your chance. Somebody else popped on. It says Scott Shafer, but they're not showing their face. All right. Anybody else in the comments have anything to say before as we wait on Scott? Now there's some weirdo posing to be Scott Shafer and showing a picture of me. Great. Great. Shout out to the trolls. I think Scott's trolling. He said post the link again. I posted again. He's not on. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Or do I just need to keep going? Because I can ask more questions. Now somebody named Scottie Pippen has joined. All right. I'm done. Oh, this dude is ugly. Who the heck is this? So weird. So, bro, why are you looking like that? What are you doing? My bad, man. They're being so with these trolls. All right, let's get back to it. Okay. Spencer, I'll just get to my questions. I guess you kind of answered it. I guess I would say, has the lawsuit caused you to be fearful of making this type of content?
Yeah, dude, it's been traumatic. Like, I don't dance around it. It certainly is a major effect for me losing interest in this niche. I see no link.
Bro, what? The fool has not doing anything, Scott. You definitely have the link. Stop it, Scott. It's right there. I mean, I can email you, Scott. Like, I have your email if you want me to do that. Hold on. Let me just show everybody proof that I emailed him because I have his email too. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me. While I'm doing that, I'll ask you another question. What's your biggest YouTube regret? Like, what's your biggest regret on YouTube?
That's a great question. I had two choices to make. Well, it's really one choice, but two. We got him. Oh, and I had a choice to. Oh, don't expose his email like that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's his public email. It's the Shafer vids he has in his description. You think that's still fine?
I wouldn't personally.
Okay, that's fine.
But
I'll
anyway,
take it off.
Yeah,
I just want people to know that I'm emailing him the link so he doesn't try to act like he never got it.
Got it. I think you can make a decision. You have a decision at some point on YouTube to. I think you have a decision to either invest in your channel or invest off the channel. And so I invested in real estate and not in my channel. And I think that's what CoffeeZilla did really well. He got a great editor early, and that helped him grow really fast. And so it's not so much a regret, but if I only focused on this channel, then I think, yeah, the biggest regret would be not investing in the channel earlier. But, to be between me and you, for the 500 people seeing or whatever, I never really believed in this niche long term. What's funny is you can actually go back and look. CoffeeZilla did a podcast called The Drip. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, with the his little friend. Yeah.
So what's funny is one of their clips showed up and it was talking about me. It was back in I joined him back in like August of 2020, right when I was starting to like grow. And I talked about on that channel, I was like, once my real estate income surpasses my YouTube income, I have no interest in fake gurus again. So it's like I was talking about this like before I even got relevant. And so deep down, I didn't believe this was a long-term thing for me. Like I wanted to make the fun videos for a while and see where it went. And at some point I knew I'd want to pivot into stuff that was way more enjoyable. And so my strategy was to take every dollar I earned and invest off platform and then get to a point where I could invest every dollar in the content. And unfortunately the lawsuit really, it very much fucked up my plans there. Kind of threw me a little bit of a curveball. Everything was going according to plan until that hurricane happened.
Okay. That's your biggest regret. Interesting.
But I don't ever, that's not how my brain thinks. It's a good question, but I don't think in regrets. All I do is I wake up every day and how can I get better? How can I improve? How can I move closer to my goals? So I don't ever think about regrets.
How do you think this lawsuit is going to change you going forward? Do you think, I'm sure it's made you a better person. But
I've had a lot more empathy. I rate really high on the empathy scale. To a degree that hurts me in some regards. I probably rate 10 out of 10 on empathy. However, this has just made me go to another level. Yeah, I'm going to appreciate life a lot more after it. This has been a stressor that it's a stress that I can't explain, dude, where it's like a black cloud over your head for, keep in mind, it's 18 months, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's been a
no
challenge,
doubt.
you know? And so when it's over, it's going to feel like a big monkey, like the proverbial monkey off your back. It's going to feel so good. And I think I'm actually closer to my goals after the FTX. So it's funny, like when you ask about what is your biggest regret, the reason why I don't regret the hurricane between FTX and established titles is because I think it was a 2 or 3 step back, 5 steps forward. And I think I needed to change paths. And that required me to really think about my channel on a more macro level. So I very much appreciate it. Like long term, I think I'm going to look back at this moment in time and consider it to be one of the most pivotal moments of my life in a positive manner. And so I'm very thankful for this. And in a lot of ways, I'm actually thankful for you guys too. I can't deny that I very much dislike, you know, logging into YouTube and seeing these ugly videos about me and comment section and, you know, 10,000 comments or however many, just making you out to be the bad guy. But in a lot of ways, it's really made me reevaluate what I want in life. And what I don't want is what I had. What I do want is what I think is coming up next. And so I very much appreciate that. Deep down, even in my darkest moments in December, when the videos start coming out and I'm now the bad guy, I still appreciated it because I think it would lead me to the right path. Why do you think it'll be dismissed? I think my attorney is the best in the country at First Amendment and anti-slap motions. And I believe we're going to make a very strong argument to get the case dismissed. Well, I'm kind of bummed Scott didn't come on. This was going to be an interesting little
I know he had his
mark at the 2.5 mark.
Yeah, he had his chance. I don't know. And
well, if you want to criticize me, come say it to my face. I'm cool with it. I can handle it.
Oh yeah, you can handle it. I'll give you that. Yeah, you could definitely handle it. So, oh wow, he's here.
All right, join me.
Oh, this is gonna be funny. There
Hello.
we go.
He's joined.
Can you hear me?
You guys have it. We have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Scott Shafer.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I'm just curious. Like you left a comment on Strongman's channel a few months ago. You said Scott would sell his soul to have an opportunity to make 5K or more from a video to promote FTX. Right? I have over 100K subscribers now. Like you're in the same boat. I could easily get a sponsorship for way over that now. And I haven't taken any sponsorships yet. You continue to take sponsorships every single video. So why would you say something so inflammatory like that? And you specifically told Echoes earlier, I don't like this this world I'm in now of everything being super toxic, yet you're attacking me for no reason whatsoever. I had never said anything bad about you up until that point. I don't understand that at all.
What sponsors have you turned down? Like what would you not want to promote?
All of them. I've
Which
chosen
all of
not
them?
to. I've taken. I don't know. I have to go through my list. I have like 100. Echoes is the same thing. You get like emails all the time, right? So I get like a bunch from VPN specifically, like NordVPN, right?
Yep.
And I don't take any of those specifically because the type of content I'm making, I know a portion of my audience would really hate that, and it would really piss a lot of people off. So I don't want to take any sponsors.
Yeah, that kind of proves my point. Like you can't take sponsors.
I can take sponsors. You have. I choose not to. And you left a really inflammatory comment. You said I would sell my soul for $5,000. Where's the truth to that?
I think you have. I think you've sold your credibility.
I haven't taken any sponsors, and you continue to take sponsors every single video.
I will continue doing so, by the way.
Including an outright scam.
I will continue doing so, by the way.
Then how did I sell my soul? Explain this to me. I haven't taken any sponsors.
We can go over the content where you have, I think, been incredibly unfair, and so I think you have sold your credibility.
You're not answering the question. You specifically said I would sell my soul for a 5K sponsorship. I have over 100K. I've received multiple sponsor offers for way more than that. I have not taken a single one. So you're a liar and an idiot. Why did you say that about me?
I still think you will at some point. I think you've sold your soul. So you can also say sold your soul. I think you've lost all your credibility in your videos because you have no journalistic integrity, and you know that.
No, that's not true at all. That's
Sure.
not true at all. No, it's not. I think you're upset, and you really dislike me specifically because I've made a bunch of content about your friends, and so you're just trying to take digs at me, like, oh, his channel's not going to grow. He's in a niche that's dead, which is 100% untrue. You just don't want to be in this guru niche anymore, so you're trying to make the claim it's dead so you can get out of it, and that's the reason I got out of it. You just don't want to be in it. There's nothing wrong with the niche.
I think it's dead and it'll play out over the next year. I think it's already dead personally, but there's no reason in disagreeing on that because it's irrelevant.
Okay. I don't know what, I don't know. I'd love to know why you think I have no integrity in my videos.
Have you reached out for comment on all of these videos for the subjects of your videos?
Yes, pretty much all of them up until established titles. I did make a mistake not reaching out to them first, which I agree with. I still agree with everything in my video, but I didn't reach out to them. And every video since then, I'm always reaching out to people I talk about too. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Fair.
Anything else?
Yeah. Why do you keep going after established titles? Like, to me, like
because it's excellent views and people want it. Like,
yeah.
you know that. You have 500,000 subscribers. You know that. You put out content about what people want to see. And every video I put out about established titles does better, right? So, like, I've been putting out videos about other things, and you'll look and the videos get like 40, 50,000 views. And then I put out a video about established titles. Hey, look, 120,000 views.
Yes,
so
because
clearly people want to see that.
Yes, because you know you can inflame people. It's not a scam.
It's not inflaming. It's giving people what they want. And you know that, Spencer.
I could go a certain direction, which I know you're going to disagree with, but my interpretation of that is that is an example of losing integrity, right? If you lose what you believe in simply for an audience, that is losing integrity.
I think that they're a scam, and my opinion on that has not changed. So I don't understand how I'm losing integrity about continuing to make videos about a company that I think is a scam. And I'm actually quite pissed that YouTubers are continuing to make videos with them as a sponsor. It's very few of them now.
How dare they?
But I'm continuing to make videos, and I continue to believe they're a scam. There's no integrity lost in that whatsoever.
Nice. And what if they're not a scam?
They are a scam. 100%.
What would make something a scam?
They're not giving people what they say. They're selling people something that is a lie multiple times in their marketing. Everything they say about what their product is. And I received hundreds of emails from people who have said they literally believed that they had bought a small plot of land in Scotland and that they had a real title now. And you can be like, and I know one of the arguments a lot of people make is like, oh, those people are incredibly stupid. They deserve to lose their money. That's a terrible argument to make.
I'll agree.
They're scamming people. And they need to give all their money back. And they know they scammed people, which is why they're now giving money back to everyone who was bought from them. If you bought a product from them a year and a half ago, they will give you your money back, when in their actual page, it said, we only give your money back for 90 days. They know they have to make the change because they effed up real bad.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, from my eyes, the only thing I've seen is people getting refunds if they're discouraged. And people reached out to me and said they enjoyed the product. They think it's super dope. And so to me, you can't have a scam if people enjoyed the product, personally. Sounds like we'll disagree on that one, but if you get a refund and more people have reached out to me saying they enjoyed the product versus the 2 people that didn't, then that's my perspective.
Why would people reach out to you saying they don't like the product when you're supporting it? Like, you're not making videos tearing them down.
Because I promoted it.
Okay.
And they reached out and said they wanted a refund and got one.
It's the same thing that you said earlier. A lot of people were commenting on how, like, you said that, like, nobody said anything bad about FTX to you or something like that. And that's because you blocked every negative comment when people were saying negative things about FTX.
I didn't block I didn't. So I haven't blocked
you
comments.
Totally blocked comments, man.
Only
100%.
about 2 weeks ago did I start that. I haven't looked at my comment section from early December until about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so you didn't block a bunch of comments earlier about people calling you out?
No.
I don't agree with that, but if you say that's the
truth.
truth.
Real quick, why do you believe your stance on that?
Stance on what?
Me blocking people.
Because I've seen comments on your channel. I've gone back to that page repeatedly and I've seen them disappear.
So you are a creator. You're familiar that it goes into the mentions, right? Or not mentions. It goes into was it on hold? What's it called?
It's I search by the most liked, and it's always the most liked that we're calling you out, and they just disappear.
Gotcha. Okay, so I did not check comments for about 2 months, so I don't know how I can verify that because you don't know me, and you can either believe me or not. But yeah, I stopped reading comments for the first like week or two after the FTX video that I defended. I was reading comments, and then probably early December, I stopped reading any and all comments after I went out to Malibu, a friend's house, and he said, "Dude, it's a waste of time." And so that was probably 2.5 months. And then recently, I still haven't looked through the comments, but I started blocking anyone who uses the keywords. There's like 4 or 5 keywords. So yeah, I do block comments now, but it wasn't before.
Okay, sure.
Look, I know from your position, it's like a gotcha. I'm not trying to be antagonistic towards you, but I can 100%. I haven't even looked at the comments.
I don't understand how you can say you're not being antagonistic about me, right? And you said
no about you calling me out. You were making a face like you didn't believe me. So I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm just simply saying you can believe me or not.
Dude, you repeatedly called. You said in that comment you said I sold my soul, which I haven't done. You're the one who always takes sponsorships. I've taken none. And then you called me. You said I was stupid in this video for the videos that I make, and I'm gonna fail. There's no truth.
I never said fail. I never said fail. I think you're probably making pretty good money. You're certainly making more than me. I never said fail. Oh, I think it's a very short-term strategy. That opinion hasn't changed.
I will say one thing that I think that you did was really smart was to stop showing how much money you're making on YouTube. You used to do that. They got a bunch of views. And now when people, if they're thinking about suing you, they can see, hey, look, this guy's making a ton of money. So I don't think it's smart to show that. So I honestly think you should probably take down those old videos, if in my opinion.
Oh, I stopped.
But Scott, didn't you do the same thing? Didn't you show how much you make?
Yeah, but I showed the videos when I was making like no money. I made like a grand a month. I don't care if people show that. But when I've seen his videos from like 2020 or 2021.
2021, I had big months. Yeah,
you were making like 20K a month. I would never
up
show
to 60.
That.
Up to 60.
That's a huge bullseye of why Moneyberg and other people would want to sue you. This guy's making a ton of money. Let's go after all the money he's making. You don't show that. That's not smart.
But don't they already know that he's making that kind of money anyway?
I think it's irrelevant. Money doesn't really matter for a lot of people. Like Moneyberg thought I was hella broke, and he thought he could drain me in court. That was actually funny enough. I'm not trying to disagree with you because I generally would agree that yes, like showing up you make millions or something that you have assets is generally makes you more of a target for lawsuits. So yes, generally speaking, you are correct in that opinion. However, the people that would sue from a YouTube video generally don't care, and if their intentions are to try to drain you, however, it doesn't matter how much money you make.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you have media liability insurance now?
No, I do not.
Why not? If you get sued again, you're going to get screwed. Why would you not get it?
I haven't even reached out. I don't know. I wouldn't see any insurer insuring me.
I have it. It costs $50 a month. I told Echoes about it. He got it too.
That's hella cheap. That was
also no, hold on. So that was you, Scott, with that burner account. I told y'all this dude uses burner accounts.
Yes, I told Echoes to get it.
Bro, something is wrong with you, bro.
Right?
Yo, this man Scott emailed me on another fake email and told me to get media insurance. I knew that was you. I freaking knew it.
Right. And so he's smart. He has it. You need to get it too, Spencer. And the thing is, like, I think you've been an incredible jerk to me, but I don't think you should have been sued. I think what Moneyberg is doing to you is terrible. And I hope you win the lawsuit. I really do. I don't think anyone should get sued.
All YouTubers should hope, by the way, whether you like me or not.
Like, I understand. I saw the pain in your face when you were talking about that lawsuit. I think that's terrible, man. I really don't think you should have been sued. And I honestly want you to get media liability insurance. I don't particularly like you, but I want you to get it. You need to get it in case you get sued again. You really do.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't realize it was that cheap. It was way more expensive. Well, it was way more expensive last time I heard.
It'll be more expensive.
Yeah, I don't know why Graham said it was $1,000. Maybe because he makes like $4 million a month.
$1,000 a month, I think.
Yeah, me and Scott are only like 40, 50 a month. It's not no $1,000 a month.
It'll be more for you because they ask you if you've been sued before, so it'll be more for you.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the biggest reason. Like, I very much did not like the, Spencer Cornelia attacked me. And what you guys have done, and by the way, what you guys have done really well, is you guys have turned this moment of controversy for sure, and you've leverage it to paint everyone out to be these bad guys, and we very much do not appreciate it. I think it's
bummer.
I think it's been
I feel
incredibly
so
low
bad for you.
blows. What?
I feel so bad for you.
I don't really care, frankly.
I was being sarcastic, so okay.
Yeah.
Look, I've actually never made a video about you, to be honest with you, right? I've made I take that back. I made a video when you said something incredibly mean to me, which you still haven't answered specifically. You said I would sell my soul. I'd sell my soul for 5K, which I haven't.
Okay,
right?
Fair. It sounds like you haven't.
Let me just finish. Let me just finish first, right? So aside from responding to your comment about me, I've never made a video about you because I actually liked a lot of the videos that you were doing calling out scammers. Now, I've made videos, a ton of videos about Meet Kevin, about Andre Jick, about the biggest scammer of all time. What's his name? The guy that loves the fake meat. I totally forgot his name. Jeremy. Right? Because those guys, I honestly feel are scammers, right? I don't make videos about you because I don't think you're a scammer. I think you made some serious mistakes defending those people and, actually working with established titles, but I don't think you're a scammer. And here's the thing I'll say about you, right? And again, I'm not trying to be incredibly mean to you, but I think that you are really, really bad at reading your audience. I really believe that. I think that most people would realize that video about FTX was not a video you should make. Like, even if you have those views, even if you love those people, they're your friends, that's an opinion you have behind the scenes. You don't make a video about that and it blows up in your face. Like, people who are on YouTube with 500,000 subscribers should know that. You got to be able to read your audience better than that.
Yeah, good point. Good criticism. By the way, here's the reason why I wholeheartedly agree that I think I've never misread a room worse than the FTX video. So, Chris Norlund, great. Scott, back to, you made a really good point. And so I've always been the objective guy during controversy, and my audience has always appreciated it. Look at the Andrew Tate videos, by the way. I came out and basically defended him at the Hustlers University, and people appreciated it. And so historically speaking, there's been about 4 or 5 moments where it was like really hot topic, and I stayed neutral when you would go kind of against the grain. And so the reason why I misread the room here is because I made the same video I've made 4 or 5 times before, but the audience reacted totally differently. And so, yes, you were correct. I misread the room. I think you were accurate in that claim. So yeah, I agree.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No. One thing I want to bring up, and I brought up to Echoes earlier, so maybe you heard or maybe you didn't, but what you have to understand is like the way you package videos, like Spencer Cornelia attacked me, like that sets off this audience that I'm the bad guy here. And I get it. Maybe your intentions weren't bad. I don't know you. And to be fair, I should probably not speak about you because I don't know you. But when you make these types of videos, in this audience, what you guys did really well is you basically took my reputation that I've built up over years, and to this day has not fucking been ruined at all. I will sit here and argue any point you want. That's why I'm comfortable coming on this call and letting you guys grill me for all you want. I have very much disliked the fact that I've become the target for being the bad guy. And what happens is the reason why you guys have had the kind of quick moment of success you have is because you've been able to leverage, and I'm not the only one, by the way, so please don't take it as I'm trying to be like I'm so important. But you guys have essentially leveraged my reputation against me. And in a lot of ways have kind of screwed me over.
I've never made a video about you other than when you commented about me. That's the only time I've talked about you.
Spencer, is it okay if Chris Norlund joins? He wants to join.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's the biggest fucking idiot on YouTube.
Let me say
there you go.
That's gonna be fighting words, my friend. Or actually, you're not my friend. I really, you're a freaking idiot, Spencer. But I'm gonna be polite though.
Okay.
You insulted me, but I'll be polite from now on. Unless
sure.
If you don't insult me, I'm not insulting you. There's no reason to have a shouting match.
Fair.
But we all saw. I mean, and Echoes, thanks for doing this. And Scott, thanks for coming on. I wouldn't have come on if Scott wouldn't have done. I'm like, man, Scott's here. But you're literally defending scammers. And also, too, Spencer, not everyone takes the money. I literally turned down sponsorships as well. Not everyone takes the money.
Which legitimate one have you turned down? Crypto. Which legitimate product or service? Which one would I promote that you have turned down?
You did the whole real estate stupid thing. What was it called? The established titles thing. Am I wrong? And you're also defending your FTX buddies. So and also, guys, too, this is a very important point. So Spencer likes to say, hey, guys, look at BlackRock. You know, they did it. Why, you know, they did all the research. You know, what's wrong with the YouTubers? I'll tell you why. BlackRock's going to get their money back first. The big money will get their money back first. Retail investors will not get their money back. The YouTubers target retail investors. Do not listen to Spencer. He's a freaking liar and a scammer. He's been advised by lawyers. It's very obvious. He probably has statements sitting right there that is things he has to read. And Spencer's like, oh, I don't know. Spencer's playing the dummy. He's trying to play the dummy. And Spencer, yes, you're getting sued. And my wife and I are just laughing at you because here's the deal. If you do something shady and you lose money, I don't feel sorry for you. It's like bringing on a murderer to defend. Oh, feel sorry for me, guys. I murdered somebody. Oh, feel sorry. No, Spencer, you're defending clowns and scammers, and you're a freaking scammer as well. You're connected to a bunch of frauds. So
who's been damaged by anything I've done?
Anyone who bought established titles. There you go.
Why didn't they get a refund then if they were damaged? They could have gotten a refund, and they did. To my knowledge, they did. They reached out to me and they verified with me they got a refund. So I ask you again, who has been damaged? Who has been damaged by anything I've done? Can you please answer me? If you're going to come on here and attack me, I need you to answer my questions.
Okay, what do you want? What do you want to know?
Can you please state who has been damaged by anything I've done? Because in my eyes, when you call someone a scammer,
okay,
you call me a scammer. Therefore, people need to be damaged. So can you please state who has been damaged by anything I've done?
Okay, so I'll state clearly if anyone has been damaged by Spencer Cornelia, please email me, and I'll be happy to make a video according to that. So I personally have not been contacted by someone who's been damaged by you, but I'm sure there's someone out there, and I'm leaving it open as an open question. To be fair, as an open question, if anyone's been damaged by Spencer Cornelia, please email me. I think that's a fair answer.
Sure, and knowing you'll do 13 seconds of research and make a video on it. So please do better.
That's because I'm smarter than you, and it doesn't take me very long to realize that you're stupid and a scammer, and you hang out with other stupid people.
Nice.
It doesn't take me very long to figure this out.
Yeah. Your videos that take about one listen of a Graham Stephan interview can answer all of your concerns, and you clearly show you've done no research on anyone. You're the biggest clown on YouTube, bro.
Spencer, that you're a clown. We all can see it. What's funny is like my wife and I are like, what's the benefit for Spencer coming on Echo's channel? Here's the benefit. You are losing. You're dying. Your channel is dying. You're being sued. So you're doing whatever you can to get the money. You're under a lot of stress right now, and you look really, really embarrassing. It's pretty funny. So to be really frank, it's really entertaining to watch you squirm. It's very entertaining.
Nice. I haven't squirmed at all. I came on here and let you guys ask me any question you want. Where have I squirmed?
All day, every day.
Where have I squirmed? Echoes, did I answer all your questions or did I squirm?
You're squirming right now. You're turning red and squirming. It's hilarious.
No, I'm not.
It's really funny.
Are you having a good time? Ask me anything. You keep saying I'm squirming. You can literally ask me anything.
I'm asking right now. Are you having a good time?
This is a lot of fun. Yes, I've actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. You know what's up. Everyone knows. Everyone in the audience sees what's up. I'm not afraid of you guys because I know you guys are all freaking idiots. I'm not afraid.
Nice.
And I know you guys, and you guys, and I have the law on my side, and I mean, I can't say I'm under NDA on certain things, but believe me, I hang out with legitimate people. I have, I don't want to break too much, but dude, I have Ivy League degrees and shit. I have people on Wall Street, and you guys are all a bunch of losers hanging out in Vegas and like act like you know what you're talking about. It's so ridiculous.
Nice. And then, I didn't know we'd come on here and call names and all this. This is fun.
But whatever.
Hey,
whatever.
Spencer, do you have any degrees? I'm curious. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a sport management degree from Georgia Southern University, 2012.
Is that a bachelor's? I don't.
Yeah, bachelor's. It was worthless, to be honest.
Okay, so I'm sorry. If Chris wants to bash you somewhere, he can do
that.
No. But I'm curious. Like, did you? I just have a. Did you go into debt to get that degree, or did your parents pay for that or something?
I was incredibly lucky. So I am from the state of Georgia. In the state of Georgia, you can have what's called the Hope Scholarship, where if you graduate high school with a 3.0 GPA and you go to a public university in Georgia, you have tuition paid for. And so I left college with no debt because of the Hope Scholarship.
Okay. So from what I've seen, and again, I don't know anything about you, but from what I've seen, it seems like you came from a very well-off upbringing and you just kind of had a lot of stuff handled to you. And it feels like a lot of what's happening now, you're just not ready for, because someone like myself who didn't grow up wealthy has already been through a lot of this stuff. For example, you were talking about, I think you're in like $220,000 in debt or something like that from your lawsuit, right? Something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Keep going. So I went to college. I paid for it all myself. I went 70 grand in debt. I was in debt through my entire 20s. I understand what it's like to be under a massive cloud of debt and feel like you're never going to escape that, right? A lot of people have been in that situation. So to me, it seems like you had a lot handed to you, and now you're facing the consequences. I saw a interview you did with I don't know who the guy was. It was at Graham Stephan's house, but you were being interviewed by someone else, and you were just basically like, yeah, I take life as it comes. Like I'm I'm not going to get a media liability insurance. I just want to see it all. And to me, that comes from someone who who has never experienced a lot of heartache in life. It seems to me that you're just like, I don't want to say you're entitled, but you came from wealth. And so this is all just like, this is all new to you. I would never want to be in the situation that you are, because I've been through that debt and all of that before.
Scott, I very much appreciate that question, because I can tell that your intentions are to ask me a tough question and then you're interested in the real answer. So yes, my parents have done well. My parents now are way better off than I left high school at 18, right, to go to college, right? I've been out of the house since 18, so that was 14 years ago. So they've moved on up in the world since then. So yes, they're doing well now, but we were comfortably middle class.
Do you want to say what they do?
Sure. My dad's a financial advisor, and my mom teaches aerobics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, reasonably successful. So anyway, I appreciate that question, because I do feel like I'm incredibly privileged, but I felt like I was incredibly privileged by the way I was raised in the area I was raised in, Kennesaw, Georgia. However, I very much appreciate your criticism, because I think we both share that, when you're under debt, you understand what it's like. I don't really share this often, because I never wanted to play the card of like victim or look at how tough I've had it. But I lost all my money flipping houses from September 2018 into June of 2020. It was about 18 months. I lost my shirt flipping houses. I got screwed by a contractor, and it was arguably a tougher situation than I was now. I was in crazy debt. I had to sell my car. I was walking. I had ripped up shoes, had to ride the bus 4 hours to and from work, yada, 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 the whole story. So after that happened, I got out of that. I finally sold the houses. I was back to zero. And I had a major plumbing issue underneath my house. This was a house here in Vegas that I still own. And it was an unforeseen $34,000 problem. The time I was basically zero. I had no debt, but I had no income, or excuse me, I had no cash, but I was at least making money from YouTube.
How old are you, Spencer?
I'm 32.
Okay.
And so I was incredibly fortunate, looking back, to go through this period. I think it made me really tough and be able to handle the lawsuit. But yeah, I appreciate that you have brought this up and that you have a belief, and I hope you now change your belief. The idea that I haven't been through a tough time until this moment. I've actually had the past 4 years. I've had some real challenges, and that's why I think I've been able to take on the lawsuit and handle it as well as I believe I have.
All right.
And so I hope I answered your question.
Okay. All right. I don't think you're a bad guy at all. And I'm going to say this. I've been watching the chat the entire time. A lot of people seem to think that you're fairly stuck up. So I'm not saying that you are, but that's just how you come across to a lot of people. It seems that way in the chat. So I'm just going to.
By the way, just curious, what does that actually mean? Do you know? Does anyone know?
It's that you're high and mighty, that you're above everyone else, the way you talk down to people.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Here's what's tough, man, is not many people know much about me, and this is just the nature of the videos we make, right, Scott and Echoes? Like, you're making videos about other people, and so it's not like I really don't know much about you. So to be fair, if I'm rude to you, that's probably not fair to you. But people don't really know you. They don't know all the things I do for people outside of YouTube, and it's not about that. Like, I'm not trying to be the good guy here. Frankly, I don't care what people think of me. But like, it's interesting when people have perceptions of you. I
think that every person who says I don't care what people think about me thinks what people think about them. Everyone.
Well, okay. Well, to a degree, we all do. But I wouldn't come on this chat if I like really cared about fucking, oh my God, people are making scam comments. I need to avoid it. Like, come on, man, bring the comments on. It's totally cool what you think of me.
All right. So I'll say one last thing, and then I'm going to go and I'll let Chris yell at you some more. But I want to say, like, I have changed what my channel is about multiple times. And I know you said you want to shift away from guru content. So I'm telling you right now, and I'm not saying this to be mean or anything. I don't appreciate the comments you said about selling my soul, but I will say that you're going to lose subscribers for quite a while probably and get a lot less views because you're shifting your audience, right?
Yes.
Your YouTube channel is basically like a TV show, and people tune in for a certain type of content. I told Chris Norlund this too.
You're absolutely right, by the way.
So your channel, say, is like a Law and Order SVU, and now you're changing your videos to like a comedy show. So a good portion of your audience is going to leave, but clearly you don't want to do guru stuff anymore. So I really do wish you the best. It just, it's going to be hard for the next few months. You're probably going to lose a lot of subscribers. But I hope at the other end, like I've done with my channel, I've changed my audience and I'm now growing. Hopefully you can do that as well. So
yeah, I'll tell you what, I also changed my mind too. And the reason why I was a little rude to you about short-term content is I think this is very short-term in nature. I don't think this stuff plays well over time. And what I've seen from the people on YouTube who I would love to have their experience is videos that videos that are evergreen in nature. And so that's what I'm trying to find. I don't have the answers, by the way. I'm still trying to find that.
Oh, yeah. I used to do evergreen content. I had a video on explaining bankruptcy. That video still gets views on my channel. It's like 3 years old, right? I understand evergreen content, but that content is incredibly boring to me, so I don't do that anymore, right?
Yeah.
And I understand the short-term content, which is why you have to keep going to the next thing. In November, I talked about FTX. I was talking so much about FTX. I think I made like 15 videos on it, right? And then I made the video about established titles, and I switched over to that. I understand that you have to keep jumping from topic to topic. I understand how that works. I've been making YouTube videos since 2017 on multiple different channels. I understand how that works. So I know that my content, I can't keep talking, which is why I don't make a ton of videos about Meet Kevin. And I'll give that advice to Echoes. Stop making videos
you've
about
grown
it.
because you do have a smarter,
hold on.
You
I want to hear this
strategy,
advice.
by the way. You do have a smarter strategy, which is why you've grown more than the others.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Wait, go ahead.
Echoes and Strongman. Like, you can continue to rip on Meet Kevin. Like, I made a video about his jet like the other day. I'm not saying never make a video about him, but making like multiple videos about this guy for months and months and months will not work. Spencer knows that. I know that. You guys got to move on from that too.
So what works, Scott? What works,
real quick, Scott, real quick. And I think this will, it finally came to mind. So I hope this settles the selling the soul part. I want to know, because I saw a video, there was something about you promoting BlockFi. Can you give us an honest answer?
I've never promoted BlockFi.
So what happened there?
I had an affiliate link like 3 years ago, right?
Okay.
And it's just, it gets auto updated. You know how YouTube works. It gets auto updated into every single video on my Crypto Jedi channel. It's from 3 years ago. And once FTX happened, I'm like, I got to go back to Crypto Jedi, and I just got to remove all this because I no longer even talk about anything crypto related. So I haven't talked about that for years. I had an affiliate link from like 3 years ago. I never even made a video about BlockFi, but yes, I had an affiliate.
By the way,
link.
I'm not playing the gotcha moment right here. So I'm thankful. Thank you for answering.
That's fine. I had, like I said, I had an affiliate link for years ago, and I haven't used it. And I never even made a video about BlockFi, and I went back and erased all of that.
Gotcha.
Because I don't talk about crypto anymore.
Do you think it's fair if someone called you a scammer for promoting BlockFi at some point in your life? Do you think that's fair?
I never promoted it. Like I have links to Amazon down
here.
below. I don't promote my Amazon.
Spencer accused me of the same thing, Scott. So I'll just jump in. So here's the big difference, because we do this stuff, and I have, full disclosure, guys, I have sponsors, I have affiliate links and stuff as well. There's a really big difference between, like, for example, you sign up for an account in Coinbase, right, for the first time. We all know everyone has a Coinbase account. And you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, it'll say invite family and friends, get $5 or whatever, right? And you're like, okay, whatever, fine, right? But there's a big difference when, like, someone's like, hey, we're going to pay you $10,000 a video to, like, put your name behind this thing, and it's a sponsored video. It's not really your honest opinion. This is a real thing, because, like, I have to decide, as you become a legitimate YouTuber or whatever, do you want to put your weight / brand behind a particular opinion? It's the same way a brand has to decide, do they want to put their weight / brand behind. So, like, and I'm just the same as Scott. If you look at my old podcast that I had for a year, I had one episode where I talked about, hey, Bitcoin is really popular right now. That's what I said. I have nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The more that I learn about the stuff, I've never been a crypto person, and we're like, oh my God, guys, you have to get BlockFi, et cetera. No. It's so ridiculous. It's not the same thing. And so it's pretty ludicrous to, like, claim that Scott or I, work for BlockFi or whatever. It's really disingenuous. And Spencer, you do this a lot, and I'm being polite, but you just do this a lot to where, be it the Tom Brady thing. Hey, you look at Tom Brady compared to friends. You're taking kernels of truth to defend your friends, and I get it. I get it. You're under a lot of pressure because you have rich friends that might be able to bail out of a lawsuit. I get that. I'm not stupid. And I can call you names and stuff. I'm not going to anymore, but
you already exhausted that 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well,
hey Scott, I just wanted to finish that, because I didn't want to leave this on a negative light. So when you brought up the sell your soul part, what I just remembered,
I'm gonna head out, guys, because I don't want to give Spencer a platform anymore. I don't really like you at all, and I don't want to talk to you. And Echoes, thanks for doing this, and you're a good guy, Echoes. That's all I have to say.
Just stop being a piece of shit. Like, that's all I ask. Just stop being a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit, but I don't want to get into a shouting match. So, it is what it is.
Cool. Hey, Scott, right, so I realized I watched a strongman video. I think he like exposed your BlockFi. So I'm going to say what my thought process was, and I hope you take this sincerely. I watched the video where you promoted BlockFi, And so I'm remembering now that I made that comment.
I
What?
never promoted BlockFi. That's
sorry,
a lot of what Strongman said and
on.
another guy did. They lied about what I did. I had an
Okay,
affiliate
don't
link
cut
from
me off,
years
please.
ago. Okay,
Please let me finish my thought. When I saw that, my perception was that you would promote BlockFi, and so when I said sold your soul, it was after that. And my perception was that you were willing to promote BlockFi, and I didn't know the time frame. I thought it was recent, and so I'm completing that thought, whether fairly or unfairly towards you. I think that's where my comment came from about selling your soul for a sponsorship, knowing my perception at the time was that you were willing to promote BlockFi. And that was limited knowledge. Now that I can sit here and talk with you and get the full story, but that was where I came from. And I hope that clears it up.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, you know, the Strongman, I named my, my, on the live stream, I named my channel that, but he's kind of a douchebag, which is why I'm not going to go on his channel. Echoes is also kind of a douchebag, but he's less of a douchebag. So that's why I came on. These guys spread a lot of lies about me. So, you know, I wanted
we haven't
to
talked about you in a long time. Come on, man.
You have repeatedly said that I threatened to sue you, which I have never done.
Yes, you did.
I have never threatened to sue you. That is a lie.
You made a video about it. Oh, don't lie, Scott.
No.
Let's pull up the video.
No,
you did,
dude. Like I said, like I'm gonna say to Spencer, like I don't particularly like the way you attacked me, but I do wish you the best. I don't think it's appropriate that you got sued and you lost all that money. And like I said, I know you're gonna pivot your channel, so you're gonna lose subscribers for a while. But I hope you gain subscribers in the end and you do well. I really do. Did you have anything else?
I do appreciate this. I did not know this, but you did mention that you are reaching out to people. I think that is a level of integrity that I wish more people on YouTube had. And I'm pointing the finger at myself too. And something I've been trying to do as well.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to say before I go?
Yeah, I have a lot to say, Scott. Are you going to stay?
Not you. I don't care what you have to say.
Oh my God.
Spencer, do you have anything else you want to say?
Come on, bro.
Look, Echoes, you came here like this is
an interview. Seriously, seriously. Let's hash this out. People want this.
This is an interview with Spencer, and I just came in to talk to him. I don't want to. This is his time.
You're on my platform. We can take 5 minutes to hash it out.
Hey Scott, real quick. Here's like an interesting point of view that I hope you never experience this, but I think if you ever do, you'll understand. And that is, you see how my perception of you is that you were willing to promote BlockFi. That was my perception, whether fair or unfair. Do you understand how easy it is to then, you see what I watched one video and I had this belief system about you. And now that I'm talking to you, I understand the full picture. Yeah. This is like the challenge with YouTube.
Yeah. I understand that. That's another thing. Like people are saying in the comment, that's another thing that Strongman has repeatedly lied about me. So I'm talking to you, Spencer, but like Echoes and Strongman specifically, one of the reasons why I have never come on these guys' channels is because these pieces of crap have continued to lie.
You're on my channel right now.
Yeah, I came to talk to Spencer.
It doesn't matter. You're on my channel right now.
The reason I haven't come on before is because they have repeatedly lied to me and spread lies and actually doxed my home phone number and address. And they repeatedly call me a dog walker.
Okay. Now you're going too far. Okay, now you're just lying. Okay,
call me a dog walker, even though I don't want dogs.
No, no. Show proof that we showed your address and all this crazy. Now you're just lying. Show the proof. When did we ever expose your address? That's a lie.
Yeah, I can't pull it.
You can't make claims like that and just lie. That's not cool.
It's on plenty of Strongman's live streams. He pulls up my name, my address, my LLC, all of that information.
When you make those types of claims, you have to be specific. You have to be specific when you make those types of claims. I never exposed your address. That's not true. I exposed your eBay.
You exposed my eBay. Yes.
Okay.
I made, dude.
Okay. And you doxed me.
I never doxed you.
Yes, you did. You exposed my real name. I have the video.
Your name is out there. Your name is out there.
It doesn't matter. You doxed it. You're the one who exposed it and where I went to college.
No. Your name is public information. Your name is public information.
It's still a dox. Nobody knew my name.
There's not a dox.
Yes.
You told me what your
account is public information. What are you talking about?
It's not connected to my YouTube channel at all.
The reason why I found your eBay account is because of what you put on your own channel. What are you talking about?
It's not connected to my YouTube channel. I blocked everything out.
It doesn't matter. It's public.
And you decide. No. That's
my name is not connected to my YouTube channel. So what are you talking about?
Yes, it is.
Where?
It's connected.
Where?
If I were to sue you, which I would never do, I would know exactly what your name is. Guaranteed.
Okay, and if I were to sue you, like, what's the difference?
You wouldn't be able to find my eBay account. That information wouldn't come up if you tried to sue me through
Okay,
YouTube.
okay. If your eBay account is so precious, well, somebody else found it. Shout out to Keegan. He found it, but
so I want to say real quick, a lot of people saying I'm Kid Freshie. I am 100% not Kid Freshie. That's not one of my aliases.
You definitely are.
No, I'm not.
Email me on the freaking weird email. That's
not
you, bro. You have so many. How many alt accounts do you have?
I don't know, like 10.
At least you're honest. He's not joking, guys. He's dead serious. He's already emailed me on like.
I know, like 4 of them aren't. They're not fake accounts. I have like 4 different YouTube channels, so that's like 4 of them right there,
including Kid Freshie.
That's not my account.
It probably is.
It's not. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say to Spencer.
So do you still think I'm toxic? Did I at least answer your question?
Somewhat, yeah. I think that you're kind of stuck up and you talk down to people about how you said, if people go back and watch, you said, like, I don't really know what I'm doing. This niche is dead and I'm not going to get bigger. You specifically said I'll never be as big as you. And I personally take that as a challenge. And I want to beat you now. I want to beat you now. So
yeah, no, that wasn't so much aimed at you. I'm just saying that's just the natural order of YouTube. It becomes incredibly hard to catch the person before you. That's not a slight on your skill or talent at all. That's just how YouTube works. So if you pass me, hey, great. But I think it's incredibly challenging to the point where I just don't think, I think you have variables working against you is all I'm trying to get at.
Okay. Well, that's all I wanted to say. So I'm going to head out then.
No, don't you leave. No, don't you leave. Don't you. I just have one more question. Just one more question, Scott.
What do you want?
If we don't like each other, fine. But just one more question. Can you look me in my eye and tell me that you never bought bots for my channel?
I never bought bots for your channel. And I'm actually quite pissed that you, after I called your channel out for buying bots, which I totally believe you did, you then decided to flip and be like, oh no, he bought bots.
Oh, this is going to be a great
He bought bots.
How could I buy bots, Scott, if I don't even know how to do it? It's
incredibly easy to do.
I don't know anything about that crap. You're the one who exposed it. You're the one who exposed it. Right after my channel got attacked with bots, all of a sudden you come out of nowhere, Echoes and Strawman about bots. And ironically, out of nowhere, me, Strawman, and Cole all of a sudden all got attacked with bots. You're capping. You're capping.
I'll answer this. Spencer looks incredibly bored, so I'm sure he wants to get out of here or not hear this conversation. But I'll end with this and say that, like, buying bots isn't really going to affect your channel long term. So there was no reason for me to do something like that to attack your channel, right? Short term, you're going to get a bunch of subscribers. YouTube knows this happens. They have bots that launch onto accounts to try and like promote all those stupid comments you see below, like, oh, sign up for Telegram and stuff like that. This happens all the time, and YouTube just removes them over time. Like, it doesn't hurt your channel long term at all. So like, there's no reason for me to do that to attack your channel. I didn't do that. If you don't want to believe me or not,
why did you automatically jump to the conclusion that I bought bots?
Because
I randomly gained like 15,000 subscribers, and like 6 hours later, you made a video saying I all of a sudden bought bots.
Because
how did you do that so fast?
You and your boyfriend Strongman both made a video about me. Like, I don't even remember what the video was about. It was like calling me some bullshit. And so you're like, you made a video. So then I made a response video and I started doing a bunch of research, and I saw that you just got a bunch of subscribers. You got a ton of subscribers. So I made a mention of that in my video. That's why
you saw this all in a matter of 4 hours, Scott. You literally made that video 4 hours.
No, I didn't even know what happened
to my channel. No, you didn't. It was like 6 hours. And even if it's the next day, fine. That's still really soon. It really makes you suspicious, especially concerning the fact that when I made that community post about you, all of a sudden my channel gets attacked by bots. The second I make a community post about you.
I'm much better at doing research than you are. I can't help it. I can't. You
didn't buy bots for my channel, huh?
I did, dude. There's no reason why for me to buy bots. I already explained this to you. It doesn't hurt a channel at all, dude.
Oh, it doesn't you would know. You would know.
It doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Long term, it has no effect on your channel.
It's had a major effect on my channel, actually.
It hasn't.
And Strongman's and everybody else.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, you can buy bots for my channel, and then we'll be even. Deal?
No, I don't do that weird stuff. Only you do weird stuff like that. That's you.
I'm gonna head out.
He's scared.
So Spencer, I wish you all the best. I hope whatever you decide to take your channel in, I hope it works out for you.
That seems genuine, so I do appreciate it.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck, man. Good luck. All right, man. I guess
full disclosure, there's the only 2 people I've damaged on my channel. I want to get ahead of this in case anyone brings it up. So in a video last summer, I made so if you want to talk about like regrets, I mentioned that I had e-commerce stores, and without promoting it in any way, and it was just mentioned, and people reached out, and I sent like a disclosure, like this is a hella risky investment. This is only good if you have this, and criteria. And I think 2 people that I received an affiliate cut for those people buying stores, they had a bad experience. And so those are, I said to Chris, I've never had anyone be damaged. Those are the only 2 that upset me, because I think people did lose money. And so, yeah, I feel bad for that.
Okay. Appreciate you.
Just in case like one of those 2 people was watching, he's like, hey, Spencer was wrong. There's one person. I just want to get ahead of it to let you know that there's only been 2 people in my life I know that I've damaged. Only 2 people in my life. And so those are the 2. And yeah, I wish I could take that back.
Okay. All right. Well, we've been on here for 3 hours. Unless you want to stay on, I think it might be time to wrap up. It's 9 o'clock where I'm at.
Do you think this was productive?
I think the part with me and you was. I think when everybody else got on, that just turned into entertainment. So
I actually very much appreciate Scott.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for sticking it out, because now you basically got a 3 against 1 and you took it like a man. So I really respect that, because a lot of YouTubers would not have stayed. They would have said, no, don't bring them on. Yeah. I really, really respect you for taking that. I really do.
And I imagine the comments were all against me. Like, this is going into the hornet's nest. Like, it's totally cool. If I take, if people are upset about this, it's all good. This was an enjoyable thing for me. I very much appreciated that you publicly apologized, which is really tough to do. There are very few people who are willing to admit wrong. And my belief is I am one of these people. I've shown in videos where I am willing to make a second or follow-up video, giving someone the ability to speak. And so I appreciate that in you. And I hope this was productive. I've been very much damaged by all the people who have joined this. And so, yeah, it was tough, the period of time from November, December, and January of seeing all the videos, and then the hate, the people that were influenced by y'all's videos to come leave very, very ugly comments towards me has been an interesting experience.
Yeah, I understand. And like I said, all I can say is I do apologize for that.
Cool.
Thankfully, I've
water
learned
under the
from
bridge.
it. What's up?
Water under the bridge.
Yeah. But just to let everybody know too, I've really learned from that, and I will do better going forward. Because, like I said,
that's all we can ask for.
I don't want to be a hate channel where I don't want to be a channel that
your
ruins
perception.
people's lives. I know it is.
That's people's perception.
I know it is. And I don't want to be that. So I'm gonna have to go through the steps and work
and I'll
hard
tell you,
to rebuild that image.
When you go on channels and like all they're doing is making the same video about the same people, like Strongman, it's like 60 videos about one person. Like, dude, it gets creepy, man. Like when someone's just video after video on you, it's just a fucking weird feeling. Like at some point, you just want them to leave you alone. Like, dude, you made your piece, you made your claims.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Were there any more comments in the comment section that you feel like people didn't get answered?
Yeah, sure. If anybody has any, last minute things, anybody got any questions? Any last minute things they want to ask?
More criticism, the better. It's cool, man. Bring it on.
Anybody got anything else? This is your chance.
I love comments where it's like, people think you're stuck up. It's like, dude, you don't know me.
I have seen comments like that. People
like come hang out with me and then judge me. Just judge me as long as you get to know me. Then you can judge me. Judge me outside of the context of a. Judge me outside of the context of a highly. Oh, this is a reasonably combative conversation. It's just people that disagree on stuff.
Okay. I guess there's no need to elaborate. I think. I think you're right about me and Strongman going after the same people making 80 videos. So I was going to ask more about it, but never mind. I think we get it.
Yeah, and look, man, the FTX thing was a really sad thing. These moments suck in life. Like when the Bernie Madoff thing happens and you see the stories and all the people losing money, everyone's a loser. And people will look at, some of the people who made money and they, those guys made money. Everyone's a loser. And some people lost more than others, of course. Some people just lost reputation. Some people lost money. It's a sad story. And it's just unfortunate when that shit happens because I used to play sports. I played baseball in college. And when you lose, everyone starts pointing the finger. All of a sudden, the quarterback has an ego. The coach is terrible. The owner doesn't know anything. You'll see this in sports. The second people start losing, everyone starts pointing the finger. And it's really unfortunate. At the end of the day, there are victims. And there's always – I mean, look, we have the same ethos, me and you, along with the others. Like, let's speak about what we believe are scams or frauds on social media. Like, we're kind of in the same boat in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I agree. King of Nothing, who's a cool guy. He wants to know what you think of his video now, which
I haven't seen it. I stopped watching all content that involved anything exposed. And so I stopped watching CoffeeZilla. I stopped watching all of you guys. I have tried to focus on input in my life, what goes into my ears and what goes into my eyes. So I don't watch those types of videos.
Okay.
So
I think you
haven't seen
did
it.
though. I think you did though, because you did leave a comment.
Which one?
This guy, the King of Nothing.
Oh, when did you release it?
He made a video about you, like back when I made my videos, back when you were commenting on everybody's. You commented on his video.
Oh, apologies. Okay, sorry. I thought this was a recent video.
No,
I don't
good.
remember
No,
then.
this guy made a video about you a while ago. I mean,
let me look it
I
up.
can pull it up real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
His video got like 50K views. His video did pretty well, like really well. But yeah, he made a video on you, and then you commented.
Oh, I have seen. Okay, I have seen it. It was 3 months ago. I don't remember it.
Okay.
What was the main criticism? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I apologize.
I watched this video. Like, it was mostly like kind of what a lot of people were saying, the FTX stuff, and it was really around that situation.
I'm looking at my comments now.
Yeah, I got your back, King of Nothing. I know he commented on it. I got your back.
Yeah, I commented 3 times. I see it.
Okay. Anybody else got other questions? FTX will be a YouTube. Okay.
Fallacy of relative privation. I don't know it, so I'll look it up.
Okay. Here's another question.
Dismissing an argument or complaint due to what are perceived to be more important problems. Okay, understood. What's the context for that?
Which one are you looking at?
Fallacy of relative privation. If that guy can provide the context. I did not know what that meant, so I looked it up. Spencer, would you ever make a video apologizing to your audience for defending your grifter friends? That is insinuating that I feel bad for anything I've done. It's also like grifter friends. I just don't. We clearly don't see the world the same way, and so no. By the way, I don't apologize because I still don't think I did anything wrong. So there is no apology. Yes. So Erica Kohlberg is co-founder. Her and Apple started it, and then the husband works there as well. Her husband's awesome too. I love everyone involved. They're really smart people. I think they're really good at what they do. I think they're going to be a real force as an agency for creators, and I really like the direction they're going.
Yeah. King of Nothing. We talked about this earlier in the stream already. It's in the stream.
Yeah. The problem is here's the problem, and again we go back to like this thesis that it's like you're friends with scammers. Well, if you don't think you're friends with scammers, then the entire thesis is wrong, right? So I don't believe I am. So do you think it's hypocritical that you're friends with scammers? Well, if I don't believe I'm friends with scammers, then no, it's not hypocritical.
I think Spencer answered this question already, and I think the answer was yes, but you can answer it again, I guess.
Yeah, from what I've seen, they've excelled in life. I'm not the IRS, so I don't know what their balance sheet looks like. I don't know how they do against the index fund or to really how to really evaluate this. But I think they're great investors. I mean, look, when you're top 0.1% in wealth, if you go by age, I think you're an outstanding investor. I think a big pivot I've been wanting to make, and this is more to you, Echoes, is recently I've been really focused on like looking at people in this world that we're in. We look through the fraud lens, right? Like, what are they doing wrong, or what is the fraud that I'm missing? And it's been really enjoyable looking at people and trying to study the success patterns. And so, yeah, when I see people that are absolutely crushing at life, I think they are successful and great investors.
Okay. Here's another question.
I don't know anything about his course.
Okay. Here's Slurpees again, the guy who talked about the fallacy thing.
Oh, that it's like, oh, okay. I wish this guy could have a conversation. Is it that one person over here has 100x the fault in terms of, by the way, this is a question, like 100x the fault, and this person has 1x the fault. Is this person, or is this the argument, the argument I was making, that the person with the 100x damages is more at fault? Is that what you're getting at? Because I still stand by it. A logical person would look at, if someone caused 100x the damages, they deserve 100x the attention or blame. But that does not negate that someone, even on a smaller level, deserves blame. For instance, if I promoted FTX, then I would deserve some of the blame for sure. Oh, here's a question for you, Echoes.
Go ahead.
Here's a question for you. Let's say you promoted something. Let's say you promoted FTX, right? And you got paid a certain amount of money. And no one signed up for your link. So there were no damages. do you feel like you're still at fault and should be labeled a scammer?
I wouldn't go that far. I think I
It's an
share some
interesting ethical question,
responsibility.
isn't it?
Yeah, I think I share some responsibility, but not as much as
Yeah.
the people who actually lost money. I think I would
Yeah.
feel great about the fact that nobody lost money, but I would
Yeah,
definitely still take a reputational hit because it's a
Yeah,
scam.
I'm in the same boat. It's an interesting question, isn't it? Like if you took a lot of money, but no one was influenced and no one was damaged, right? Because at the root of a scam is you promoted something or you sold something and someone lost or was damaged, right? But if no one was damaged, you kind of take away that side of the coin for a scam. It's an interesting like kind of dilemma because if you promote a scam, therefore you're kind of the bad guy. But if no one's damaged, it was an interesting thought.
I think you're still a little bit of the bad guy and get a reputational hit because you still promoted something that's bad, and you're supposed to be a certain finance YouTuber who doesn't like promote bad things to their followers. So even though nobody got scammed, you still had the intent to promote something because of the money. Which again, we already had that debate. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, that's just me.
I think there was a question.
This person keeps asking this question, so I guess we'll say it.
I'm assuming she's a co-founder. She still was last time I saw her. I saw her at Vid Summit in September. So I don't know, co-founder from the website. I don't know.
A Vid Summit. Oh, those things
Vid
really
Summit.
happen. Those things really happen.
Vid Summits are great.
I could never imagine going to one of those things.
I still just find it so weird how people are just so obsessed with their website, like you included. It's just just very bizarre to me.
Oh,
I know it's like in your niche. It's like something interesting, but like here's the thing: if you had to make one video a month, like you could only make one video a month, like you see how irrelevant this is. Like you would focus on such like different shit. I would hope.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Right. So I get it when you're in like the everyday. It's like, oh, something happened. Like here's a website. It's
Which
just
I'm gonna stop doing the everyday thing too. By the way. That's the other problem. I put out a video every day. Here's another one. I think we answered this one already.
We didn't really answer it. Do I think they should refund? That's a fascinating moral question. I don't think they should by law. I think if you want the reputational boost, I think it's smart to do so. Yeah, and I look, I'll stand with you on this one. If I was worth a shit ton of money and I got paid to promote something like this, would I return the money? Yes, I would hope so. I'm not in that position, but I would hope I would.
Okay. Would we make an investigation together? No, he's pivoting his channel. And also, I wouldn't expect him to. I mean, I talked about a bunch of crap about it. Like, I would not expect him to. Like, it's good that I apologize, but no, I wouldn't expect it. I'm not the type of person who tries to get handouts anyway. Like, if he wants to, cool. If not, I completely understand. If I had a 400K subscriber channel, I probably wouldn't collab with a 10K subscriber channel either.
It feels so refreshing getting away from that dude.
What it
feels
the toxic,
so like the idea of like exposing people, like you have no idea the poison it like built within me. Like it feels so, you have no idea how relieving it feels. That's like part of why I'm here and just like, yo, come at me. I'm cool doing this with you. Like, dude, I feel so free for the first time in so long. How do you feel about getting step road by CoffeeZilla? I'm not sure what that exactly means. I mean, if you mean
he worded it weird. I think he means just the fact that CoffeeZilla's embraced you and you've been on his channel before.
Oh,
like I will tell you actually have a relationship with him. Like
CoffeeZilla's I love his channel just from all that he's done. He is one of the few people. He actually reaches out to me every now and then just to check in on me, and I don't get the feeling that he does that with many creators. I don't think he has many friends in the space. And the fact that he's done that with me, I very much, at all times, it's always, I can sense that it's just like, hey, let me talk to you and make sure you're doing good. I expect nothing in return. And I've always appreciated that about him. And so we were actually messaging the other day. I told him, I want to go out to where he lives in a couple months. Once my lawsuit's like over, I was like, dude, I'm coming out there and we're doing a podcast together. I think that'd be super fun.
Oh, that'd be lit. Yeah, I'd definitely watch that. That'd be lit. There's a question.
Oh, gotcha. With what they push. So full disclosure, I think Echoes knows this. I'm not close with these guys. Like this idea that we're like this group of people who are best friends. I don't really know them that well. I actually reached out to Kevin. I have a website that I'm putting out that's going to be affiliate products or products that I will affiliate with. And I wanted to promote Meet Kevin's course because I think he's a fantastic real estate investor. And I think he's incredibly savvy and something I'd absolutely feel comfortable promoting. I generally stay away from stock market stuff because I just don't know the space well enough to know who's legit or who's not. hence why I've never made any videos on anyone's stock market related. And so I don't know.
I feel like I can answer this for you, but I'll let you go.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm actually curious your opinion.
It's definitely helped you tremendously.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Help me, financially. So I made about $80,000 in 2022 from sponsors, and I'm down to I make about $6,000 to $8,000 a month from sponsors at this point, and I'm absolutely sponsor every video if I can, because it's the best way to make money. It's just so much more than AdSense, and so it has helped me absolutely. Yeah. So there seems to be just this belief that like they like control me or anything. No, I have nothing to do with like the other creators on under their umbrella. And so it's absolutely helped me, and it has not shifted my opinion at all working with them. I was friends with all these people before Creators Agency. And maybe just maybe, I don't associate with scammers. Maybe just maybe. I mean, look, from my perspective, you got to sit by myself. Like, no need to, we've already hashed it. But it's just so silly. It's like if the thesis is wrong, then I guess we'll never agree.
I guess the next thing I would say is I want to ask you about this. Do you feel like more pressure, and we could take the lawsuit away. Let's just pretend the lawsuit didn't happen. Do you feel more pressure in the fact that you're a full-time YouTuber? And the reason why I ask that is because I don't make much money, but I can't ever see a time in my life where I ever go full-time YouTube. I just don't. I feel like you got to have multiple sources of income. You got to. And I know YouTube, you could do sponsorships and affiliate, all this stuff. I still don't see a situation like I'd have to own like other businesses besides YouTube for me to go full-time YouTube. I don't see myself ever doing YouTube full-time just based on everything that I've seen and learned. Like I don't see myself ever leaving my job, but I just want to know like what you think about it being a full-time YouTuber.
Yeah, it's a great question. There certainly is more pressure, especially when the views go down and the AdSense goes down, and it's like, oh shit. And so this kind of goes back to what I told you earlier about, do you invest in your channel, right? If you made that 5,000 you made last year, one would argue, do you invest in your channel or do you invest in the stock market? And this is where I come from. And this is actually a good segue. And my point is that if you invest that $5,000 and you start a podcast and that podcast becomes fresh and fit, let's say, to me, that makes you a great investor. I think that should be in your portfolio of investing. The fact that you took this money and you converted it and you made a tough decision, just what you say, you have reservations about going full-time on YouTube. Well, that's part of the risk of investing. And if you took the money you made and invested it and was able to 10x your money, like a lot of YouTubers have, I think there's a lot of validity to adding that to your portfolio as an investor.
Okay. We answered this, but just a refresher, I guess.
So my next move, I want to do more documentary. I want to do more long-term. I really enjoy lawsuit videos because there's no expose, there's no like drama. And I feel like it's an interesting story, and you get the ability to tell an interesting story without like the gotcha, which is ultimately what I'm trying to stay away from. I mean, fake gurus are always interesting, and maybe I worded that poorly with Scott, but I'm trying to stay away from this gotcha culture that I think they've moved towards. So what videos do you plan on making? I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully interesting lawsuits come up, but I'd love to move towards really interesting broad stories. I did a video recently about TikTok, like why TikTok will be banned soon. And I'm hoping to make more videos like that, where it's like an interesting argument. There's some element of like, expose, but you're not really exposing a person. So I hope they work, man. YouTube's all about trial and error.
Slurpees, is this comment for me or Spencer? What do you think, Spencer? Is he asking you this?
We're also on different journeys. I mean, keep in mind, I've been making these videos since December of 2019. Like if you ask Echoes and maybe in 6 months, maybe you'll maybe you'll be interested in something else. Maybe you want to talk about a different niche or something. And keep in mind, I've been doing it for a lot longer. So that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's what he meant.
Here's another question about it, kind of.
I'm not sure with CoffeeZilla facing the same toxicity. What's interesting about CoffeeZilla is he's in a really tough spot that I think he'll excel at, but one that I would never be good at. And that is, he's built up his platform where he cannot make a single mistake.
Yeah,
oh boy. Oh boy. And he's fine.
That.
I know him really well. He'll be fine. I think he's the right person for the job. But man, oh man, Yeah, he's in a tough niche if he ever wants to really monetize outside of Patreon, which he never needs to. He's going to get views. He's an amazing creator.
Well, I think Patreon was a really smart idea because
Yep.
I know you talked about you and I talked. Right. I mean, literally, right after we had our private conversation, he launched a Patreon. Like right around that time, I'm like, yeah, he's right. Like that ad revenue is too. I mean, he makes a lot on ad revenue, but like, it's not something to depend on when you're a full-time YouTuber. You gotta.
He can. By the way. Okay. Yeah, he's gotten skilled enough where he can make videos that get enough views. And so the challenge with this niche, and I never got there, I never got over the hump, is if you don't become the top dog, you will lose over time.
Yeah.
You'll see, and that's a long conversation, but I don't think CoffeeZilla faces the same toxicity because I think he's the winner of the people, right? He's always stuck to the narrative. He's always stuck to I'm just the guy in my state. I'm not gonna say where he lives. I'm just the guy behind his camera, just trying to do right by people, and he's always stayed away from any controversy. He's also stayed away from any like videos in person or videos like this where it's just like, hey, let me go out and talk to people who disagree with me. And so I think he knows how to avoid all that. You want to know something funny, Echoes? Yeah, I knew this moment was coming, by the way. I knew it was going to happen. I just wanted it to happen really down the road because I very much believe in gurus. I love courses. I love really good gurus and who I perceive to be good gurus. And I knew that at some point I would want to pivot and promote the good guys. And I knew that my audience would probably turn on me at some point. I didn't expect this, but I knew at some point there was going to be a moment where I wanted to evade this niche. And so it's kind of funny that it came to fruition.
Okay.
But also, one thing that's also misconstrued is I have an awesome audience that's like huge. And we're kind of pandering to like the small number of people that are upset, right? Like if there's 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people upset, we're still talking about a small minority. You know, so it's kind of forgetting that there's a lot of people that still love my content and weren't affected at all by FTX.
Yep. Here's another one. I'm looking for.
I don't know who does most of the work. I think he has a lot of relationships with the brands, and then they have a couple of employees that deal with getting the contract solidified and negotiating on our behalf. But I don't know how much effort he puts into it.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it to promote it. I also am not interested in promoting anything stock market related. So my initial answer is no. But meet Kevin, I would for real estate. He just hasn't gotten back to me. That's the funny thing. He's like, you defended your friends. Meet Kevin doesn't even respond to my DMs.
Yikes. Here's another one.
Same one.
Oh, sorry. Why does everybody want me to ask you about Jeremy? Who are the 5 best gurus?
Which niche?
He's probably talking about finance. Like just overall.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to answer. I don't follow that much content as far as like overall who are gurus. I mean, if you talk about the real estate space and you ask me someone specific, I can give you an answer. But outside of that, I won't be able to be much help.
Wait, what? It's funny because Echo says all the haters on his channel, only people that hate the grifters come here, and the grifters will always have more subscribers. Oh. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, one thing that I found, I think the smart strategy, and maybe you'll share this sentiment down the road, is I think the path that should always be taken on YouTube, and one that maybe would have been a better route, is if you can inspire people or you can give them belief in themselves and belief that their life will be better tomorrow, I think you're gonna build up a really loyal audience. And unfortunately, with our niche, we're not really uplifting people. We're kind of, in a sense, tearing people down, and it creates a certain audience. It curates a certain audience within YouTube that I don't think can grow as much as the other styles.
But do you think CoffeeZilla is kind of doing the same thing, or you think it's different?
I think it's slightly different because I think he's become a journalist. I think that's where he's become super powerful. Is he tells interesting stories, and it has that exposed element, but it's more of just big stories, and his production's incredible.
Yeah, the production is incredible. Oh, this is a good question.
Probably. I would need to know the numbers. I think it was because it on social media, you also want the perception of success too, right? I get it. I kind of called it out, you know, the fake it before you make it style. But if there's a lot of power in presenting your lifestyle as something that others don't have and can't attain. And I think there's super powerful by buying a private jet. And so if we looked at a pure numbers perspective, I'm sure you could criticize it all you want, but once you buy a private jet, now all of a sudden people believe in you more. They might watch more videos than they would before. And so from that perspective, it's really hard to analyze, you know, what's the actual return. You know, if more people buy his courses because of his jet, but they're not going to DM him and say, I bought your course because of your jet. That might be, you know, a part of the return. That I think it'd be hard to calculate, but you have to include it.
All right. King of Nothing keeps asking this question. I have no idea. I can't even answer. Like, I really don't know. I guess
I kind of feel guilty. I don't really want to speak about him now that he's not here. I don't want to make it look like I'm talking behind his back, but the problem I have with Chris is he just does no research. Like his videos are just so horrendously bad. And when you're making videos like hurting people's reputation, he calls things scams. He called Graham's course on being a real estate agent a scam. Graham was a millionaire real estate agent in one of the toughest markets in America to become a millionaire real estate agent, and he did it. And so he turns around and sells the course, knowing Graham. I haven't seen the course, but knowing Graham and the level of effort he gives in anything he does and the level of detail he gives. I mean, Echoes, you talked earlier about like what happens if your friends, you know, if your friends were struggling. Like, I hope you understand what it's like to like if I made a video about one of your friends and you know something I said was wrong, wouldn't you feel a certain type of way?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like when you see someone like Chris make videos and there's his intention, he's so intellectually dishonest. I get that he's like Ivy League educated and he like tried to pump up his chest at me. But when you spend 13 seconds of research on a video and then you ruin someone's reputation, like, to me, that's just so fucking disgusting. I think he's the worst. Like I after talking to Scott, I have a little more respect for Scott. I after what he said, maybe I was rude. I don't know. But I have more respect for Echoes. I still have zero respect for that guy. He's shown no ability to listen to like criticism or like, hey, how can I get better? Or I don't know, maybe I made the wrong videos. He came on here and just like threw personal attacks at me.
Okay. This person says evil always prevails in YouTube dramas in every niche except the monk mediation videos.
I disagree. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I wanted to comment real quick. I would replace evil with negativity. And yeah, it does look like negativity does get more views. However, you also sacrifice certain things. There's sacrifices that come with that, like a toxic audience and like damage to your mental health because all the negativity and stuff like that. I definitely can kind of see like, and I don't think I'm big enough yet where I've experienced it fully the way maybe you have or others have. But yeah, I could definitely like kind of see it.
It doesn't happen in the real estate space. So it doesn't happen in every niche. And I think what's been so unfortunate too is I think all the finance guys that have been labeled as scammers in this chat and in this discussion, I think they're a net positive. I'll argue this. I think they've helped hundreds of thousands of people improve their life. And so to see all this drama enter the space has been quite disappointing to me because I think there's a lot of people in America who would benefit by watching their content. And then when they turn on YouTube, and of course you're going to click on those videos because they're scandalous and gotta click and watch. And to see them getting labeled scammers and for those people to stay away from their channel, I think is a disservice to the people who are struggling and looking to improve their finances.
Yeah.
I said he would sell his soul. My interpretation was, my perception was based on something that might have been incorrect. And so we discussed my perception at the time after watching a video was that he promoted BlockFi. And it sounds like he actually did in his description. And so my point is, if you promoted BlockFi at one point, what makes you better than all the people criticizing the people who promoted BlockFi? So if he was again, this is my perception before I spoke with him. If you were willing to promote BlockFi in the past, you would sell your soul to freaking have the opportunity to make money selling a crypto thing nowadays. I don't think I'm wrong in that thinking. Now, it's after speaking with him, I might have removed that comment or not made the comment again.
Shout out to Orlando Miner. He's another YouTuber. He makes like real estate.
He's a good friend of
videos.
mine. Yeah.
Oh, you know him? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Orlando's in the real estate space, so he knows.
Okay.
There's very little drama in the real estate space. It's a great community.
Okay. Yeah, Orlando's cool. I like his content.
Me and Orlando have long chats about YouTube. We have some very productive chats. We see the world very similarly.
Okay. Well, I hope Orlando doesn't think too badly of me if y'all have chats about me.
No, I've called you a piece of shit before.
I completely deserve it. Like completely. I have no problem with that at all. But
Okay.
hopefully, but honestly, Spencer, hopefully my apology, hopefully you find it to be sincere because it really is.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
would at least say that.
Yeah.
But in terms of everything that I've been called, I deserve it. Not even gonna lie.
Not a problem.
I was a jerk. Okay.
It's over. This is why I feel so free, man, is it's over. Like that audience that you attracted, it's cool, man. If those people hate me after this chat, and especially after this chat, it's cool. It's cool. They'd probably stop watching my videos anyway.
It's only a matter of time for they hate me. That's what somebody said in my comments. Not even joking. Somebody really said that.
Maybe. I don't like hate, man. I try not to ever be hate. I try to not ever hate you guys, even though there were moments where I should have. But hate's an ugly thing, man.
Yeah. You know, the other thing too, I don't think I'm big enough where I take YouTube seriously enough. Maybe if I get bigger, I'll care more. But like, not even joking, like my career is fine. Like I'm a compliance officer for an insurance company. Like if people hate me or I get tired of YouTube, then I mean, I can't imagine myself leaving because I love it. But I think the pressure on me is not as much as somebody that does YouTube full time. And I think that's a benefit that I like.
Yeah, I see where your question came from earlier. Yeah, man, it's different. Having that stability is nice.
Yeah,
this is a very up and down game, as you've seen, dude. Look how quickly my channel's changed and views are down.
Yeah.
It changes quick, man. It can happen. And look, I would argue I'm in the right here. I think my perception is the one that's right. But you can see how quickly, like somehow, some just gets mistaken, and you see a huge drop in views and AdSense and sponsors and all the above.
Yeah. This is a really good question. Do you think this call with Spencer has changed your future plans for the channel? Honestly, when me and Spencer first had a conversation, and he was very nice to me, like not first. We had a conversation months ago. The last time we had a conversation, which led to me issuing the public apology, is when I decided that I was going to change the channel a little bit and change the way that I approach what I do. I'm still going to do what I do. I'm going to be a lot more fair, a lot more careful, and I'm going to try and just tell the story and stick to the facts and not come off as a straight hater. So I do have to give Spencer his credit. After our conversation with him, I literally just said, wow, this guy is being so nice to me after I talked so much crap about him, and he's going through a lot. And after everything that's happened, he's still being nice to me. That's when it clicked in my brain. Like, I'm a freaking a-hole, and I have to stop. Seriously, I have to freaking stop. So yeah, after this, the channel is going to be different. If people don't like it, oh, freaking well, I don't care. Not like my channel's that big anyway. So whatever. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. You feel me? Like that's where we're at. All right. A few more questions, then I gotta go. Gotta hang with my girlfriend. It's Friday night. Nah, bro, I appreciate the maturity. Thank you, Juan.
By the way, I really enjoyed what that one guy said on your video today. It was something investing. He was like, dude, this is what bothered me so much. Like, I am totally cool with people disagreeing with me. Or if you don't like me, if you disagree, if you don't share the same beliefs about FTX, totally cool. We can disagree like grown men. I can shake your hand. But what upsets me so much about these comments is just how ugly they are and how they have no interest in like maybe understanding someone else's perspective. Are they so quick to like tear you down? And this is so common amongst like celebrities that they know nothing about me, but like one thing, and they just immediately just make you out to be the worst person in the world. Like, can you imagine judging some stranger off that? Like, I don't want to live in a world. This is like the cancel culture. It's so fucking ugly and toxic. Dude, DM me on Instagram, email me. Like if you have a problem with something I said or disagree or something, like DM me.
Yeah, I do agree. I had this guy on my channel, and you said a comment, so I don't think you're talking about the guy that I had. But the video I made yesterday,
it was a clip. It was a clip from a long chat.
Yeah. That guy really put things into perspective about like stop looking at everything so black and white.
Yes.
And then he brought up like this really dope Tupac quote. I don't know if you were talking about him or a comment.
Yes.
You're talking about him?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that guy is dope. He's really insightful.
It's great, dude, because he can disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But he's so right. Like, don't judge someone off one. And this is like, I tried to have that. Like, if I had any influence, which I wish I did, is the quote, to seek first to understand, then to be understood. And I just wish the comment section would have more of that instead of like this Karen cancel culture.
Yeah. And shout out to you for staying on here so long. This has been lit. Gonna start watching Spencer's videos again. I really appreciate this. Echoes. Yeah, you guys should. You guys really should. I don't judge Spencer too much. I mean, you could disagree with somebody and still watch his videos. You know.
Well, I hope they're good enough. I mean, that's the beauty of YouTube, right? If they're not good enough, then don't watch. And if they're good enough, then I hope you continue to support. I love it.
What are your plans when people get tired of you talking about me, Kevin, and Jeremy? There won't be any more me, Kevin, and Jeremy videos. I'm probably gonna lose subscribers right off that. But yeah, no, I'm not joking. I'm really changing the channel. I mean, I'm still gonna do what I do. I'm just gonna either go after different people or maybe start focusing on like bigger organizations, like maybe the Adani Group, the thing that's going on with the Adani Group and the Third Richest Man. Maybe I can fully break that down of what's going on. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, no, I'm done with Jeremy and me, Kevin. I've made way too many videos and. Yeah, I could definitely understand. Like, I get it. Like, there'll be some changes. It won't be that different. It's not like I'm gonna freaking turn into a cooking channel or anything. But yeah, no.
Things change. Things change once you have a lot of videos made on you. It's a unique experience. It's made me appreciate like real journalism and reaching out and looking for comment, looking for the truth. And it's upsetting too. I made recent videos about like lawsuits and still seeing some of the comments that are just like. They want like the attack dog. They want the gotcha. It's kind of frustrating because I can't fulfill that anymore.
Yeah. Good night, long A string. Yeah.
thanks for joining. Thanks for the good questions.
Yeah, thank you. This is Yay Echoes. I like it a lot. This guy is actually a huge critic of me. Critic of me. So the fact that he likes what I just said tells me that clearly I must be doing something right.
Nice.
This guy's a huge critic.
Thanks for watching, Joe.
We're not answering stuff about his personal life. Come on, guys.
You can ask anything you want. Everything's on the table.
I mean, this is what he asked. I don't get in people's personal lives. If you want to expose
no girlfriends. I've had a real struggle. The lawsuit has really wrecked me socially in my social life.
Yeah.
And so I've been focused on all I've been able to focus on is YouTube, just trying to get out of this mess, trying to get the ship righted again.
Yep. The comments left under Spencer's comments on my video were so disgusting. I can't even repeat the stuff. Yeah, that's the downside. And I've had comments that I had to block too about people where they just went way too far. Like when I make videos about Kevin, I had people that were saying insane stuff about his family. And I'm like, okay, you guys are going too far. Like you guys are going way too far. Like, yeah, there's some nasty people out there.
Okay, so here's another example, dude. Like Chris Norlund makes a video saying Meet Kevin's only successful because his like wife's dad was a real estate agent or something. Like that's such an ignorant comment to make. Like I know Meet Kevin a little bit, and that dude is the hardest worker I have ever seen. And so that's the kind of stuff that's just annoying, dude. It's like discrediting people's hard work. It's so disgusting. So yeah, King of Nothing, dude. This is why. So here's the secret: a lot of big YouTubers don't check their comment section. So like I know Scott maybe didn't believe me, but I really did take like 3 months off. I didn't read any comments, man. They get pretty ugly. And it sucks too, especially if you feel like it's from your audience. So I hope you if you viewed it as if it was like my audience defending me. I don't know what your interpretation was, but yeah, it gets ugly and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'll let you in on something. The last few days, I actually stopped reading the comments too. And you know what? You know what? It's done wonders for the mental health. And it's sad because I want to read the comments, but it's so much negativity. I've determined that, like, for my own sanity, it's just like, even if you don't think the comments affect you, they do. I'm telling you, because I used to think, I used to be like, these comments do not affect me. I'm good. I can take it. No, they will affect you over time. And I agree with you. The best thing you could do if you're going to survive in this without losing your freaking mind is eventually you're going to have to get to a point where you just can't read the comments. You just can't.
One comment here and there. I think we're all tough enough. We can take it. Like that guy doesn't like me, dude. The experience of logging into YouTube and every comment being ugly towards you and unfair and coming up with all these theories about you being greedy. And it sounds like you've changed your perception about me being greedy. So like when you see that stuff, it affects you and you're like, dude, I'm not greedy at all. I wish I would have been greedy. I have more money. It wears on you.
Yeah. While Scott is still here, we know how Scott deals with it. Scott blocks everybody.
Scott, I want to say I do appreciate you coming on, even if I hope it was productive. Linda, the RPM's drop message. Yeah, dude. RPM is drop. So Scott, you're not here, so I'm speaking to you. But one of the other things, my theories on why I think this niche is going down is I think the RPMs over time will actually decrease. I think it's not only Q1, but I think our audiences that we've built up, like this style content, is not monetizable. And I think advertisers through AdSense will pick that up. And so this is a criticism of both me and you, or a theory that we both will experience. And my theory is that I think YouTube monetization in this niche will continue to decline. And what I'm interested in seeing with you, just as a challenge, is, what happens when you get down to 800,000 views a month and you're only making 3K? My concern, and this isn't aimed at Scott, this is aimed at just kind of the theory of expose, is I really hope you got, and I don't get the sense you will, but I really hope that if the AdSense drops and the views drop, you don't try to go at the attack game again and like the gotcha culture, because those get views.
Yeah.
Well, that's a concern.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the pivot I'm going to make now is my views are going to go down. It is, but
yeah.
You know what I think? I think as long as I make good content, and obviously I'm still in the phase of figuring that out, I think as long as I make good content, I think I should be fine.
It always wins out if you can figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing I learned. Because this guy right here has really figured it out. This guy right here, he's been killing it. Like he's been getting hella views. Like he's figured it out. So that's what I'm saying. But his content's really good. That's why
I really appreciate him saying that, because one of the challenges that I faced is, as I've gotten bigger, I've just been able to hear so many more stories. And a lot of times I get to meet people that have been involved in something publicly. And when you hear both sides, you realize, like, man, is so true in life. And I hope I have influence on people with this, is that every story has both sides. And I think it's only fair that you at least listen. And if you don't like me after this chat, totally, if you think I'm stuck up, whatever, that's okay. Because you at least gave me a chance to hear my side. But I think it's important that we all at least hear everyone's perspective and then make your decision. And so it sounds like this guy at least listened. And for that, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, Shane.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a really productive stream. Now you got the other guy who made a video on you apologizing. Yeah, it's
which
you know what? This is the King of Nothing.
Oh,
and this is why I think these streams are so important. And I think going forward, this is how we should go about things. Because like the guy David that I had on my channel yesterday was saying, everything's not so black and white. You got to give people a chance to fully explain everything in their entire body of work. And the whole thing about one mistake or one thing that you disagree with shouldn't just turn into a hate fest.
Right. Well, I'm also in a much better place mentally. And so it was the right time for me to do this. So I could have been, you saw how ugly I was towards Chris. I didn't want to be that ugly towards you because I didn't think you deserved it. And so if this video was made, well, I wouldn't have done it. But, a month ago, I was in a much different place mentally. Yeah. And so I think it was the right time for me too, that I could actually sit here and make this productive and not just a shouting match.
For sure. All right, guys, I think we'll leave it at that. It's 10 o'clock here. All right, Spencer, I really appreciate you coming on. We're almost did this for 4 hours. Is there anything else you'd like to say? And
no, I very much appreciate you giving me the time. Give me a chance to speak my side of the story. That's all I can ask for.
Absolutely. And we truly do wish you the best. We hope everything goes well with the lawsuit. We really hope that you win and you get all your money back so this nightmare could be over. And we look forward to that video of you talking about how you won.
It'll be a relief. Yeah, I think it'll be really big for YouTubers at large. I think this is a case of a bully trying to abuse the legal system and really ruin someone's life. And so I would never risk it. I would never wish this on anyone, even someone making an ugly video on me. Never. Yeah. We're going to win though. I always win in the long run.
Sounds good.
Spencer, I always win in the long run. The YouTubers unite.
There you go. All right, guys, that's it. Yeah, Spencer W. There you go. The Spencer W. I agree. W. Spencer. All right, man. Really appreciate it. I'm going to end the stream, guys. And yeah, good night. See you guys later.
Thanks for having me. See you, dude.
All right. Peace out.